Hello everyone, welcome to Combox where the game lives on. I'm your host Varad Alvakar and I'm joined by Shah and Ahmed Khan on today's watch-along of the Chennai Super Kings versus Mumbai Indians. The El Clasico, or as I like to call it, once great teams now washed. So Shahan, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, the rivalry is obviously very storied and everything, right? We cannot take that away just because of the fact that in recent times these teams have not done too well. I mean,
Hmm.
specifically for CSK, I believe it's been a very topsy-turvy 2020, so to say, because they've won a couple of titles, but it's also been like it's very extreme in a sense. And for the Mumbai Indians, I mean, they did make the playoffs last season, and they were losing at the start of last season as well, and they pulled off a comeback. So it will be interesting to see if they do that again. They definitely have the quality to do so. Whether or not they can match that consistently with say the other teams who are also doing well, it also depends on whether the other teams decline or not. Like we saw with Delhi, right? Like last season, we all thought they should make the top four, but eventually they didn't. So a lot of these
Yeah.
things will depend on that. I think now is a good time for these teams to make a comeback because they play each other back to back almost. And if whichever teams from between these wins the two games, if they manage to win the two games,
So
that will
Bumrah's
really,
got the first over again
yeah.
and oh, it's a good ball there.
Oh,
Good
you're on the
length and
fastest
just
team today.
yes.
Uh,
It's a good length and
okay,
he's
so I shall
just
have to get on
above the
that
top
then.
of. Yep.
Once again.
I believe oh, it's I think it's an
Yeah.
outswinger that seamed in somehow. Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a good ball.
That was a very good ball. So there's no Matt Short in the 11 anymore, and obviously I think Karthik Sharma has
Hmm.
come in for Ayush Matre, and we have Jamie Overton at number 7 in your batting lineup, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. It's a
They
pretty
don't. They
poor
haven't played
ball though.
Urvil, have they? Right. This is the
Hmm?
big news from
No,
today. They've not
no,
played
no.
Urvil.
Well, yeah.
You know what? I sort of see what they're doing simply because Sarfaraz at 3, Brevis 4, Dubey 5 looks a lot more sorted, if that makes sense.
No, I get what they're trying to do. I just don't like whatever the hell is coming after that because you can't have Jamie Overton and at 7 and Noor Ahmed at 8 in big
I
2026, man.
agree with that. That is, like, there is absolutely no doubt about that.
Yeah,
But
they're
I
doing
think,
the GT thing on there, like GT and RR thing. Mm-hmm.
but GT have Rashid at 8, bro. That's a decent number 8 to
Yeah,
have, to be honest.
that's also there.
And even RR, I mean, RR also have Archer. I know it's not, like, again, these two guys are not
Hmm.
finishers as such. They can hit the ball, but they're not designated finishers, if that makes sense.
So,
So,
Sashmit Satyam, Jared will join in like an hour or so. I think they're in a meeting at the moment, which came up before. He was supposed to be here instead of me, but yeah, you're stuck with me, I guess. And Ruturaj just blocks once. Oh, sorry, is it not
yeah.
a block? I don't even know. One of them.
Not even like it's a bit like a push. He sort of comes
Yeah.
down the track and then pushes it to the
I
fielder.
mean, if you want Ruturaj to show more intent, that isn't the last thing to have a shallow batting lineup. Like, I'm confused what they're trying to do here.
That the dude, the thing is, Ruturaj has not been showing great intent even with a deeper batting
Mm-hmm.
lineup, has he? So maybe it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even matter to them.
It's a short ball, and oof,
Yeah, 137 clicks.
yeah,
He's roughly bowling in that range, I believe. Is he not, Varun? 137, 138
yeah.
so far.
He's not.
Those
He's
are the
not
two
going
I
high
see.
intent yet, which makes sense. I think it's a new ball. I think he's
Yeah,
trying to control it better.
correct. Makes sense. And Bumrah with the new ball is also, I feel like it's a situation now that they just have to do it simply
Mm.
because whatever they were trying before this was not working. They tried Bolt, they tried Chahar, they tried Hardik himself. None of these things were working for them as such. So I think it's good. You give him the new ball, give him two at the start, and then see what happens after that. You can manage the overs, I feel. Because now it's a desperate situation for Mumbai, right? It's not no more a case of them, you know,
Yeah.
being able to use Bumrah as a luxury wherever they want him to. But
So Mumbai's got 4 overseas, so Jax hasn't come back into the team. Any thoughts on that? Is it just that they maybe like he's just come into the team, so they want him to
could
get
be that,
used to
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
more, take a bit more of a breather?
Yeah, they still haven't got Rickleton back either. I mean, they're going with QDK, who did make that 100. But to be
Hmm.
fair to Rickleton, he also had a great knock in the first match, if you remember, versus KKR. The run chase where Rohit and him went nuts. So, I mean, uh, I don't know if you were backing Rickleton, maybe you should have backed him. But then it's also hard to drop QDK after he's made that 10, I guess. So, and that will be interesting. But you have to play one of them anyway. You can't play both
And
of them,
it's
so
a
that's
good
fine.
length ball again.
Yeah, good solid ball. Yep.
Mm.
137.9. Again, as we said, he's not going full all guns blazing in terms of pace, which is not needed either. He just needs to bowl on the right line and length. And they're just showing up his stats, right? He's bowled 32% in the good length and 18% back of a length, which they obviously call short, and that annoys you a lot.
Yeah, and Himanish as
But
well.
yeah, but exactly, yeah. But you get the
I
point that
think
I'm
they
making,
showed
right?
versus
That
GT it was 77% in the good length, which is great.
oh
Oh,
wow,
that's a good
yeah,
shot by Samson. Yeah. Bumrah just
yeah,
misses his
that's a
length
classic shot.
and his length as
Yeah,
well. Pretty
he
shit
does
ball
go a
and it
bit
was
back
put
as
away.
well, just
Yeah.
under 140s. Yeah,
Mhm.
just under 140s. Good shot. This is also a matchup which they were showing on the screen, right? This has favored Bumrah historically, especially in terms of the scoring rate. He's not gotten out Samson as many times, but
Yeah.
he's not let him score at
Oh, it's
least.
a no ball.
Oh wow,
And it's a
crazy,
free hit. Oh,
bro. Wait, they're already showing the ad on my TV, bro, and even on the stream. Oh yeah, yeah. Now it's there. Now it's there.
mm.
Nice. Let's see what happens.
No, this is the free hit
So I was
ball.
just thinking about Sanju in the power play this year, bro. Like it's
Mm.
been such a volatile ride for him, no? He's either getting out for like single digits or consistently, or like, it's very 50-50 in a sense. He's either getting out for a lot of single digit scores or he's scoring quick, and he's scoring like pretty
Oof.
quick. Not Arya or Abhishek quick, but like he's getting you to 190, 200 strike rate pretty comfortably. That was
Ooh.
quite the ball to bowl for a free hit.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
143. This
Might be
time
his best ball
you
this
could
season,
see.
and he's a dot because of a free hit.
I feel like
Yeah,
he's bowled
7
a
of the
better ball
first
than that,
over.
bro.
Yeah,
Sometimes there's also
7 of
that
the
thing,
over.
no, where you bowl a good over, but you bowl a good
Mhm.
ball, but it's so
Yeah.
unplayable that you don't even take a wicket off it. I'm sure there must be some of that as well.
So Singer called it perfectly. He's like, Bumrah's free hit is the most obvious 0 of 1. Like, he's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, 7 for the first over, especially with bowling a no ball, I think that's a pretty big deal, even for Bumrah.
So Hardik's coming into the attack, which makes sense, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, last time
There's
also
no
he
other
took the new
obvious
ball.
options, right?
Yeah. Ghazanfar is an option because he also bowls with the new ball, I believe, and obviously you can
Santner
go
as
with
well,
Santner
because
too. But
the
yeah,
top three are
I
right-handers,
believe.
right?
Yeah, I feel
Four,
like they
top
want
four
to do this
spanners.
thing of. Yeah, I feel like they want to use them in the middle overs like the last game and get an
Mm.
Ashwini in after maybe 1 over or 2 over, depending upon how Hardik goes. Because
And
if
it's
you
a
remember,
decent
Hardik in
shot.
the last game, he went for 18, but he got the wicket of Butler.
Yeah.
So,
And they come back
I
for
mean,
2.
net positive, I think, for me, that over.
The question is, would
You
you give
remember that?
Bumrah a second over in the power play?
Yeah, I would give him another one, bro, for sure.
Mm.
I don't know if I would give him a third. That would have to depend on the match situation at that point. But
Yeah.
I think looking at Mumbai right now, you have to give him over 1 and 3 for sure.
But the counter is looking at CSK in his recent form. I don't think you need to give him 1 and 3.
No, I get that, but what if they make the most of it? I mean, Samson can get on a run, can he not? We know what he's
He
capable of.
can. I think if Hardik gets a wicket, I wouldn't give Bumrah a third. The third over, sorry. You don't need to at that point.
Let's see, let's see. Yeah, I think as I said, it might depend on the situation, but I am
Yeah.
tempted to go with Bumrah for the second over as well. Just give him a, like an opening burst.
Yeah, good bowling this by Hardik.
Yeah.
Just going for the channel outside off.
Yep. How many do you think CSK should make, bro?
In what, the power play?
Yeah, let's go with the power play. 60 at least, I would imagine.
Yeah, that has to be on the low end in
We
these
have to make
days, right?
60.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a median score these days. But yeah, so far the wicket also doesn't seem like it's doing a whole lot, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Any data you have so far?
No, I haven't checked yet, but it looks like just visually looks
Not a
like a
bad
swinging,
shot.
and it's a good shot for 4. Yeah,
Yeah. Well done.
not bad, not bad. No, both these batting lineups are funny because I don't think either of them have a particularly crazy ceiling.
Yeah, they don't. Both of them, certainly.
Yeah,
If anything, I feel like CSK might have a higher ceiling, bro. To
I
be
see
honest.
what you mean. Do they
You
still
see
have
what
it
I'm
without
saying?
Matre?
The thing is, yeah, Matra is not there, but then Sarfraz is looking in good T20 form at the moment. He's getting to bat. If he's getting to bat at number 3, he can use the power play as well. And then after
Mm-hmm.
that, I mean, obviously he's a good player of spin. So yeah, maybe not as crazy as it would be with Matre in, but Brevis on his day we know how destructive he can be, and Dubé as well if he gets the right entry point. I would say I
Oh, that
don't
was
think
another.
Dubé is
Oh,
a
they missed a
finisher.
no ball there.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. And he was survived, so the free hit stays on.
Yep.
Oh my.
Yeah. So Dubé, I don't think is a finisher, but sort of it's been both for India and CSK. Somehow he's been pigeonholed into that role, and he's done all right. But
Yeah.
I still feel his best job is through the middle only.
Yeah, but he's not hit spin either though, so I can't blame them.
Yeah, that's also there. But when is he facing spin? Is he facing spin at the death? Is he facing it in the middle? Might depend on that as well.
Oh wow.
Oh, and that
Oh,
goes
that's a
for a
4.
4.
Oh
Yep.
wow. To be fair, 2 really
That,
cracking deliveries for a free hit.
yeah.
So like,
Exactly.
yeah, decent swing so far, man.
Yeah. It's decent
Yeah.
swing for sure.
Yeah. Good stuff this so far.
What do you think about the seam so far? I don't feel like there's been a whole lot of seam. I mean, with Bumrah, you naturally get some of it, but
Yeah, there's been a couple, but nothing too crazy.
yeah, nothing too crazy. Exactly. The other thing would be, do you want to bowl spin to these guys in the power play,
That's well, yeah.
right? But you can always go with Ashwini, I think, in that case, and keep your spinners
Is
for
it
the
a
middle. Oh, that
6?
yeah, not. I don't think it was fully in control, was it?
Yeah. They're
It
trying to
felt
bump
like a
him.
top edge.
Even Bumrah bowled a
Yeah,
short ball to him.
yeah. It feels like a bit of a top edge to me, but I'll have a look once again.
You know what? Ruturaj heard all the criticism. He's like 16 of 7 so far.
Oof, yes. Doesn't feel like it's not a horrible shot because he goes for it. He wants to play at it, but I
I
don't
mean,
think he quite mills it.
they
If you
made
know what I mean.
25 in 1.4 overs, and I don't think either of them particularly tried. So,
To be fair, he did go for that slog across the line. No, not a slog, like a bit of a pull of Hardik, the one which said was a good shot, and then the one that went for an edge, couple of no balls, and
I think if
Samson
you're
hit a good
Hardik,
shot.
would you bowl another short ball because he wasn't completely in control there? Or he doesn't bowl the short
Probably
ball.
not.
But
I know
against
he was not
Ruturaj,
in
you want to
control.
bowl length, don't you?
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, I assume Ritu is a good player of the short ball. I mean, I don't remember
Yeah.
the numbers off the top of my head, but I feel like he's got that game in him. He doesn't get troubled a whole lot by that. As you said, good length is the way to go with both of these guys.
Yeah. I think
Do
his
you think
good
that's
length
holding up this season as well for 2026?
I mean, he's been a bit shit versus everything, so probably.
Oh, yes, for him, that's true. For Gaikwad, he's not made runs. But what about Sanju? Because he's been a bit
Can
up
check
and down
Sanju as
again.
well. Yeah, good length has gotten him out.
Makes sense. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes what happens with Sanju is he goes a bit too on the back foot, and even to balls that are probably a bit fuller than they should be for the shots, he goes a bit too back. But that's also something that has gotten him success, I believe. Like just see that first shot he hit of Bumrah. He went on the back foot there as well, no? Like he has that trigger in a sense.
This was before today, but this season Ruturaj made 23 of 32 balls in the good length zone.
Oh wow, that explains it. Don't
Yeah,
need
as I
to go
said,
short then, guys. Just
I
bowl
think
on a good length.
even with
Bowl
short
that.
balls, he's 6 runs, 4 balls, 1 wicket. So, yeah, I mean, I
He's
don't
gotten
think it
outplayed
too
once.
much. Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter. But yes,
Yeah, this season obviously I get the point.
yeah.
Good
So
start for CSK.
2024, he made 82 of 34 balls, which were short. Ruturaj.
Yeah, that would make sense exactly.
Yeah, he's a good puller though. I don't have an issue with him. I don't think he can play
That's what I'm
length.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I
so
mean,
Razanfar it is
yeah,
who
I
comes for
figured.
the third over.
I had a feeling they wouldn't go Bumrah, but I'm surprised it's this
Interesting.
early.
They might give him another in the power play though. Like not necessary 1 and 3. Who knows if they give him one of 4 or 6, 1 of 4, 5, 6.
Burrito is saying, why are they not bowling on the stumps to Samson? I feel like this happens inexplicably to Sanju, where it's like every bowler forgets to bowl at the stumps to him. Do you remember the West Indies game where like Himanish was like, for fuck's
Himanish
sake, why are
was
they not
talking about it,
bowling at
right?
the stumps? Yeah.
Good ball to start off.
That's a good solid ball. I
Not
don't
not
mind
too
this.
short, was it? I feel like anyway he had decided to just knock it.
So yeah, they're probably covering the slog for Ruturaj here. Was it
Correct.
versus Akshat that he got out slogging?
I was versus Akshar.
Yeah, in
Might
Delhi.
have, bro. I feel like he got out after the power play,
Oh, that's a
certainly.
four. Wow. Oh, wow. He's
Yeah.
placed that brilliantly.
Yep. Good stuff. He's looking much better today now, I guess.
Mm,
Even though that full shot was not proper, not vintage Ruturaj, so to say. But
yeah.
I feel like with that pull shot also, it was just the ball was so high, and he had decided to go for it anyway that it was hard to middle it, if you know what I
Mm,
mean.
yeah. Again, Dave, CSK have made 30 in 2.2 overs, which I can't make sense of.
Exactly.
And a gentle single there, which makes sense. Uh, so who would CSK's impact sub be? I assume it's Matt Henry if the batting is decent.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad option, right? I'll have to have a
Yeah.
look at their teams once again,
And it's a
so they
pretty poor
can.
ball there. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, gotten away with it,
Yep.
which makes sense.
I think he missed the line there mostly, did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we
they
have
have the
Prashant
option
Ved,
of
Matt
yeah,
Short, Matt
Prashant Veer
Henry,
short.
Akil, and Urval. So yeah,
Yeah.
which
They
makes
can
sense.
go Akil as well, I think, if they need that.
Yep.
Hmm.
This is good bowling though. He's
Yeah.
done well.
I feel like he's mostly kept it on a good length itself, except
Yeah.
for the one ball that he missed his line a little.
This is good stuff that he's kept it tidy, he's been disciplined.
Yeah. He bowls a lot in the power play, does he not? Generally speaking.
I
I
feel
have
like
a
all
feeling
their
that
spinners
happens.
bowl in the power play though. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
That is also fair, bro.
Oh, wait, it's high in the air.
And
And
it's
he's
gone.
out. Oh, fantastic bowling this from Gazanfar there. And Ruturaj is gone for 22 or 14 and by some distance his best innings of the season.
Yeah, that certainly. At least he went out with intent. We'll give him that. And it's always a bit hard when you're out of form, and
Mm.
it's good on him to not want to play himself and want to go and take that risk. Though to be fair, they are not batting deep today, so maybe they would have required his runs. But good bowling here from Ghazanfar to keep him restricted. And even though he tried to hit, he got out eventually. And good on Tilak to not drop that. I mean, we've seen some pretty silly drops in this IPL, have we not? That
Also,
which we
no
always call
spin
IPL fielding.
whatsoever. Yeah, no spin
There is no turn on
whatsoever.
offer. Oof.
Nope.
But do you not think that is anyways like especially someone like a Santner might not always rely on a lot of spin because he can be accurate, he can vary his pace.
No, but like I mean, we've seen his spun balls, his spinning balls less than one
He
degree.
does
So I
spin it a
mean,
lot.
it's
But
like
I'm not denying that for sure. He does spin it
no,
a
I'm
lot
talking
at
about
times. And
Gazanfar. I mean, he's not got a ball to
oh,
turn over 1 degree before that wicket. I think so. I'm like, it's incredibly low turn.
right.
Yeah. So
Today there was
Sarfraz is
also
in.
some news on Dhoni and Rohit possibly coming back, right?
Yeah.
But neither of them are back, I believe. Neither of them are in the impact subs, are they? Yeah, Rohit's also not in.
Yeah, I think comments are saying it's like they find it very annoying when batters find the fielders in the power play when there's only two outside.
I understand. Yeah, but you have to give it to the bowler as well, no, at a certain point.
Yeah. So Sanju's batting and Hardik's pulling his second over.
Yep.
Decent ball.
Hmm.
Would you'd give Gazan for another over, I'd imagine, right? Or would you just
Yeah,
remove
I
him?
think now you have to, or do you want to not take that risk versus Sarfraz? That's the other question, no?
Yeah. Or you could bait Sarfraz to tell him, okay, if you want to attack him, attack him. We'll try to get you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find it difficult to judge whether Hardik is an attacking captain or defensive captain. He's so random at times.
Bro, his captaincy I've never really understood, to
And a
be honest.
solid front foot block from Sanju Samson there. So I despise the Google AI mode thing they do after every do every game, man.
Sorry?
I despise the Google AI mode thing they do.
Google AI mode, yeah.
Yeah,
Bro, it's so random and so cliche. I mean, it doesn't really
yeah,
add any sort of value. I'm sure if you want to integrate these things, there must be better ways to do it. Do you not think so? Like, just
they're
maybe you
definitely.
can ask smarter questions. I'm
Oof.
not saying it'll still be perfect.
And
Yeah.
he's got a 4.
Yep. Not really in full control there.
Other
I think
gets
the
his
line
line
was a bit
wrong
off.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. How many times did Ghazanfar miss his line in the last over? I feel like it was just once, no? That ball which he couldn't put away.
Yes, I think so.
And mostly apart from that, I think it was good length outside off stump, roughly in that line, and roughly in that line and length.
Mhm.
I want to say,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
good work
looks
on him.
about right. I think you were just
Yeah,
looking at
exactly. That's why I was going through the Hawkeye stuff as well on their
yeah,
side, which is pretty much matching what we're saying.
yeah.
Again,
Just
he
like
misses his line, and that's a terrific shot from Sanju
that's a
Samson.
really good shot
That's
for
into the
6. Yeah,
stands. Excellent shot. Excellent work.
4 and 6. This is good stuff there.
Yeah. The 16 of 10 is where I think the day Sanju is on, I think it's very normal for him. Like, it doesn't even feel like he has to try very hard to get to 16 of 10, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think
Excellent flick shot,
internally we're
no?
calling him the attacking anchor, aren't we?
Yeah. I definitely see the merit in that argument.
Yeah.
Bro, I have a hot take for you. We
Mhm.
might actually have Jaiswal in that. If Jaiswal continues to slow down after the power play, we might have to group him in that. If you know what I mean.
Oh wow, and it's a 4 more.
Yeah, good shot.
It's just he gets it's an edge, and he probably should have been stopped by
Actually, not
Bumrah,
a.
but
It felt first like he was in control of it, but do you think he was not?
no, I don't think so. I think he poked at it, and it was an edge. Wait, let me just
Yeah,
look
one
at it again.
second. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Oh yeah, didn't feel like
Oh
completely in control,
yeah, I think
did it?
he wanted to guide it in that gap, but it doesn't completely control it.
Yeah, or like there's no way for us to know for sure because his eyes
Yeah,
are there. It
yeah.
feels like he's going there, but what if he wanted to hit it more through covers or something? You
But why is
know what I
Bumrah
mean?
fielding there though?
Oh yeah, that's also, bro. They've often used fast bowlers in that area, not in the IPL in general, not
I think
just
it's
Bumrah
because you don't
anymore.
want
In
them to put a lot of workload on their legs, right?
I guess. But what if you get a catch there? Like that's always
That's the
a
thing, yeah.
hotspot of, in a sense, no.
And
That I
he
don't
bowls
think
another
that's
short
anywhere
ball, and
close.
they're giving it a wide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that the third
No, it can't be
in
the
the
third.
over?
I think no, must be the second bouncer of the over.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Correct. Third would be the no ball, no?
Third would be a no ball. Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
What is happening there?
They're
Okay.
just checking. They're just reviewing it. Yeah.
Ah,
This
this
felt
is
in
really good.
control.
This is good. This
Yup.
is very good.
Bro, really cool
It's a
shot. Wow.
gentle. It's the Kane Williamson nuts to third man for a single, except this was a 4. That's what this was.
Bro,
Really good
this is
shot
like
there.
the equivalent of that shot he played of Jimmy Neesham, except that was of a fuller Yorkerish ball in the World
Mm,
Cup final. Do you remember
yeah.
that shot? Which Jared also mentions it in the piece that he did after the World Cup final. That was a very, I think that was a much fuller ball. This is obviously more good length-ish, I want to say, and he's just guided that beautifully.
Also, 2 dog shit overs by Hardik though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm.
I feel like he's not probably sticking to his length. If he just bowls good length to back of a length more consistently, it should get him better returns than it currently is. Because he's
Oh, they
missing his
brought
line a
Bumrah
bit.
back,
Yeah, I mean they're running away with the game in a
which
sense
makes
now, are
sense.
they not? Chennai
Yeah, I
51.
like it. This is where I think how you should be using Bumrah. Like use him when the game's out of
Yeah,
control, basically.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind that either.
I'm not a big fan of the give him the 2 set overs thing because teams will plan for it,
Fair.
right? You never want to
I
know
see
when
what you
Bumrah's going to
mean,
come on.
but
Other than the
sometimes
first
it's
over,
also,
no, I
yeah, it's
think that
also
you
not
give
the
him the
thing of.
first over, but
Hmm.
Oh wow, what a
Oh,
shot! That is by
shot.
Sarfaraz. Yeah, a
Oh,
bit too full from Bumrah there, I think.
yep.
Yeah. What am I watching here? Like
Surf.
CSK showing intent. Yeah.
Sarfaraz has also been pretty handy in the power play this season. I remember this. I was looking up the
Mm.
stats. I think a lot of it was from that RCB game itself where he really took on Duffy.
I think did Rob say that was the easiest 50 or 26 anyone's ever
Yeah, he
gotten or
was saying that
something?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Hmm. Bumrah's coming back again. And it's running in. That was the back of the length ball. He just guides it third man for a single.
Yeah. See, they're showing his stats also 197 strike rate, 40% dots, 3 balls per boundary in this IPL in the power play.
So Jumpsuit is saying 250s on the cards, but like Jared and I
Hmm.
noticed something this season. His
Hmm.
teams are getting a high intent in power plays, but they're not getting big runs. It's
Yeah, because
happened a
it's
lot
getting
this
harder
season.
to bat at the back end,
Yep.
no? But
It's
that's why the
definitely
death
getting
run rates are not that high.
death run rates have stagnated. Power play run rates have gone through the roof, right? We
Correct,
talk about
correct.
the first over was
Bro, but
historically
I feel like
guaranteed
that has
six
also
wins.
dropped a bit after
And
yesterday.
the ball shot
Yesterday's
again,
game
and
didn't help that.
is that a six?
I feel like that's gone for a 4. Oh, did it just hit the Toblerone?
Yeah, I think they'll check this. I have no idea
Yeah,
which
they
one
have
it
to check
is.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it twice now. I've seen it once on the stream and then on the TV as well.
Mm.
Let's see what it is.
It was an off cutter short ball
Correct.
from
Short off
Bumrah.
cutter from Bumrah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
I
a
mean, this
six.
was lovely intent from CSK, bro.
Hmm.
Oh,
So I believe what's happening is teams are better at defensive bowling now than they used to be because they have to be,
exactly.
right? I
100%.
think
100%.
that's
Bro,
and
the
we see
Delhi
this in the
versus
power
SRH
play, right?
game.
Yeah,
You remember
exactly.
the Delhi SRH game?
Mm.
I don't even think they were not showing intent, the SRH batters. It's just that Delhi were able to keep them quiet with some good stuff. I mean, until the last over, of course, where they ended up
Yeah,
making lots of
fair.
runs. Yeah.
So what we're seeing, also see teams go Yorkers are very early, wide Yorkers very early, slower balls very early as well.
Yep.
They're better, just much better prepared. The traditionalness isn't there anymore from teams.
Yeah. That
Like you'll
Rasikh
see,
spell, you remember,
yeah,
versus
exactly.
Mumbai when defending. He was just
Yeah,
bowling slower balls and
yeah. I
trying to
think
bait
teams
the
are
batters.
starting off with length, and the moment batters show intent, they're going to defensive plans very quickly.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely worth keeping in
this
mind.
is one of those things where bowlers are trying to evolve and stop the
Yeah,
batters scoring, and they've succeeded a bit. Because if the death overs skyrocketed as much as the power play runs are, we would have seen 300 by now.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Punjab still the highest score so far? 253, right?
Yeah, I have a feeling because RCB
Oh,
went
good ball
250
this
versus
way.
Chennai,
Bumrah.
no?
He go balls
That's
again.
the only
Yorker
two
again.
250s we've had. Yeah, that's a classic.
Hmm.
We've only seen two 250s, I believe, have we not?
Yeah,
The
both
first
RCB and Punjab,
Punjab
right?
and RCB. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
SRH could
think
have made it that day.
we're seeing
The
a
one we were
bit
talking about.
more reverse swing, but I don't think it's been too crazy. Like I was
Hmm.
talking to Himanish about this. He can't figure out why teams can't hit the ball either. Hey,
Oh,
Why
Jared
can't
Kimber is
who's
here,
back?
folks.
why can't teams hit the ball either?
Yeah, I was talking to
Oh wait a
Himanish.
minute.
He
Now
doesn't have a clue
I'll
idea.
just leave it. Someone's called me.
And he's gone. What's just happened there? He tries the Yorker again, and they get a single. This is good
Yeah,
batting from
see,
CSK. They've
yep,
navigated the
yep,
two Bumrah, and you know that
exactly.
Bumrah won't come back till the death now.
Yeah, this is
See,
good stuff from them. And
that's my main issue with him bowling 2 overs in the power play. You can't use him again till the
bro,
death.
but then the issue is they would have smashed like 20 runs off the other guy who would have bowled now. You
That's
have to
also
use
there.
him now. It's that sort of a situation, no? You don't want
Santa's
to
coming
let
on.
the other team run away too much with the game.
Yeah, Santa's come on now.
Also, I think that we were just talking about defensive bowling in the power play, right? Bumrah just exhibited that in the last end of that over, just bowling the Yorkers. Bro, for some reason, Siraj has been excellent in the power play this season as a
Yes,
defensive bowler. He's not
I think
taken wickets.
he started off
He's
badly, right, and he's gotten better as the season has gone on.
might be. I don't think I've had a look at that, but 6.93 roughly was his economy, I believe.
Mm,
Only Shami, I think, was less than him, and he's played on some tougher wickets as well
yeah.
for batting.
So they have it. I don't even know. Why do I try to name fielding positions? Yeah, and that's a 4.
Yep.
It's a loft. Is that a lofted sweep or a slog sweep?
It's a slog sweep, is it not?
It's a slog sweep for 4, yes.
It feels like a slog sweep to me.
You're a slug sweep.
Yeah, so Jared, we were just talking about teams not being able to make big runs after good power plays.
We should do a video on that.
We should do a video on that. We should do 2 videos on that.
We should do multiple videos on that.
Yeah.
Video
We should do a
essays.
TV series on that.
It's actually. Oh, this is hit in the air at the deep mid
And that's a
wicket.
4.
Yeah, another
no
4.
deep mid
Yep.
wicket there.
It's one of the it's very rare this happens, but we're miles ahead on our coverage. Like we've got videos already made for next week, right? Like not well, I should say from our side of things, not from the producers. Probably still have to edit it, but you know what I mean. Like we're so far ahead. Like today, I was like, great, everyone's going to hear about the ball lock, and I was like, oh no, they're not. It's most improved player this week. I'm a week in advance of everything else.
Yeah.
No, I think the footmarks has going on this week.
Yeah, the footmarks has, but the other video has. The actual
main
video has it.
The main
yeah.
video has it, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Again,
morally
Warren.
handle CSK showing intent in the power play, man.
Well, when you've got such a deep batting lineup with Noor Ahmed at 8, why would
Yeah.
you not want to do this?
Oh, and he's bowled him.
Oh, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff this from Santner. Kept it at the stumps, he kept attacking it.
75 clicks. Not ball.
The really
Return.
I wonder how many of his wickets this year he's got with this really slow deliveries. Feels
Yeah,
like
that's a very
few
good
times
question,
He's
yeah.
done that.
Does feel like that.
this is really good bowling though. Yeah, Jared,
This
you
is
always
his
say,
USP,
right,
no?
when someone is sweeping, you should slow it down, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, which makes sense.
which is the opposite to what younger spinners think.
And that if they're using their feet, that's when you should bowl faster.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
if they're coming down to you, make it harder for them to make the decision. But if they're sweeping, it's I know it sounds weird, but it's actually, if you're a really good sweeper, you should be able to sweep like medium pace, even medium fast at times. Maybe not to start your innings, but when you get in.
Shivam Dubey time.
Oh,
Let's
hello.
go.
Oh, wow.
I like that.
This is fun.
So what did Gaikwad end up with today, guys?
22
22
or
or
14.
14.
I mean, is that for him? Like, he might get a nosebleed from scoring that quick.
Yeah. He did get a nice gentle free hit though, which I think, what was it? Did he edge the Yorker for 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Was it him that got the free hit when it was an LBW shout, or was that like
That
it would have
that
been?
was
out-
Samson.
That was
Yeah,
Samson.
in the first over, that was Samson.
Yeah.
So he got the other free hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to remember. I was on a meeting, and if those people who are watching that who were on that meeting are now watching this, I was listening to every word you said, but I
Yeah.
was also looking at the cricket.
Yeah, because Jared respects you guys so much, he's only watching one game when he would have watched 4 games at the same time.
I was only watching 2 screens. I mean, that's not even a lot for me.
That's not a lot at all.
Bouncer!
that's a
from
bouncer.
Mitchell
Oh my
Sander!
God. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hello. So what have we got now? Shane Warne,
Krunal Pandya. Haley
Conor
Matthews.
Pandya, KS Ahmed,
Shy the Freedy,
Haley
maybe?
Matthews, Jared.
Haley Matthews is a good one. Who'd you say, Varun?
Shy the Freedy, has he bowled bouncers?
I don't know if he ever bowled a bouncer. He certainly bowled quick enough to bowl them if he wanted to. If you got a Shahid Afridi bouncer on these Hawkeyes here, it'd be 200 miles per hour. I love how the speed gun was obviously wrong beforehand, but that when we saw Maya Yadav getting smashed everywhere, supposedly bowling at 92 miles an hour, everyone was like, "Oh, okay, they're definitely wrong."
Lots of speed variations in this over, though. Like, that's the USP with Santner, right? Always mixing it up,
Yeah.
knowing how to keep the batters guessing.
The ability as a spinner to bowl your best delivery while changing the
Reading it.
speed on it is it really is hard.
Yeah.
Harder for a leg spinner than a finger spinner, but certainly hard for a finger spinner as well.
Yeah, Santner's very good at that, isn't he? Like
Exactly.
with high pace variations.
I think we looked at it once, didn't we? He has like 3 or 4 different distinct pace groups that he can bowl.
For the test stuff
Yeah.
back in
Whereas,
2024.
and I think Ashwin is not far away. He's not quite. Maybe his range isn't quite as big as Santner's, but but Ashwin did it. Whereas someone like Jadeja, obviously, and there are some spinners who bowled the same pace pretty much every delivery, right?
I think we looked also with Vankere. I remember in the World Cup, it was suiting slow spin, I want to say. Or was it the other way around? Yeah, it was one of those. I can't remember at this point. Yeah, he's bowled well. He's got a wicket. Let's end it there. Yeah, so I think so. Tanim, I think so. He's saying CSK should consider subbing in Akil in the second innings. As spinners are doing better. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. I think it's one of them or Matt Henry that will come in.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got English ads today on one of our streams. Have you seen it? Because I think we've been on the Bangladesh feed, haven't we? Mostly.
No, we've been on the Afghanistan one.
Yes, we were on the Afghanistan one.
We had
right.
a lot of Rashid Khan on that.
We did. There is a lot of Rashid Khan.
Yeah, because this is just Sky Sports, Jared.
On feed 2, feed 1 is back on Afghanistan again, I think.
Yeah, and I'm saying I think feed 2 is just Sky Sports most of the time.
It's just Sky. Sorry, for everyone who doesn't know, that obviously we have other feeds that come through to us and help us out. And like you never know what country it's going to be. You never know like what wraparound coverage there will be or what will go on. What do we call it? The Chicago Bull energy drink from the other day.
Oh my god, I remember that.
It took me forever to work out what country it was even from. So you never know, and you get these. It's like the old days of illegal feeds, where like you have all you know is you're going to get a feed. Did you see a guy in the Athletic? A guy. There was an article in the Athletic who just said that one of the main pirate stream guys in Spain just got done. He made something like $15 million on pirate streams of football games over the years. He's an Iranian guy who moved to Spain, and he's doing 2 years in jail with a £7 million penalty as well. It did seem to me like he made a lot more money than 7 million. So I was like, so what? He come out of jail and you're still rich, or is there another way to, get him away?
I think who was Anna's Archive recently got into trouble, didn't they? Because they had they scraped all the Spotify's music.
The big Spotify scam, which I don't think is easy to do in these days, but like people just put up like music that they had made, but really, really, really long tracks, and then they would play the tracks on multiple computers using bots. I think there was a guy that might have just got caught. This one is hit just over mid-wicket for 6. Yeah, I think there was a guy who basically cracked all of so he was getting paid like almost as much as Drake was getting paid, right? Because he worked out a system.
I love piracy so much, Jared. Makes me smile.
Piracy?
Yeah.
But my favorite thing was when Giles Clarke was asked what was the biggest issue for the future of cricket, and he said pirated streams. And I wrote an article that made him furious, where I was like, clearly Giles Clarke has never tried to watch a pirated stream in your life. Like, if you could afford to buy an actual stream, you would never use pirated ever again, because it goes in the middle of the game. Suddenly you've got like a soap opera from South Africa on your screen, right? Like now you've got 40 minutes of ads, and you think the cricket's still on, but actually they're putting an ad package in by accident. The commentary's not always there. Like, you can go, how many different weird things can happen during piracy, right? Like, I've seen where they've just missed overs. Like all these, not to mention just the fuzzy screen as well. I remember trying, I can't remember what country I was in. It might have been in America or Ireland. It was somewhere that didn't have like a cricket broadcaster anyway. And I was trying to get, I think it was Angelo Matthews and Lasif Malinga almost chased down a ridiculous total at the MCG, like 8 or 9 wickets down.
Yes.
Right?
2010, I think.
Yeah. And I was like, And I was like in Edinburgh or something, right? Or in America, wherever I was on holiday. And I was like, I have to watch this. My God, it almost killed me by the end. The amount of weird illegal streams I found that went in so many different areas.
So
Yeah, it
yeah,
was
Jumpsuit is
crazy.
saying for movies you don't even need to torrent right now. They're straight up Netflix for pops. And the funny thing is, a lot of the time they have better user experiences than actual Netflix does. I know exactly which ones you're talking about as well. I've used them before. But I mainly use Stremio though. That's fun. If you use Stremio and Real Debrid, for those you don't know, you can basically like it just you can get anything you want to watch, and it's so beautiful though, because everything is just in one place. I don't
I
have
mean,
to deal with
that's
all
the
the
other issue,
streaming
isn't it?
services.
Like,
Yeah.
even trying to work out. So I've got an app on my phone. I don't know if you guys have used it, but it's called Just Watch, I think it's called, right? And you can put in all of your different devices and say what you have subscriptions on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can work it out. So then you can look up a TV show and a movie and it will tell you, yes, you have a subscription to this, or no, it's going to cost you this much money, or no, it just doesn't exist at all, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
really, really cool. But then I want to watch it, right? Like, I still have to then go to the app and sign in to the thing. And
Oh,
then do you know what I
use
mean?
Plex. No, you can use Plex for that.
Yeah. But even Plex, like, none of these things do it the way that you want it to be, which is we just want to go back to it being on TV and just pressing the button on my TV or my iPad and just watching the thing I want to watch.
Yeah. I think for me, it's usually I'll check Netflix, I'll check Prime Video. If it's not on either of them, I'll just pirate it. Like I can't be asked to look.
That's
Look
what
up.
so this is my, so you guys are going through this era. Remember, I went through this in an audio era, right? Where it was like, it's so hard to find the music I wanted to listen to. It was much easier to go on, Net and not what was it called? LimeWire, or all the other ones that existed around that period of time, right? To find the music I wanted, which I would have happily paid for to put on my computer, but there was no way. This is before you could even burn a CD onto your computer and get the audio easily, right? So I couldn't get it on my computer if I needed to listen to it on my computer anyway. It was such a hard world to live in.
Yeah, this is exactly what I need to do. I need to do a Stremio plus Real Debrid setup guide. Yeah, just set up a Real Debrid account. He'll give you like an API key, and then you can use it with what's it called? It's not. It's like Torrentio. I want to say it's one of the add-ons you can add on Stremio, and then
Yeah.
you add the API key to that, and then you add it to Stremio, and you can watch anything you fucking want. It's fun.
So it's just so hard. Things are just so hard when they don't need to be.
Yeah. Oh, did you ever use Napster, Jared?
Yep, Napster and LimeWire were
Yeah.
the two main ones. And there's a third one. I can't remember the name of the third one. LimeWire kind of took over Napster. I can't remember what the difference was. I'd have to go back and check. But it's actually kind of funny now because I have my kids have an iPods, right, with like, just gigabytes of music on them, and I would say that almost none of that is music I ever bought, right? It would all be from Napster or LimeWire or wherever, right? Like that's where it would have been from. But I also owned 1,000 CDs, right? So it's not like in some cases it was easier for me when I had a laptop and I didn't have a CD burner, right? Because in those days having a CD burner was quite the setup. It was easier for me to actually buy a CD and then download the LimeWire and have it on my computer as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of the things which, like, I think it's the common saying, isn't it? Like, piracy isn't like a money problem. It's a service issue, isn't it? It's if there is an easier solution, people will often go to it, right? I think if you look at video games, the piracy rates have dropped a lot because of Steam, because people find it much easier to download games on Steam than they do go on pirating, and because gaming has been so shit, piracy's gone back up again because games have become too expensive again. It's fun.
Yeah. No, and all that that's why I've always had these discussions with people. I was like, you have no idea how hard, like, especially when the world went global with the internet, but you couldn't buy things everywhere, right? So you come into a situation where you are really struggling to like get the thing that you need, right? So Australia, and this would happen for anyone in India as well, is like you might get the main album, right, of something that you want to listen to, or you might get the main DVD, but do you get the DVD with the making of documentary? Do you get the DVD with the director's commentary? Do you get Ridley Scott's, the great cut of Blade Runner? Right? No, you don't get all those. You just get the very basic one that they sell, and it's like, but I know the other thing exists. I'm on the internet. I can see it exists. Oh, I just want to watch Ben Affleck drunk. Take me through that movie where he was where he was a space miner, right? Like, that's all I want. I know this exists. I've been on forums where people are talking about how Ben Affleck spending 2 hours drunk slagging off his own movie is the best director's commentary you'll ever hear. How come I can't buy this thing? I don't know what movie that is, by the way. Someone else might know
Siddharth is
what it
saying, oh, wow, he's bowled him.
and
Wow.
Dubey is gone.
Yeah, Gazanfar's bowled him. Yeah, nice.
What a
So
game he's
Siddharth,
having, bro.
so Siddharth
Yeah.
saying, pirate big studio games and buy the indie ones.
Yeah.
I don't discriminate, man. I pirate everything.
I'd even go a step further of, like, if you can, whether it's games or music or movies or whatever, there's the best way to support people is usually buying the merchandise and everything around it, right? So, like, if you love a band, one of the best things you can do is buy a T-shirt of the band off their website, right? Like that, there is such a good way for being able to do that and everything else. So I think, like, little things like that are really, really cool and help those things, subscribing to them and everywhere else. But yeah, we're not saying you should pirate. We're saying the world should be better.
No, I'm saying you should pirate. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the quality is, there's always a drop off, right?
No, you're just not pirating well, Jared.
Come on now.
Yeah,
I've
you
been
need to improve
pirating.
it.
I've been
Yeah, you need to
pirating
get better.
before you were born.
Yeah, I'm
I knew
aware.
Jared was
Like,
gonna
and you're
say
not
that.
pirating it well. That's what I'm also saying. Yes. So
What
Bravo
has
says
he
logged
has
in.
he faced Gazanfar much before?
The
Revis?
Dubey. Oh, Dubey.
No, I meant Dubey. Like, is that an issue that we know anything about?
I can't
I
imagine.
wouldn't imagine they faced each other much, but I can.
Yeah, because India hasn't played Afghanistan recently, and
yeah,
they didn't play in the World Cup either, so it can't be that much if they did play.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Have they played each other in the IPL is a question, no?
Yeah.
No, not apparently. I don't think I can see it.
Because I'm just going through, like, there was a few deliveries there as Brevis plays a ridiculous shot, first ball out to deep cover.
Oh, is stream one back on again?
It is, but it's really tetchy. Because I know how to stream to do this stuff well, but it's still a shitter version than it is on my
Oh my
TV,
God.
Varun. It did go off, though, a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather stick to Steam 2. God. Okay.
Yeah, he just didn't look very comfortable against Gazanfar, really, I didn't think.
Yeah, I think Gazanfar has probably been Emma's best bowler so far this season.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. And it's gently nudge. This is the Sanju Samson thing. He'll just gently nudge singles before 50. I've noticed this a lot. The amount of times
Yeah,
he's
this
on like
happened in
44
the
of 19 and he'll
last
end
game,
up
right?
50 of 26 is crazy.
Yeah, it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also noticed this.
Does anyone at the end of the year really look at 50s? You know what I mean?
I
Like,
used
it's
to, I think.
like hundreds I get. I'm not sure I've ever heard really anyone go, oh, last season he made 450s.
No, it's usually the favorite thing now is his big impact knocks. That's the new thing, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, the 80 he made had a lot of impact. The 30 or 50
Yeah.
didn't.
But that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, but even if you go back traditionally, in T20 cricket, people haven't hyped up the 50, even if they should have. You could even argue that they should have.
No, they did. There
considering-
was a brief point where Virat Kohli and David Warner were very close in the 50s in the IPL.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
And it was a big deal in Varun's life.
Again,
so
it's
we have a
that
super
gentle
chat.
nudge. Yeah.
So Rohit Kumar Jha is saying, Sheriff and Rutherford, for his own sake, should refrain from posting about Churchill while playing IPL, and Lalit Modi should not refrain from posting such Goenka memes. I have no idea what either of these things are about.
I know the second. I have no idea about the first.
I
What
am going
happened
to
there?
have to Google Shafane Rutherford Churchill.
I mean, Lalit Modi is acting a bit like a heartbroken teenager, is he not, Jared? The way he's going
Yeah,
after
it's a
going
weird
up.
one. So I contacted him before the IPL because we wanted to do a project with him as well. And I mean, maybe just everyone was contacting him, and he didn't get. They got back, but they didn't end up going ahead with it. And he might not have wanted to sit down with me as well. To be fair, by this stage he knows me well enough to know I will poke him. Perhaps more than Michael Vaughan might. But I got the feeling it's more. I think when the IPL comes around, Cheyenne, what happens is there's a little bit of FOMO with him, right? Well, basically, you see this a lot with founders, right? I can't remember who it was, but there was a company recently that had a founder, and every time there's a big announcement for this company, this founder comes out and does another podcast, right? Because he was kicked out, and I do think there was an element of there's an element of that with Modi where he's like, I know everyone's about to talk about this. Brevis just smashes Santner back over his head for 6 here. Yeah, and I do think there's an element of that's a part of it. But also, my guess is, looking at all the people's podcasts he's been on, a bit like me, I think everyone's just contacted him as the IPL starting, right?
But then why is he behaving why is he overdoing it is what I'm not able to understand.
But
It's
that's
fine.
not
I mean,
him overdoing it. That's just him doing it. That's what he does. Are you new to Lalit Modi?
I mean, I did hear
This was a man who asked the camera people to film him at grounds and then would have a phone on each ear at the same time. What the fuck is what have you seen recently that suggests he's overdoing anything?
So apparently Rutherford posted a Churchill quote on his story.
What did he post?
No idea.
I mean, I understand why that
How
would
do
be
Churchill
insensitive.
quotes go down in, I don't know, let's say the Bengali region of India?
That's what I'm saying. It's very insensitive for that part of the world, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, outside of India, not that many people, most people in England, maybe more so now, but because it's now taught in English schools, but most people in England don't really know about what Churchill
Bengal
did.
famines. Yeah.
Not only that, it wasn't just about India either. He was really racist about pretty much everyone who wasn't white, right? He's pretty openly racist.
What was he, like a 1940s white guy? Of course he's racist, isn't he?
No. He was known as racist in that era.
Oh, wow. That's
In that
impressive.
Yeah. If you go back and you have a look,
So you're saying he's the Don Bradman of racists?
he was on the wrong side of a lot of things that he didn't even think. The thing with Churchill is because he never shut up, a bit like Lalit Modi. He's we have his record of being on which side of everything. So that there's a lot of fascinating historical people. We don't know what they thought about things that were happening, right? And then we have the people like Churchill who just couldn't shut up, couldn't stop writing articles. You got to remember, most of Churchill's life was actually trying to get into power. He was actually a very unsuccessful person at many times, right? So he was in and out of power over and over again. So he was always, he was on all the podcasts before there were podcasts. Dewell Brevis hits this over long off for 6. Just for a minute, I thought, that's too wide, mate. You don't need to play that. It's too wide and too slow. And he went, yeah, it is. But I'm going to hit it over 6.
I like that.
Jared, this is the step hit,
the-
which he often does quite a bit versus spin.
I
like
don't know
that
if
even
it
with
is.
the
Can you do a
shallow
step hit
batting
when the
lineup.
ball's that wide?
They're
But
still hitting it.
You just see his feet movement, no once.
I just think it's the hit.
It's not even the step hit. Okay.
It's just
Yeah,
swing.
actually, he doesn't quite need to step out much.
Yeah, he just kind of waited for it, didn't he?
Yeah. I think the first one was also actually similar then, now that I think of it. The first 6 that he hit in this over.
So Santner had 1 for 9. This over's got for 2 6s. He's bowled a wide. By the way, that ball was absolutely not a wide, the first one that was given a wide. Oh, he's just done another wide that's not a wide. They've got to start reviewing
I
these.
would not
Both
give
of
that
these
a
are
wide, yeah.
easily within the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one didn't feel like a wide for sure.
I think
Don't
the
worry,
other one,
Jared. They'll review a completely pointless wide. That is a wide.
I think they're going to review this one, aren't they?
Yeah.
It
This one's
seems
the
like
better
it.
one to review. The other one was 50-50, but I was like, I would never have called that one a wide.
Mm. I think Santa's getting turned. He's just bowling too full, I want to say.
Bit too wide also, no, for that ball, last one. I mean, Brevis versus Santner is a pretty solid matchup, actually. Brevis has never gotten out to him, and he's scored
wow.
quite a few runs. Yeah, I think 29 of 20 in T20 eyes, and I want to
Stop
say
that.
27 of 15 in T20 cricket overall before today.
Do you know one of his big advantages against someone like Santner is that Santner gets a lot of people out with the wide slow ones or the slow
Correct.
ones, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Varun went and checked that before, but I'm pretty sure he does. And Brevis actually keeps his shape better than most people,
Mm.
right? He, if you have a look, he's not one of those people that's constantly searching for the ball. Like the no look shot is essentially him trying. Like that's a training method, right? That's what you were taught when you were young, is to wait as late as possible to play through the ball and keep your head down the whole time, right? And that's what he does. And so you can take the pace off it, but he's not going to chase it. So he should be better against back of the hand slower balls. Is that dropped? I think it was just short of
Yeah.
Santner at point. Yeah, you should be better at against slower balls and against slower ones from spinners because of the fact that you are taking because you're waiting for the ball to come to you. So guys who go out and try and hit slower balls, guys who go out and try and reach for the ball, like maybe someone like Virat Kohli or Kevin Peterson or whoever else you want to put in that list.
Correct.
Back of the hand slower ball should be an issue for them, right? Because you have to keep yourself in your structure for longer. And it's really hard to do that for a back of the hand slower ball or when a spinner goes really slow.
Makes sense.
So not as many this season, Jared, but last season, yes, he was getting a lot of wickets bowling the really slow balls.
And
Oh,
this
that
is,
one.
oh my God, I thought that was going to be out. Brevis has just
even
pulled
I
this
thought
off
so.
Ashwani. And I was like, well, this is going to be caught. And then, who is that out there?
He just stopped, no? Sort of. Was it Dheer?
I think
I
it's
want to say-
Namindir, yeah.
Yeah, it is him.
It was mistimed. It was clothed a little bit off the stop. And it looked like he was just going to run in and catch it. Oh my God, he's lost the ball, hasn't he?
Oh, wow.
Oh yes, yeah, he was doing this.
He actually ran backwards. If he'd stood where he was, it would have almost hit him on the ankles. If he'd stood where he was and taken a small dive forward, he just takes that, doesn't he, guys? He doesn't even need to be
Yeah.
running at the end.
And that's a 4. Is that 50 or 26 balls, is it?
Yes, 53 or 26.
There we go.
Varun has been on
Like
50 watch
clockwork.
for Samson. Yeah.
And that's like clockwork, yep.
Yeah.
Can we find a
Signs of
metric that
a-
tells us which players are most likely to score singles between the score of 45 and 50?
Yeah, it must
40
be.
to
really.
50. I
Actually,
would
no,
say.
yeah, no. What we would want is we want true strike rate for between 45 and 50.
40 to 50, in fact, I would say, Jared, to be honest.
I think people, you're still going to hit a boundary early in your 40s, aren't you?
I don't know. It depends from batter to batter also, I think. Like, it's hard to generalize also at a certain point. But I see what you're saying, I guess.
Sorry, guys, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Go for it.
Attacking anchor Sanju. I mean, he's anchoring at 200. I'd take that, to be honest. Would you not?
Yep. It's so predictable now though that he will get 6
Yeah.
singles.
He's got this
between
template.
44 and 50.
He's got a
isn't
very
it?
set template of playing when he's playing well. So it's either this or he's going to get out in like the first 10 balls. This is exactly what Sanju Samson is. Bro, even you remember the KKR game where I think Sanju slows down a bit even in that innings. He was 23 of 13, I want to say, in the power play. And then he finishes 48 of 32. Some good bowling as well, I think, from KKR. The spinners had started to find some form again. I want to say so. Good control percent for him today. I mean, it seems like
Yeah, I think he's
86% of
been-
the balls he's middle.
Yeah, it's been relatively well controlled. I don't think that's usually an issue for him though.
True.
That's the sort of ball that quite often umpires will catch. Because when it sort
What
of
if an
comes to
umpire
you,
catches it by mistake?
have you never seen that before? It's happened
I
before.
I can't remember it. Maybe I would have seen it, but I can't remember it right now.
Oh, Brevis
Oh,
up
wait,
and
is that
over.
out?
This could be
That's
out. It's
Oh, it's
gone.
out.
third.
Wow, yeah.
Yep,
Finally, yeah. The short ball has finally worked for them.
it has. It has. Now they've lost, I want to say 4 wickets. So this will make things very interesting, right? After that power
Who's
play.
left? So Karthik Sharma, isn't it?
Yep. They've got
Yeah.
Karthik Sharma, and then they'll have Overton, of course, coming in to that. I mean, the other way to do this could be you sub in Prashant Veer.
Yeah. He also gives you bowling, right? Yep.
Yeah, that's the rationale I'm going with. What's their bowling if, let's say, they can't sub in another bowler? They can still open with Mukesh Chaudhary and
You still
Kamboj.
have who's the
Yeah.
you have Overton is your fifth bowler and Dubey is your sixth bowler currently.
So Overton and Gurjapneet can bowl in the middle and death. Same for Noor Ahmed. And Kamboj can also come back, right? So
So if they
Yeah,
bring
I-
Prashant Veer, he'll be the sixth. He'll be the sixth
yeah,
bowler. and
if
Dubey
they
will be
bring him in,
seventh
he'll
bowler.
be the sixth bowler, correct?
Yeah, it's not a bad.
They also have the
option.
option of Urvil.
Yes, they can
Surely
bring
What do you
they
say?
don't bring him in now. Like,
If they have to do it, they have to do it now, right?
But wouldn't you just be better off bringing Short in that situation?
Mhm.
There's no
this
situation which
situation-
Irville makes sense now. Because if you bring in one of the, there's two spinners as impact subs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can both bat. Agreed? So surely
Veer
at
more
this
than
stage in the
Gilbert,
innings,
yeah.
you just go, let's bring in one of the guys who can bat, who can also give us bowling. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Irville had to be used early on.
No, they had to start with him essentially, right? Is what you're saying.
Well, I
Or-
mean, they should have started with him,
Yeah.
but yeah. Gaikwad should have been dropped.
that is a very
I
Rob
mean, yes,
Barron
but I
coded
mean,
take.
they wouldn't drop it, right? Yeah, we were saying, right, Rob Barron has been ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a tweet which was like really praising Rob for. I mean, someone put out the whole clip of me and Barron on that chat, and I was like, oh, I think it's a bit of a hot take, but Barron is like, no. I would have said 2 years ago that you build around him, but right now game's gotten too fast and all of that basically, and lots of people were very disappointed with it. But then I think after a couple of weeks, everybody was quoting it like, yeah, maybe he was ahead of the curve. I saw one tweet at least for it specifically, which was addressing that. So
Yeah, no, he'll be told he's ahead of the curve.
It's easier
until some-
than I think it's easier said than done also in a sense, because like at a certain point, Jared, who is CSK's best batter after say Samson? Brevis?
Yeah, Safraz or Brevis.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
on
is Sarfar's
talent
first.
I mean,
good
this
IPL
season it's been Overton.
That's also there. But you get what I'm saying, Jared. Sarfaraz has just got his white ball stuff going right for him since the start of the last match. So, like November onwards. I'm saying quality wise, even if we ignore Gaikwad's form for now, he's still got to be up there for their batting talents, is he not? So it's easier said than done, I think, to just drop him, because
You don't
I
drop
know
him,
how
you trade
much-
him away like I was saying weeks ago.
Okay, how should they bat for like the next 2 to 3 overs roughly? What rate would be? Because they don't bat deep. That's the question.
36 and over.
Jared, that would be.
What's
Never
the...
mind.
You basically want to... You have to plan for... So Bumrah's going to bowl 17 and 19, right?
Roughly, yeah. He should bowl those two.
So I think
Yeah.
if that's the case, you have to take a bit more of a chance now, with the idea that you may not be able to get runs off him at the death.
But
So
what might also happen is, Jared, that they might get Bumrah in sooner if they feel like there's something going on wrong.
yeah, but
if
that's
they have
fine.
one back,
If they
big
do
over,
that,
they can-
but if they do that, that means you've already won, Shyam, when they've done that.
That's also
Because
there.
that means they've changed their plans, and that
Yeah.
means someone else is going to have to bowl the death overs,
Yeah.
right?
But then you'll have to improvise accordingly. Is all I'm saying.
I suppose my point would be that Santner and Ashwani have been the two easiest to hit. Well, and Hardik have been the three easiest to
Hard,
hit. Right?
especially, I would say. Yeah.
So if you get a matchup that's one of those three bowlers, I think you go for them. I think if you get Gazamfar, you take 8 or 9 off that over. You don't look to do anything silly. And if you get Bumrah, you try and get 7 off the over.
So Vignesh in our chat is also saying, will they not sub Karthik? I hope it's Vignesh. It's one of the Triumph Studios guys. He's saying in our private chat that will they not sub Karthik out once he gets out and get Veer into bat? I definitely see the merit in that. What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
think
what we
also
were saying
about that.
before, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But like they might also want to go for better bowling, right? Because they've not trusted Prashant Veer's bowling at all this season. They might want to go with Akil or Matt Henry if their batting goes fine. At least
Yeah,
Akil,
I
would
think
say.
I think what they're trying to do at the moment is they are playing they're actually in a good position here, right? And I know that Rob looked at the scorecard at the playing 11, and he wasn't wrong. I can understand exactly why he did this, but he looked at the playing 11 and went, "So there's something wrong here. They're going to have to bat Overton at 7 and Noor at 8." Right? And we all agree that's a horrible batting lineup. But what they are saying is, right, we can actually have extra bowling in this side if we don't have a collapse. And if we do have a collapse, we have we have the ability in the current lineup to be able to use an all-rounder who can come in and still help us with more bowling, right? So not having too many, like, what have they got? They got Brevis, Overton, and Noor Ahmed, right? So they can bring Matt Short in,
Yeah.
if they want Matt Short, or if maybe, let's say it's in the last 3 overs, and they're like, Matt Short may not help us that much. Maybe then you bring in Prashant Veer, or whichever way. Well, it might even be you bring in Akil Hassan, right?
Exactly.
And you're just
exactly,
like, you can smack a couple of sixes for us. In fact, Matt Henry can smack a couple of sixes, right?
But that might be too much role overlap, I feel, Jared, for the new ball. Though even Akil bowls with the new ball, so there is that. They have to manage that.
No, but what I'm saying is, this actually is not a bad idea if you have 2 players like Short and Prashant Veer in your side. Like, it's like much better than what LSG you're doing, right?
Jared, do you know what this conversation is? This is the same thing people were saying for RCB, that they should, keep Romario as an impact sub. They should use one of Romario or Duffy depending upon how their batting has gone, and then you get an extra seamer for the second innings when you're defending.
Yeah, and I think if you have the right kind of players, I think you can do that.
Yeah.
I think you can make that choice.
Yeah, I think with the RCBs, I'm 100% sure Virat would start batting slowly if that was the case.
I don't know, but you just tell him that Romario is there. I was
going
right?
to say, as long as you tell him he's actually there,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Varun is hell-bent on this fact.
No,
he doesn't like this idea for this reason.
Do they show the lineups on the screen ever, big screen ever? If Virat ever accidentally looks at it and he sees, oh right, Romario's not a number 7 and Cornell's not a number 8. Oh my god, I have to lock in now. We're not going to make enough runs.
So I think Saurabh also quite liked this idea when we were discussing this. Varun is a bit sus.
No, I really like it. I would do it as well, but I don't know. But
I see what you're saying, but
Kohli, yes.
it depends on the conversations you have eventually, right? Like if you just tell Virat Kohli or whoever the top order batter is in question that you have the players, we will use them if we need that. You play assuming that is the case, but if that doesn't happen, we have an extra bowling option.
Was that not given as a wide?
I don't think so.
Ah.
He's not been bad actually, Jared Ashwini. He had a good game last time and today as well. I think his second over went for a few, but more or less he's been all right. He's bowled a bit some of the slower balls as well. He's mixing it up a little.
Yeah.
And we're seeing Samson's boundaries versus pace, right? He goes back so much. It's one of his major things. So it's all. So if he gets out to it, it's easy for us to say that it's a mistake or whatever, but it also gets him a lot of runs. It's like a double-edged sword in that sense.
Veer has padded up. Says unknown nobody. KP versus Cook on X on Bethel situation is peak cinema. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think. I'll be honest. I think Travis Head is a better cricketer because he sat on the bench for RCB for a season and a half.
Interesting.
And the reason is that he was absolutely shithouse against spin, right? and RCB were convinced that Travis Head was going to be a superstar. And they put a lot of time into getting him good against spin. And then he came back the next year and they still didn't think he still couldn't play spin. And they tried it again and then they lost patience with him. And he disappeared really for a couple of years, right? Before coming back.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So to be fair to RCB, they don't get credit for that, but I can tell you that, I mean, I was around when it was happening and they were telling me what they were doing, right? And so the argument here would be that Bethel isn't particularly good against seam bowling either, right? And he might also benefit from playing more seam bowling and getting the ball to... by that, I mean, actually, when the ball's deviating, he's not particularly good at the moment, right? And so
But
if he was
Varun
playing...
would say that's the case for all batters, no? That high deviation is...
Yeah, but there are
kind of
players who play
impossible
it
to
better.
Yep.
But that's not the case for all batters. Otherwise...
Almost all, I want to say.
No, but it's not, is it? Because there
what
are
do you
plenty
think,
of
Varun?
players... No, you're thinking about this the wrong way, Cheyenne.
Okay. Yeah.
This is where your brain doesn't click into the right mode. In your brain, it's like, if the ball's seaming this much, someone can't play. But if we know the expected average on a seaming ball is, let's say, 25,
Yeah.
if you're better than 25, that's good, Sean. Right?
No, that I
Have
agree
you
with that.
seen Bethel when the ball's seaming? Sometimes it looks like he's averaging 5 against it, right?
Fair, I will give you that.
Right? So you have to
that's-
get
yeah.
that up, right? And change the way that you play.
Also, yeah, we were discussing in the group. I was saying in the group as well. If India and Pakistan didn't hate each other, if RCB would probably loan Bethel to a PSL team and be like, "Oh, play him. If you guys need him, play him, and then he'll be in rhythm. And if we need him, we'll call him back, and he can come back to us."
No, definitely. I mean, this is why you need the second league, right? Bethel could be
IPLB,
off
right?
playing, in a second tier at the moment and be absolutely fine. But just on the KP versus Cook thing, they are both right and they are both wrong, is what I'm trying to get to, right? Because Bethel is going to be facing international quality spin, really good young spinners trying to embarrass him. He's going to be on turning wickets. He's going to be on lower wickets. He's going to be on, Asian pitches in general.
Yeah.
Every day, right? In the nets.
Yeah.
If he was in England and he got picked because he doesn't always play, he didn't always play that many games for his first class team. But if he's in England, he's going to be playing on, actually, it's quite dry this year, but early season English wickets have a little bit more juice in them, right?
Correct.
And the ball's going to be nipping around a little bit and he's going to be learning there. He's going to be doing that in game situations. So maybe you would say that Cook has a point. But he should also, and also remember with Bethel, he's a very unique player because not all of his development is in England.
Oh, yes,
Right?
exactly. He comes from the Caribbean, right?
So you could make an argument that for a normal English player, it wouldn't make as much sense to be playing in England. It'd be better for you to play in Asia, but maybe with him, you'd be like, actually...
Also, by the way, unrelated, I have the true strike rates for people between 45 and 49.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes.
let's go.
So for this is for guys who been in 45 to 49 minimum 10 times. The worst true strike rate is Jaiswal with minus 26.
Ooh, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think you're Rahane
Karthik
I can
with
see it.
Whacked
minus
a
21.
6 over long off here, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a good shot. What was it? Rahane
what
with
is
minus
Rahane?
21. Minus 21.
Okay.
Hardik is minus 16. Sai
Okay.
Sudarshan is minus 15. We have Partha Patel with minus 10. We have Rahul Tripathi with minus 7.
What?
Vincent de Kock with minus
No,
3.
now I think you're making these numbers up.
Now Jared is triggered.
What was it? Yeah, then we
Actually,
have
minus
Sachin.
7
Everyone
for
else was minus
Tripathi. Minus 7 for Tripathi might just be because by that point in the innings, he's already tired from swinging and missing at so many balls.
Yeah, I see that.
Quinton de Kock was negative. Okay, who's the big positives then?
So we have Klaassen with a true strike rate of 128.
The one true
Miller
king.
with 122. Sehwag with 109. Dhoni with 109. And Adam Gilchrist with 101.
Wow. So where are our sort of KL Rahul, Virat Kohli,
Yeah.
and David Warner type guys?
Exactly.
Let me find Kohli.
Closer to par. I
Kohli
would
is
guess
0.4.
So he doesn't
far.
change. That's nice.
Yeah. He's
that-
good. He's good. He's pretty neutral at that.
I mean, you could argue that once he's already scored 45
KL
runs.
is 11.
Yep.
Plus
Warner
11?
is 38. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so I am now thinking though, Sean,
Hmm.
if you've already scored 45 runs and
Yeah.
you've been batting for ages, shouldn't you already massively be in
Oh,
the
that's a
plus
good shot
anyway?
again.
As this
It's a
is
six again.
incredible. Karthik has just played a better
know what?
shot off center.
Yeah, that's a great
Another
shot.
6.
Jared, do you know what I'm thinking? This might be the case of, say, Virat or anyone who's like at 40, 45 at the end of the power play or just after that.
He can't be
It's
45
also-
at the end of the power play.
Why not?
Virat, well, of
Yeah.
18 balls,
Of 20 balls, he can be, right? If he's had most of the strike he can.
I think
get
it's
to
more.
40.
I
he's
think
getting
I want
close
you to go
the
back
death
and have a
overs.
look how many times he is 45 at the end of a power play. I'm going to say it's not many, mate.
Not 45. Okay, 45. I'm saying let's say at 7 or 8 overs, but 35 to 40 is very much possible, right? With the way he's playing right now.
Maybe
Yeah,
right
35 to
now,
40.
but this is his whole
Not
career.
back
we're
in the
looking
day
at.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, not back in the day, of course not. That's true.
Man would have got a nosebleed scoring that quickly back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day it was opposite, right?
Are
Like, he
you
was
saying
really-
are you saying that some players will naturally slow down at the beginning of at the end of the power play?
I think so. Partly, yes. It might be the case.
I don't give a fuck, Cheyenne, because they should still be fucking slogging because they're on 45 and they're the set player. You know what I mean? Like,
You shouldn't.
even if
I'm
you're
just saying-
right, I still think they're wrong to do that. Is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying you're wrong. You know what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to say what might be the case. I'm not saying.
I
whether
don't.
it's right
I
or
don't
wrong.
think there is going to be. I think Abhishek Sharma's the only guy who's going to be around 45 regularly. At the start
At the end
that
of the
thing.
power play. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
just because
you were
it's
thinking
hard
of it
to
from
be-
45's point of view. No, you're like, if let's say the guy is at 35 of 20, which is very achievable for like most good players, is it not?
Yeah.
They can go from 35 of 20 to 50 of 30, or even like a 50 of 32, which is like, even for Kohli in his current avatar, it is very much possible for him to bat at that pace, right? He can just be like, oh, I had a good time in the power play. Now I can knock it around for a bit, maybe hit a boundary in the middle, and then again after the 50, I can
pick
start
up my
hitting.
50 and then bat properly again. It's still you're
Oh, by
still
the
saying
way-
the same thing.
No, I'm not
Rahan
saying
Ahmed
you're
has
wrong.
replaced
I never
Ben
said you're
Duckett,
wrong,
by the
right?
Yeah. What was that, Varun?
Rahan Ahmed has replaced Ben Duckett for Delhi Capitals.
Sorry, who?
Rahan Ahmed.
Rehan Ahmed. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we have a super chat on that. Sorry. So Chaser is saying, "Hey guys, sorry the super chat went black. My question: how do you rate Rehan Ahmed as a T20? As a T20? Why are you identifying him as a T20? Why is he not a Test or an ODI?" So Delhi Capitals signed him today. Stark returns on May 1st. How does that shape their odds going ahead? Can
Was
they
it
play him?
Rayan Ahmed? It was Rayan Ahmed born in Pakistan, by the way. I'm pretty sure.
He's from Pakistan.
I'm pretty sure there was a period where
Originally.
the reason I'm bringing this up is because of visas.
Yes.
Because
yes.
of?
Because I've got a feeling he couldn't get into England with the rest of the. Couldn't get into India with the rest of the England team on time once.
Wasn't
So
that?
if
But
yours-
I think him and Shoaib Bashir had that issue right before the
Certainly,
England
Shoaib Bashir did.
Yeah.
I thought Rayan Ahmed did as well. I know a lot of players have had it. But my point being is, if you want him as a replacement, like
series.
you, good luck getting his visa expedited. Thoughts on him as a T20 player? I mean,
He's had a couple of good seasons, has he not, Jared, in T20 cricket? Now with the bat as well.
has he?
I'll have a quick look.
I mean, with I almost
definitely
think.
remember.
I almost think at the moment he's worth more with the bat than he is with the ball, isn't he?
He might be, yeah.
Like, not
Yeah,
having a
that's
go
true.
at him. I'm just saying it's isn't that probably a real like just having a look. So in the 100, he's got good numbers in the 100 to be fair.
Yeah, with ball. He's much better with the ball in the 100.
Yeah, no, he hasn't done much in T20 with the bat. I take that back. Maybe some of the other formats he has.
He's 43, 137 in the last Vitality Blast though. Which is not bad, you'll take that.
Yeah, but he was 23 and 126 in the 100, which is the better competition.
Also in the BBL he was 12 and 132, so yeah.
I mean, the Blast is basically the backup smat at this point, man.
It is. Yeah, even in the ILT20 it's not a lot of runs. Yeah, but there
He was
must
in
be
the Big
promise, right?
Bash.
He's still very young.
He averaged 12 in the Big Bash. With a strike
That's what
rate
I'm
of
saying, no?
131.
12, 132. I already
Yeah.
said that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Ghazan for what a game he's had. I mean, excellent stuff from
Yeah.
him.
He's been
Varun,
good,
just
man.
check how much good length he's bowled today. I have a feeling
Can do.
there must be a lot of it.
So
Very
in
accurate
the,
in his first over.
in the Big Bash, he took 3 wickets at 56.
Yeah.
8 economy though, so I didn't get hammered. And in the 100, he took 12 wickets at 15 at 7.64.
Yeah. Jared, he might be that bowler, no, which on certain wickets you want him, but he's not an automatic, right?
He doesn't bowl that much differently. He's not. I don't think he's quite as talented, but he doesn't bowl that much differently to Bishnoi.
Yeah, I think some of the comments
Basically,
are
a
saying,
wrong
like,
bowler, right?
is he not very
I see.
similar to Vipraj already?
Now,
Vipraj would be a better bowler, I would imagine.
Vipraj
no?
bowls more leg spin.
Vivraj bowls more leg spin.
No, I
So
think they mean like attributes. Like the guy who can bat at 8, who can bowl wrist
I think
spin.
the
oh,
difference
you're
is
saying
that-
for Delhi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's coming off here?
Gazanfar.
Gazanfar.
Yeah.
I would have thought that he has more utility in his batting than Vipraj. Vipraj feels like a proper number 8, number 7 hitter, lower order.
Oh, is that a no ball?
But Jared, where else would Rehan Ahmed fit in the team anyway? Like where would you bat him?
No,
in
but
this Delhi lineup?
he's batted in the power play for England. He's opened the batting for England before.
Yeah, but he can't do that in this team, or can he? Can
Well,
they drop Nisanka and make him
If
do it?
Nisanka doesn't make runs,
He has not. He's had a very weird IPL, Jared. I mean, I want to say his 40s have been pretty good,
he's
but
looking
then
good
it's been very
form.
binary.
He just keeps going out.
Yeah, it's been very binary in that sense.
Yeah.
He's either making good, decent 40s and getting out, or not scoring runs. So I think at a certain point for overseas players, you don't have as much of patience. I mean, if KL Rahul was giving these returns, you'd still
it's
back
a
him, right? Because
6.
you know there's lots of work done before that, so for you to be able to trust him. But with Nisanka, you don't have much of a choice.
Krish Bagat has come on to bowl, and he's bowled a full toss that could have been hit for 12, and then he's been hit for 6 next ball.
Yeah, so Shayan, on Gazanfar, so 14 balls in the 5 to 7 meter range, and he's
Nice.
gone for 10.
Yeah.
But his 2 wickets have been 4 to 5 meters, though. That's been
Ooh,
interesting.
the attacking good length, you mean?
Yep.
Nice.
The length I cannot for the life of me figure out.
So in the last 5 overs, maybe even now, all we've had is singles
Oh,
and
that's a good
sixes.
shot. That's a really
Ah,
good
That's a
Samson!
classic.
I was in the middle of telling that really good
Yeah.
anecdote, and you fucked it.
shot.
Up until that ball, in the last few overs, all we had is singles and
Or
sixes.
sixes. For how many overs? 5.
I don't know. I stopped counting when Dickhead hit the 4.
But
Beautiful.
that's really good placement, though.
This might be one for when Robbie's back, because as we know, he's the GOAT of non-strikers. But Prudvi says, what are the characteristics and responsibilities of a good non-striker? Shout out to Robbie 16 of 16. It's a cult knock.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh.
Is that 4 more? Was that 5 wides?
Yep.
Or 4?
Did Krish play in the? Did he bowl in the last game?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bowled decently.
I have to check my notes.
Yep. He was decent. Was that 5? Oh, yeah. No, that took the bat, I think. Yeah. It felt very 5 wides like, but he got some.
Yeah,
Did he
he
even
flicked
get
his
back on
pad.
that? Or...
Yeah, it hits his pad.
That's a
Yeah, but
pad.
they've given that as
Oh,
4
wow.
runs, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not sure he hit it, but
That exactly. I've seen so many repeats of it now on the TV and here. I don't
as far as
think
being a good non-striker, essentially, it's the ability. I remember Chris Rogers talking to me about batting with David Warner, and essentially what he had to learn was no one was there for him, and that his existence didn't matter. But as a partnership, it still really, really mattered from that point of view. And he knew that the bowlers weren't thinking about him, and the fielders weren't thinking about him, and the crowd wasn't thinking about him. And as this is hooked away, if that had gone past Bumrah, it would have been another 4.
Yeah.
So I think there is an element of understanding sometimes that the other guy is going. You know, I've been lucky enough a couple of times in my life to bat with someone who is just going, and it's just like you just have to take yourself out of it and be like, my job is to get a single every ball.
Exactly.
Right? My job is to back up. My job is to give them extra information, right, that they may not have seen, and that's essentially what you're looking for. And not everyone can do that because some people are so in their own innings that they don't even realize they should be playing for the person at the other end.
Yeah.
Cummins,
This is the
right?
Sachin and
In the
Dravid thing, right? Sorry?
Yep. I was about to say
This is the
Cummins
Sa-
during the Maxwell innings as well.
Ah, that's a great one. Yep. I was saying the Sachin and Dravid one, Jared. The one where they tell each other
Yes.
what's going to happen, with which, like, are they going to bowl, which side of the ball is shiny and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, all
Versus
that
New
sort of
Zealand, I would
stuff.
say.
Really simple, right? And I know it might seem like, everyone should do that, but like we've got great stories of Jeffrey Boycott not doing that, right? And we've got other people who are in their own heads sometimes. And so if you have a look of that, of that ability, like you're striking and you get a single and you go to the non-striker's end now, this is a thing that was really from Australian cricket that has now gone through all cricket. The non-striker will say, that last one swung away, or, That one's, seaming back, or he's bowling the slower balls here, right? That wasn't always an automatic thing if you go back and watch cricket. So you should do all those.
What do you guys think is a good score for Chennai here?
409. Based on their bowling? No. What can Overton defend, Varun, is your question.
I mean,
he's been their
bowling well
best
this
bowler.
season, Jared. He's been their best bowler.
That's the joke.
And he's actually been good, yeah.
So the joke is he's been their best bowler, so what can he defend? Don't explain my joke back to me, Cheyenne.
Varun also said the same, Jared.
Yeah,
You were-
don't explain my joke back to me, Varun.
Yes, now that's more like it.
I tell my children off when they do that, Cheyenne. When they go, what about him? It's like, you still did the thing that was wrong. It doesn't stop you being wrong, pointing out that someone else was wrong.
But it gives
The
me
market
satisfaction.
says 207. I think 207 is an interesting score. It's a flat pitch. But, are we that confident that Mumbai's just ready to roll through 207?
I think they can chase anything between 200 and 220. I don't mind them. I think it's beyond that.
But
It's beyond
comfortably?
that. I think they could if they get on a roll.
Okay, so the market is assuming they're going to make 207, and they are a 55% chance of winning. And I think that's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. That still means CSK's 45% chance of winning. If you get that over 215, Chennai probably become favourites here.
Yeah.
217, 218, maybe even a little bit further.
So it's Prat SM is saying, is the elegant boundary batting the new awkward in T20? Feel like leaving runs on the table, even if not.
I'm not sure what he means by that. What does that mean?
I think
So,
he's
like,
saying
he
like
means
if you're just playing those elegant shots, those classical batsmanship where you're just like driving the ball for 4 or just flicking
And-
it away for a 4.
Or is it
and
getting singles, getting ones and twos,
Yeah,
that sort of
okay.
thing?
I
Again,
guess, but it depends
yeah.
on the efficiency, ultimately.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Like if you're batting beautifully and you're Sanju Samson, you're anchoring so to say at 200. I'd take that. I mean, I don't have any issues with that.
I mean, there's always a time in a Heinrich Klaasen innings where he starts weaponizing cover drives, right? And it would be hard to say that he's not doing it in an elegant way. Daryl Mitchell hitting the ball down the ground straight is pretty elegant, right?
Brevis, the 2 sixes that he hit down the ground.
Yeah.
Those
So-
were pretty nice.
I'm not sure. Bumrah's
I
come
don't know
off
if there's a
this-
correlation, to be very honest.
That's good stuff from Bumrah. I think he builds
Yeah.
2 good Yorkers, and then
He's
this
good
is
at
a full
cricket,
toss.
Baron. I don't know if you've seen him before, but
I think he's above par.
we should come up with a bunch of things that you
He's
could
not as good
say,
a dead bowler as Corey Anderson, though.
obviously. I think that we
Yeah.
should come up with a bunch of things that you could say to Robbie with a straight face to see if we can break Robbie.
I must be able to find a few good things. I already say a lot of things with a straight face that annoy him.
Yeah,
It shouldn't
that's
be
what I
too
mean. You're
difficult.
already on the right path. That's we can put in some really spicy ones.
Mm. Oh, and
Has
he's
he caught
that?
out. He's
Caught.
out.
Whoa.
Yeah, full toss, bad ball, but hit straight to Santner, who did very well out on the boundary to take that catch.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's changed the
122 clicks. Yeah.
That's changed the predicted runs quite a bit, actually. About 198 now.
So 18 of 19 for Karthik, which is okay. Like not a great knock, I want to say.
Of course, but I mean, I think it extends their batting a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but he hit 2 sixes off spin, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. There is something there for sure, but I think, not an optimal innings.
That's not a positive innings today, though, is it?
Yeah, no. of course
No.
not. I don't think we're debating that. It's just the fact that
Yeah,
we
when you've
know
got
that
no-
they're not batting deep.
You've got no batters in your side. I suppose him doing that is better than not doing it. But
Yeah, exactly. Like in this situation, you have to take an 18 of 19 over a 0 of 1. Is what I'm saying, right?
You know what? Triple stroke, you're correct. I can't be too nice to him. That was a dreadful innings. It was dog shit. It was the worst thing I've
Bro.
ever seen. Yes, you're right. Thank you for reminding me of who I am.
also
you're
to be fair, when you're comparing him to Stubbs, you're comparing him to a guy who was known for hitting lots of sixes, like compared to a
No, I
guy
think he
who's early
means
on in his career.
if Stubbs was 18 of 19, I'd be slagging him off.
Yeah, but
He has higher standards.
you don't rate a how old's this guy? Karthik Sharma?
Must be 20 or 19, something like that.
You don't rate a 20-year-old with no history That's like you're allowed to have a go at Bradman when he goes out for 75, right?
He's 19, yeah.
Because he never goes out for 75. But you're not allowed to have a go at a 20-year-old who goes out for 75 who's never played before.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's the
Prith has a
expectations,
super-
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
To be
we
fair, I
know
also
what subs
expect
can
subs
do.
of being 10 of 10. That is an expectation at this point. Yes.
I see
Yeah,
that.
we'll just answer this after the ball has been bowled. Bumrah's bowling his final ball of the 17th over.
Oh,
And
that's a
then-
good ball.
Yeah.
Into the block hole.
I think it's a slot ball he turned into a Yorker by coming
Oh,
down.
yeah,
the
he
pitch.
also walks down a little bit, does he not? Yeah.
So Prith is saying this is the scenario where not having an extra batter is affecting the batters. CSK have slowed down a lot since Karthik. Their last main batter has come in. Yeah, fair.
This is what Varun was saying, and Jared and I were not on the same wavelength.
No. What we were saying is, are they doing this to get themselves more bowling for later on, where they think they can still get the total that they're looking for? That if that's the case, that they're playing a bit of a risk. But if Overton goes out here or Sampson goes out here, they can still bring in more batting with a little bit more bowling, right? I don't think they slowed. I don't think they specifically slowed down. Like it was singles and sixes. I think they were looking for boundaries and didn't hit boundaries. I don't think that it was because they were not looking for boundaries.
To be fair, Jared, they have slowed down a bit since the power play, have they not? I mean, they were going at
Yeah,
12s, now they're
But as we
under
know,
10.
that's a very common thing for all teams.
Yeah, it is. I'm
But
not
there's
denying
but
that.
there's two different kinds of slowing down, isn't there? There's intentionally slowing down, and there's trying to hit sixes and fours and not hitting them. Those are very
True.
and people never differentiate
agree.
between those two things. I would say that Karthik Sharma was trying to hit sixes and hit two of them and didn't hit anything else,
Okay,
right?
fair.
And and that's not him slowing down.
I want to look at their partnership now. How much did they add together as a pair? So they went at 43 of 35.
And
Good shot
Samson
by
was
Overton,
24 of
yeah.
16.
what's a wrong ball with this field, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, true.
To be fair, it's a good shot from a giant man who's not always known as the most skillful hitter of a ball.
Jared, I think by the end of the season, Overton is going to be the MVP. You've slagged him off so much that he's not going to stop before getting an
Slag him off. I said he was he should be playing in a better team. It's the opposite of slag him off.
Jared, I'm just trying to rage bait you. You took the bait.
Speaking of rage baiting, how can we rage bait Robbie?
Tell him Samson is an anchor. Samson bats too slow.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Maybe that's one way to look
Yeah.
at it. He'd be like, you remember the group chat in the T20 World Cup final, Jared? When Varun was like, oh, Samson is slowing down here. And then Robbie just sends a voice note. And I think that
Yeah, that
gets
was
like
funny.
8 or 9 laugh reacts in our group. Must be the highest.
Yeah, it would be high, right up there.
Yeah, that was really funny.
I love that Robbie never reacts to anything in that group except for Varun.
Yeah.
I told you, man. I have there's something about me. Yes.
And,
Oh, wow, what a
Oh,
brilliant
he's hit
placement
this
that
through
Varun.
covers for 4. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, off the bat, I was like, that should be caught.
Oh yeah, I did. I think I know him a bit during the Miller Stubbs debate. That was fun. Where I was talking
What
about
was
slow
this about?
starters. I think Robbie was like, "Well, you can't look at batters as slow starters." I'm like, "No, of course you can look at batters as slow starters."
Yeah, he's not right there.
Yeah,
I can tell you, though, Stephen Fleming feels the same way from experience.
exactly. Well, it's like, well,
He
cricket
feels
doesn't
the
work.
same way
All
as
I
without
was
Robbie.
saying is you don't need a whole team of slow starters. You want a combination. That's all I was
Yeah,
saying.
that's what
We
I
know,
was saying. Yeah,
we
you
know
can't-
who starts
everyone
quick
can't
and we
be
know
slow.
who doesn't. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that would affect them. Robbie was like, "Well, no, cricket doesn't work that way." I'm like, "What do you mean by that? I'm confused." So Prithvi saying T20 cricket feels like the closest to a video game. There is a meta which keeps changing, and most teams follow that meta. If they don't follow, they usually suck. Explosive power play, wide Yorkers.
Nice, I like that. I don't know anything about video games, but I like that comment.
It's not particularly wrong, that comment. Like, I do think there's a lot of merit in it, in that.
Yeah.
And I think you see this a lot. You do see it with Test cricket, though, as well. And you did used to see it with one-day cricket, which is essentially what happens in professional sports is someone is successful and then everyone follows that metric.
Yeah.
So there's a really funny thing happening in college basketball at the moment,
Mhm.
which is everyone is trying to get their center to be a point guard like Joker, right? And it's like okay, that makes sense, but it's like it's also, and you see it even in the NBA, like Andre Drummond, when he was drafted by Detroit, I'm not even sure he could pass the ball. And now they're like, when you've got the ball, I want you to initiate handoffs. And it's like, do you want Andre Drummond to initiate handoffs, or have you just been watching too much Joker, right? And so this is a thing that happens really naturally across sport. And so you see these little patterns, and sometimes being able to see within the patterns. One of my favorite ones, and I'm pretty sure I've done a video on this, Cheyenne will remember, but deep backward point was not a fielding position.
Yes,
and then
I remember.
suddenly, over time, everyone automatically had a deep backward point over the space. Yeah, maybe 18 months. It was like an 18-month period where, beautiful hit by Overton again. Jeez, he's timed some balls here.
That was he tongued that one. Nice.
But that's kind of how things do it. And it's one of the things that when I've been a consultant for teams, they will often say, we want to play like this team. And I'll be like, but your team isn't set up like this. Why don't you play like this? I remember actually talking to Surrey about this when Bats took over, and he said, I don't know what to do. I've got all these all-rounders. And I went, fucking play all the all-rounders. Bat to 10, right? And he's like, it's not enough specialists. I was like, you've got like 8 guys who can bowl.
Don't give Gautam Gambhir ideas, Jared. Yeah. He might be listening.
Those, you have to go back and look at some of those Surrey teams. I'm trying to remember what year it would be. It might have been 2023, 2024, Varun. Like, it was ridiculous, the players that they had on that list, right? And his first thought was, I don't have 5 specialist bowlers. And I was like, you've got Sam Curran and Sunil Narayan and Jamie Overton. Who gives a fuck?
And he's out.
That's gone. Jamie Overton is out.
Now what do, guys? 15 off 6 for 15 off 7 for Overton there. Really good innings from him.
Impact sub now. I think you still have Samson there. I'd play it out.
Noor Ahmed averages like 5, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he can hit a couple of sixes.
I mean, the next two, even the best batters aren't going to make more than like 8 of a death overs of Bumrah on there. Like,
that's also
not the
very valid point.
Okay, so that means Samson has to follow that over though, doesn't he? So that you just don't lose a bunch of wickets.
Why don't you just use Akil now? He can bat a bit and you get.
That's what I'm saying.
Well.
Yeah. But they have to make a decision now, don't they? They can't. I don't think they can send Noor Ahmed out.
They send Cambodia.
Ooh, he can also bat a bit, can he not?
Yeah, he can bat. He can bat.
Interesting. Oh, Jared, very unrelated but a random question since you're a spinner too. What would you say is a more embarrassing way of being hit? Is it down the ground, like back over your head, or being reverse swept?
More embarrassing.
Yeah, like for me, whatever little I've played, whenever someone would hit me back over my head for like a 4 or even a 6, that is the most embarrassing. But I was like, how dare you do that?
No, I wouldn't say either. I mean, as a spinner, I wouldn't think that's just. If I felt those were embarrassing, I'd never bowl another ball, right? I think embarrassing.
It's an ego thing. I don't know why.
I think embarrassing is when they pick you and they hit you wherever they want, or when they hit you with the spin.
With the spin. Oh,
yeah, I was about to ask, what about the shot where they show all 3 stumps and hit you over cover for 6?
That one for me. Yeah. I've had that.
I don't think we are going to see gully players that much do that.
I've had that before, where like I've had the VVS Laxman to Shane Warne, where they've literally the guy's like, I know this is a leg spinner, I'm going to walk outside leg stump and hit you over covers, and I'm like, well, that's what am I supposed to bowl now?
Correct. I think Jared also, for some reason, for whatever I've played, I think we've not had runs scored behind the wicket a lot. Like a lot of the cricket has been just hitting straight or hitting on the leg side and the off side. So that is anyways taken out of the equation. So then if you're hit straight, it feels like, oh no, that should not be happening.
Hassan is in, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a much better move. Yeah.
Yeah. We were saying they should do that. 142 clicks from Bumrah. This one, as we were saying earlier in the day, he was starting at 137, 138, but now he's got that pace back up. And I think this is the thing with him. He knows when to use which delivery, when to bowl fast, when to not bowl as fast, and he will mix it up in this over as well. He not.
If you're Akil Hussain, if you're Samson, you're telling Akil to face all 5 balls of this over, aren't you?
And hit 6s. Can you hit 5 6s? Yeah. And I'll stand at the
hit 5 6s. Anything but a single.
Yeah, who's bowling the last over likely? 1 second.
We don't know because they've got many options now.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'll just have a quick look.
He wanted to, though, Akil Hassan, and Samson didn't.
Yeah, just joking.
If you want to know what the most embarrassing thing is, Cheyenne, and you might not have had this
Yeah.
if you played gully cricket, but the most embarrassing
Hmm.
is someone who goes round the clock against you.
Ooh, okay.
And you should know what this means because
like
it's in
a
the
full
book.
switch?
No, round the clock.
Round the
means-
clock. Oh, wait. Let me think.
Can we get
want
some
to say,
thinking
oh,
music?
round the clock. Like can go 360?
Basically, you bowl the same ball 6 times, and they play a back cut.
That's what
a
I'm saying,
cut,
360.
a
no?
cover drive. Yeah.
The Brian Lara thing. The
Yeah.
Brian Lara and Sachin thing versus Braitley. Yeah, the 360 thing. Yeah. Correct.
That's the worst.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that wouldn't happen a
There's
whole
the
lot in
thinking
gully
music
cricket.
for Cheyenne, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. That would not actually happen if you're playing gully. If you're playing 180 degrees, like let's say you're not playing behind.
You
square,
could
right?
still it should still happen in gully cricket, but it's not the way anyone bats in gully cricket, is it?
Yeah,
But
true.
I've had that happen to me probably twice, and there's no point me bowling. Like you realize very, very early on. Whereas, so I bowled against Joe Root's mate who runs the Barmy Army, who's a really good cricketer,
Oh, nice.
and he smashed me. But it was all over mid wicket onto a short boundary, right? And it's like
Right.
he's obviously a
course.
better player than I am, and there's not much I can do. But also, it's one shot. Like that's not embarrassing to me. I'm a leg spinner. I'm expecting people to hit me over mid wicket sometimes.
No, that's true.
Whereas if he had started hitting me over cover and then hitting me through backward point, like at that, which as I said, I've had a couple of times.
Jared, I
before.
think I understood why I found it embarrassing because see, I'll tell you the way we used to play cricket. It's going a bit off topic, but basically what it would be, it was not a very big ground. It was like a box cricket thing, but you could not hit direct straight down the ground. So you could not hit sixes, but you can find fours and you can run whatever you can. So very low scoring games, very skill based in a sense where you have to, play the situation and not actually, because if you hit down directly, you're out.
Sorry, Cheyenne, you've got to
Yeah.
also pause so that people can say big bits of information like Mitch Stanton is in the change room with a ice pack on his left shoulder.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for that. Stop ragging me, Jared.
Also, the last server is probably Krish Bhagwan or Hardik.
Oh, is this a free hit, guys?
Oh my god, has he bowled the no ball again?
He has no ball. Yes.
Ooh, not by much.
Ooh, that is a good shot. Wow. Wow. 4.
That's ridiculous. Sean.
Yep.
Was it a 4?
Yep, it was a 4. He's again going to get that 100 at around 50 balls. No, he's very good at this template innings, Varun, if you just really break it down.
What was it, 44 of 20, right?
Yeah, exactly. He is like 44 of 50, 50 of 26, and then 100 at around 50 balls. He'll do that over and over again. on his
That's
day.
with being he's asleep after getting a 50 for a bit, I think.
Yeah. Then he will again pick it back up.
No,
But-
what is it? No, he gets a 50, he slows down before a 50, he hits a couple of fours after a 50, and then he slows down again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a good over for them. They'll
They
take
got
that.
10. That's an effortless 10 run over.
they have to score 20 off this last one there now, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah. I would still say you go with Hardik, like if you want to go with the more experienced guy. But then if Hardik is just going to bowl like random deliveries, I don't know how much that is going to help. But
I mean, the way that Krish bowled
Krish
earlier, I
didn't have a
don't
great
think you can
Saturday.
give it to him. Who else do they have? Yeah, so it probably has to be Hardik, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Sorry, it is Krish Bhagat, not Bhagwan. I think I was thinking of a Telugu actor called Krishna Bhagwan.
It is Krish, though, who's bowling.
It is Krish. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see what he's got.
And first one is short, and that's 6.
And 6.
It was a
Wow.
mistake. I mean, to be fair, Hardik Pandya's gone for 38 runs and 2 overs today as well.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not so sure how much better Hardik would do if he's bowling the way he has been in the last couple of games, right? He's not having a great IPL at all with bat or ball so far.
No.
Yeah, Bumrah, by the way, 4 overs, 1 for 31 again.
Yeah, that's like clockwork for him, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed. It used to be 1 for 26. He's gotten worse. It's become 1 for 31 now.
I would
Maybe
have
we'll
said,
put him in the most regressed players in the next IPL
Yeah.
awards.
it's really fascinating. We should get Rob on this before, but the expected runs didn't go up when Krish had the ball in his hand, and I just think, even if you're saying Hardik's in bad form, surely a young guy got whacked in his only over today against Sanju Samson. It's got to be an expected runs of 18, doesn't it? 16, 15 and a half if you're being friendly, right? Like, and I don't mean that as if he's terrible. I just mean that has to be the expected runs, and it is not. I don't think what the market was expecting. It is now. Someone just said, Hardik is most coward captain, always hiding away from tough situations. The other way of looking at this, though, is you've got a specialist bowler in the side. He's bowled one over today. He does actually need to bowl another over. He's got away with this one, length ball outside off stump.
Yeah.
Through to the keeper. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all well and good to be a coward. He should do everything. He should open the batting and open the bowling and take every catch.
Jared,
even when he's not
doesn't he
there.
bowl the final over in the 24 final?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this goes both ways, right, Jared? If let's say he bowls the last over, then people would say that he's too selfish. He doesn't give the new guy a chance. He wants to do everything.
Not just that. He bowls the 19th versus England in the semis, right? A really good
that
19th.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind them trying. They might think that CSK is like 10, 15 under par here as well. And so with that, there might be a thinking of, let's get some experience in the young fella, Samson.
He's
is gonna
refusing
not-
the single. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is a good move.
Which
That
again,
makes sense.
it's only 6 runs off 3 balls. So far, this is an above par over for Krish.
Yep.
I would take that.
Jared, also, you were saying that they might be 10 to 15 under par, which might be true actually. But the issue that Varun and I have with Mumbai is they also don't have a particularly high ceiling with the bat, do they? Especially with Sky not being in form. If Sky is in form, then that changes things quite a bit. But if Sky is not anywhere close to the level he was last season, I don't think they have a high ceiling, Jared. Like, maybe they can make 200, 210, but yeah, it's not a very high ceiling. I'll be very honest there.
Yeah. A lot of people telling me that Krish is an all-rounder. He's a potential all-rounder.
Oh,
He's
what a
playing this
shot
side.
that is.
Oh,
that's a
over
good
cover
shot.
for 6.
Yeah.
He's a potential all-rounder, guys. You're not an all-rounder when you average 17 in professional cricket, right? Do you know how many young players I've seen who show batting promise when they're young and end up as Ryan Harris and Jofra Archer, right?
Nice.
That is not... We're a long way away from that. He's playing
Mitch
as
Johnson?
a specialist bowler.
Where would you put him?
I can't remember a young Mitch Johnson, actually. There's been Morne Morkel played a good innings for South Africa, and everyone told me he was going to be an all-rounder. Tim Southey,
Yeah.
his whole career, people were telling me he was an all-rounder.
Chris Jordan,
Yeah.
the best example.
Oh, yes. I've had some of that as well.
Late career Chris Jordan finally being like, now I will become an all-rounder, and then we'll see what you will do.
Also, speaking of that 6-over cover, Samson is really good at scoring fast on the offside. Is he not, Jared? We remember we did that during
Yes.
the T20 World Cup. Like, it's one of his major strengths.
He comes in again, it's a full toss, and he doesn't
No
get it
single again.
away.
He
Oh,
doesn't.
there's a fumble,
Yep.
they don't take a run.
Makes sense.
If you are watching this watch along from Afghanistan, and you have the ability to send us some Chicago Bull Super Cola, me and Varun will try it. I've got a Coca-Cola can in my house. I don't think it's exploded yet. I've had it for years, but it was like, it's just Sacha Tendulkar on the front, and it's celebrating the 100 And I happened to be in India when they had it. I just bought it. It's been there ever
Oh,
since.
you were in India then?
I must have been. I don't know. When did he make his 100?
March 2012. But that 100 was in Bangladesh, not in India.
No. But I mean, I must have been.
Yeah, around then, yeah.
I wonder if I was at the IPL. No, I wasn't at the IPL that year.
IPL would have been starting right after that.
I can't remember when I was there, but I know I have the can somewhere. This is it for a 6-4. 6 or
Yep.
4.
Either way, he's got 100.
He's got the 100.
Yup.
That's such
Feels
a
like a...
that's such an over of modern T20 cricket. Like they've
Yeah.
given up the chance to run. He's brought up his 100, but it means almost
second of
nothing
the
to
season.
the game. Yeah, and
good stuff.
it was 6.6.4.
Yeah. Exactly. But
Ridiculous.
really good innings from Sanju this, I think, to be very honest.
Yep.
He's anchored at that pace, right? That's the thing that we keep talking about with him, that he's
He
batted through the
doesn't
innings.
accelerate, right? With him, it's the constant velocity thing. He's always
Yeah,
at 200.
exactly. It's not like a Gaikwad or a Kohli where they'll go at like 50 or 42 or 100 or 55. With him, it's more like he'll be at the same pace almost all the way through with those two dips, right? Just before the 50 and then, as you said, for a bit more after the 50. And
He's got 5
Like,
IPL
but-
hundreds. Bloody hell. Okay.
Just
two
having a
already
look,
for
guys.
CSK.
Yeah.
Half the season.
Just having a look, guys. It's almost 50-50 here in the chance of winning. Mumbai is 53%. Actually, they've just gone up a little bit at the end there to 54%.
I think that's fair.
So, yeah, interesting. It does look like a good batting wicket to me, but they have managed to end up with the extra bowler one way or another, guys. They got there in the end. We're going to see if the extra bowler makes any difference at all, but we'll take a break here on Combox, and we'll be back for more after that. Cricket has never finished at the close of play. It lives in the arguments, the memories, the comment sections. Cricket makes you talk. Combox is entering that chat. In a club game, which is almost impossible to do. But I have been obsessed with batting my entire life. And so I put that into my new book, The Art of Batting. Being that I'm not very good at that skill, I decided to talk to other people who were. So I hit up as many contacts as I could just to talk about batting. Rahul Dravid, Brian Lara, AB de Villiers, Kumar Sangakkara, Ross Taylor, Susie Bates, Nasser Hussain, Ian Chappell, and so many, many, many more. I wanted batters to talk about how they and their friends made runs, because that is the art of batting.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Footmarks podcast. I'm Behram Kazi, who you can find at Def Mango on Twitter. And with me is Jared Kimber, who you can find absolutely everywhere. And it's a very interesting topic for this episode of the Footmarks podcast. I'm really proud of myself for the title, Rishabh Pant, because when can we ever use that again, right? Like, it's a one-off one. And so is Rishabh in many ways. We're recording this in the direct aftermath of Rishabh Pant's heroics at Headingley. Yeah, India lost the test, but Rishabh Pant scored 134 in his first dig and 118 in his second. And his 252 run tally is the highest ever for any wicketkeeper batter in a test match in England. And he also became the first Indian batter to score twin hundreds versus England in a test match. So really, like, you feel for the guy, right, Jared, that he had to end up on the losing side.
Someone told me that most of his best innings or hundreds overseas have ended up on losing courses, right?
Yes.
So he's not quite managed to do very well with that. But look, it was a fantastic innings, and again, came in true Rishabh Pant style, which is his own one of one.
Yeah, we will talk or dig deeper into what his method looks like, because it looks like madness to the viewer, but there is a lot of method behind Rishabh Pant's style, which only he can understand. But just on that little bit that you mentioned, how I have the numbers. He has 6 test hundreds in Senna out of 8 test hundreds in total. So he's much better in all of these countries, South Africa, England, New Zealand, and Australia. And he's averaging 44.44 with the bat in test cricket. But out of those six away tons, which have come in 5 test matches, I think India have lost 4 and drawn 1. And when I was growing up, people would throw around Sachin under the bus very frequently, right? I think that's also wrong. I don't exactly agree with it. But they used to say that Sachin Tendulkar will score hundreds, but India won't win those games. Now, obviously, when you do a deep dive in the numbers, you can see that that's not entirely true. But Rishabh Pant is the opposite, isn't he? He is a match winner. He is supposed to win you those games. So this is quite ironic that they've never won those test matches.
I think it just tells you everything you need to know about the fact that bowlers win your test matches and batters don't. I think when it comes down to it, that is essentially what those stats tell you. And I think about Rishabh and about Sachin, that's what we're learning from those. So yeah, it is weird, but that innings that he played could have been match winning if India had just taken, if Bumrah had just bowled a normal spell, they probably win that, right?
Yeah. I mean, had India taken those catches,
Yeah.
Had Shardul not played, potentially Kuldeep would have played ahead of him. Many other things, right? India collapsed with the bat twice as well, but that's besides the point. What I really want to talk about, and I think what the real theme about this show is, that Rishabh Pant was doing Rishabh Pant things in this test, falling over and scooping the ball, and just going for those big shots down the ground early on in his innings. I think in both of his innings, on his second delivery, he came out and he slammed the ball down the ground. On one occasion, he was successful versus Stokes, and then the other innings, he edged one over the slips versus Voxy. But then again, it's not like he was just going on and on as a Mad Max and it was all vibes based. Rishabh Pant left a billion deliveries. He was in the 90s for an eternity in his second dig. And he also has those pokey shots and those, I don't even know what you call those stops, like drop stops. It's a weird way in which he defends the ball, isn't he? So it's a real mix of everything.
I was wondering about this, and there can be people that are very upset about this in many different ways, but essentially he's a little bit like Ben Stokes in that there's something kind of mechanical about the way he moves at times, especially when he's defending. It's like they both are like, I am going to defend now. And they sort of come into this weird position. And then when they're attacking, there's this incredible freedom about the way they play, right? Like it's completely different from that. And yeah, I went back and I had a look at it on MV Play and everything. And it's like, it was a mixed bag of sort of all the different things that we know of Rishabh Pant. Whereas I think sometimes people are just like, he's a slugger. And it's like, if he was a slugger, he wouldn't be averaging over 40 in Test cricket. It's like basically impossible to do.
And he wouldn't be leaving all of those deliveries either. And if you watch this test match, he left plenty, right? DK made a comment when KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant were in partnership in India's second innings. And he said on one end you have classical music and on the other you have hip hop. And I think that's a really fun analogy because he does hop a lot. And Rishabh Pant is such a fun guy or a funny guy even at times that you can actually watch him having this internal battle with himself in the flesh. He's talking to himself. He's telling himself, why do you have to fall over and scoop that ball? Why can't you just play it straight? Stuff like that. And it's not like he's always successful doing it either. My mind takes me back to stupid, right? Sunny Gavaskar. And he wins him over in this test match. That Gavaskar wants him to do another somersault. But it's funny how that somersault backflip comes in the first innings as Pant celebration, and in the second innings it's calm. And I think that also represents his knocks, because it's not always just throwing the kitchen sink at it. When he does throw the kitchen sink at it, it's just like completely like, okay, I'm just hitting this ball for six. But when he doesn't, he's very awkward when he is defending, and it kind of works for him. Yeah,
he defends probably in a way that I do a little bit as well, which is, I think, when your natural style is to hit the ball as hard as possible, and that's what you've always done. Sometimes when you defend, you kind of over defend, and sometimes you watch him and you're just like, settle down, mate. It's not like the last session on day 5 and you're trying to draw out a game. Just block the ball, but he can't, and he sort of over eggs the defensive shots quite a bit there. So yeah, I think there is an element of that, and what I tried to get to in the piece is that someone like Sunil Gavaskar will be absolutely fixated for many different reasons on the bad shots that don't work. But he'll also sit there and applaud on the same days when the bad shots do work.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I don't think as cricket fans, we're very good at sort of understanding that if you want Rishabh Pant to be Rishabh Pant, then you have to accept that sometimes he is going to hit the ball straight up in the air with the stupidest shot you've ever seen.
Yeah, and that's what Ravi Shastri kept echoing in the comm box, that it's a percentages game and it won't always come off. But another thing that was really highlighted in your piece was that Rishabh Pant is misunderstood by an entire generation of fans, right? And that is the Sunil Gavaskar generation of fans. And it was even more interesting for me to read that 2 of Gavaskar's own teammates who kept wicket for India, one of them was Farooq Engineer, and I forget the name of the other one. Maybe you can remind me.
Bundi Kundaran. I don't know if they played together, did they? Bundi? But Bundi would have been when Sunil Gavaskar was coming through as a professional, or as a teenager. Bundi would have been the wicketkeeper at that time.
Yeah. So both of those guys were also known to be a bit aggressive. In fact, Farooq Engineer, he played 30% quicker than all the other wicket keepers in his era. And Pant is batting 32% quicker than all the other wicket keepers in his era. So whilst there is a parallel over there, there isn't really any parallel, because when you look at them bat, Pant is just doing his own weird shit with his one-handed shots, those pokey shots that he has. I actually really like the dab to third man. But he is peculiar when it comes to his playing style. Even his dismissal versus Josh Stung, it looked like a tail-ender's dismissal. Let's be real, right? So he has his own weird way of working out what sort of shots he needs to play. And it's the fact that he's effective which ultimately matters. And that's where people like Sunny Gavaskar maybe struggle a bit.
Yeah, look, when it comes down to it, I think if you look at the Farouk Engineer example of that, Farouk Engineer was seen to be a wicketkeeper first, right? Who offered a little bit of batting and then played his own way and occasionally played these cavalier innings, which really helped India, right?
Yeah.
When your career is finished, that is how you're remembered. During his career, my guess is that there were many times when Farouk Engineer did something and writers and commentators and players, especially former players, were like, why is he playing that shot? Right? And the truth is that Farouk Engineer was ahead of his time in the same way that Rishabh Pant is ahead of his time. But as you said, when it comes down to it, if you find a way to make that repeatable, you kind of have to take it. Right?
Yeah.
If he's averaging 18 doing it, I think Sunny Gavaskar is more than fine to do that. But we keep trying to make batters into something that they're not and thinking that will make them better. There aren't too many examples of batters completely changing who they are and making it successful. Steve Waugh is obviously one of the most famous versions of this. But generally, you are who you are and you should bat that way. And it also gives India something that no one else has. Like, they basically have a nuclear weapon in the middle order. Now, sometimes he's going to blow up the opposition. Sometimes he's going to blow himself up.
Yeah, he can self-implode at times. And that's what we saw in that Australian test match, right? Where he just a ball ago was almost dismissed that way. And then he does get dismissed that way. And then that's where Sunny G he definitely loses it. But anyway, when you're watching Pant bat in Test cricket, you do feel this kind of freedom of expression, right? Like, it is a visceral experience. He's very uninhibited and brazen in the way he plays his shots, and he can be expansive when he wants to, and when he's not expansive, he's pokey. I think that's the best way to describe his style of defensive play. He's very pokey. So, he is kind of in a league of his own when it comes to this kind of player, Jared. And he's versatile on top of that. You can bat him at 6, you can bat him at 5. He really is a luxury of sorts, especially because ultimately he's averaging 44.44 with the bat in test matches, right? Like, that can't be ignored. He is a wicketkeeper bat. That's exceptional.
Yeah, the flexibility he gives you with your batting order is really... I mean, he could bat at 7, right? There's nothing within his batting to say he couldn't bat at 7. So he can bat at 7, he can bat at 6, he can bat at 5. That means that he can give you an incredibly long batting lineup with Jadeja behind him if you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Or Washington one day behind him if you wanted to do it, or Nitesh, whoever that is. Or you can go the other way and you can bat him at 5 and use him as an exciting player, which allows you to bat a specialist at number 6. There's a lot of versatility to his usage that not all players like him have.
Yeah. And, we were talking about Adam Gilchrist and kind of comparing the two together, because they're both really attacking or aggressive batters who completely bat the opposition teams out of the game most times when they click, right? I can't say the same for Pant, because every time he scores 100 in Sena, India don't win. But, I can totally understand the parallel. It's just that, Gilly obviously did it for a far longer period. Right? And he did it in a different era.
Cricket has never finished at the close of play. It lives in the arguments, the memories, the comment sections. Cricket makes you talk. Combox is entering that chat.
Boom, 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 boom. Rob Barron is in the house. Foreign and Shiner back with me as well here on Combox. Rob Barron's going to give us all of his opinions right now.
Sure. Why the hell are Mumbai decent favourites for this game?
They should be 90% chance to win. Is that what you think?
I think Chennai are absolute definite certainties to win this game, and I
can
see no other outcome.
So we actually thought it was around, I thought 50 to 55 was about right for Mumbai.
Okay, fair enough. I thought there was a little bit in the pitch. I don't think they bowled, other than Bumrah, obviously, always. I don't think they bowled that great. Santner didn't look particularly good to me.
I thought, maybe.
Sanford was very good.
Who was, sorry?
Ghazanfar was really good.
Yeah, he was. But Chris Bagat wasn't, and Hardik was too scared to bowl instead of him.
Rob,
What did you guys
Jared.
make of that?
I was okay with that. If the guy's in to be a specialist bowler, he's got to fucking bowl to death, doesn't he?
Does he?
Do we have to hide him? Don't you want to know? Don't you want to know if someone's good or not, Rob? Isn't them? But I thought he bowled a fine over at the death, actually.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Why is Hardik not bothering to do the job himself, though, like after he got whacked in his first over?
So what I was saying is I felt that they looked at that and went, they're a little bit under par, which you don't agree with, of course. But I think they thought that and they were like, we can get some experience into a younger player here who bowled a really bad over earlier on. I thought his comeback over was good.
I mean,
if you're going to be a seamer in the IPL, you kind of have to bowl at the death, don't you?
It went for 16. It wasn't great. It was all right.
I had it as a 15.5 run line.
Okay. I mean, I kind of get it, but if there were two bats there, it would have gone a lot more. It would have gone more than 16, wouldn't it?
I don't disagree with that. I don't think he bowled a bad over, though, I suppose, is the important thing that I would say there.
Fair enough.
Okay, so other than slagging off Hardik and saying that Chennai will win by 55 runs, what other opinions do you have?
I am looking forward to Namandir building on what he did last time, because I thought he was really, really good up the order. I thought his 50 was excellent.
Yeah.
And kind of got brushed under the carpet because Tilak was so good.
The 50 was in the previous game, though. He got 45 odd in the last game and looked good.
Yeah. What other opinions do I have? The biggest bookmaker in the world thought that Malawar was due the same number of runs as people like Sanju Samson today. So, or the same number of boundaries, which I had quite a strong argument with. I don't know how good Malawar is, but I don't think he's as good as Sanju Samson. I don't think he's as good as De Kock. We shall see. He may prove me wrong. It's difficult when you don't know about people. You can't go, well, he's definitely rubbish, but you can't put somebody in who's played one and failed one as like really good. You can put him in as average if you want, I think.
Brit says, why does nobody now talk about hitting with or against a spin? I swear they talked about it so much before, mainly every time Sehwag was batting.
Spinner opening the bowling, by the way.
Oh, hello. Well, we'll talk about it now.
Yeah.
Akil, yeah.
Does he even count? He's basically a slow medium swing bowler.
I was going to say the same thing, yeah.
If he looking to get the kids LBW or bowl, won't he? Because he was LB last time to the pace.
Yeah, to answer the question, isn't it because it's just more normal now?
Yeah.
Like, are we all surprised if Abhishek Sharma is hitting one spinning in over covers for 6 anymore?
Fair.
Good first delivery from Akil. Hit into the covers, no run.
I feel like with Danish, what's happened is that he scored lots of runs at first-class cricket level, but he's not actually played professional T20 cricket.
Yeah.
So it's a bit confusing, I think. We don't know how to rate him yet in T20 cricket.
Why?
Because we've not seen anything. He's looked like a proper player domestically in the
This one is swept in the air for 6.
That is not a good delivery. That's just leg side pie and Quentin gobbled up.
Bad ball, bad line. Also a matchup that he's liked as De Kock. They just showed it on the screen that he's got a good strike rate versus Akil.
I was just about to say that. No, it's like all the commentators will be happy. They're bowling a left-arm finger spinner to a left-handed batter.
And he gets hit for 6. I'm sure they'll all mention that too.
They have such a funny agenda, don't they? Like really broad strokes against anyone who has the audacity to like look stuff up.
Yeah. How dare you do research and then act on it?
Yeah.
What was the big
The
one?
thing is, Jared, I'll tell you what the
big
issue
one.
is.
What was the big one, Rob, with in England when it was and everyone's sick and tired of experts. and then COVID happened, and they didn't listen to the experts, and more people died than needed to in England.
The thing is, right? Oh God, yeah. I mean, England is a country, obviously run almost exclusively for many years by complete idiots, but they either ignored really, really important data that could have saved loads of lives, or interpreted the data extremely badly. I would love this next ball not to yield any runs, because I was having a conversation earlier that the tie can't be 8-1 or 9-1 for the first over score when they've scored 7, because 7 is such a likely number to hit, particularly if you've got somebody like Shami who always goes for about 6 or 7.
6, 7.
So I would.
I mean, 7's a bit low on the low end for this season, isn't it? For the first over.
It is, but the first over numbers are dropping a lot. I don't know why. Look at Rajasthan, for example. Anyway, come on, Akil. You can get him out if you want to.
Remember, this is for Rob's money and nothing else.
out.
And what a ball! I might have got him. Oh,
Nice.
poor Danish. What a ball this was. This has
This is
spun
a
more
really
than
good ball.
anything that Santner had spun before.
To be fair,
Is it-
Santner spun a few.
Yeah, but I don't think he spun it much further than that. He certainly
No,
didn't
I
do
mean-
it with a brand new ball, Varun.
Yeah, that's also there. No, he didn't over the. I think there's some.
Also,
like
when
minus
was the
6
last time you
degrees
saw
for Santner.
Akil Hassan actually spin the ball that much? That was
See, that
proper
is more
turn.
surprising than I think of all of the things. You're right.
He's given up the slow medium pace, and he's just come in with a beautiful delivery, and that's ripped. He's done well. He's actually done well to edge this. It's a terrible shot in the end. He was just
Yeah.
groping at it in the dark, you know, like you know.
See,
Varun
that
on
is
a
the sort
first
of thing a
date.
good first-class batter should be playing, isn't it?
That's a ball that you have to play first class cricket for, right?
Yeah.
Malaware gone. Early virus.
We still know nothing about him. He
Yeah.
goes 2-0.
Okay, the ad that they're showing right now, the 25 GB ad. Did you guys see it?
Yep.
The kid, the guy in the ad can't play cricket. He's never played cricket before.
Is he Rashid Khan?
No,
He
it's
looks like Rashid. The guy on the chair was Rashid Khan, right?
No, the guy in the chair is Rashid Khan. The guy playing
He can
cricket
play
in
cricket,
the
by the
ad.
way.
Yeah, he can play cricket. The guy in the ad can't play cricket.
Oh, okay.
Ah, okay.
Namandir number 3 and Chowdhury.
Okay, just a thing here. Dark Knight says step forward and hit it for a single. That is not a ball that you just step. He did step forward. That spun violently. Most players in the world are going to miss that delivery. It was a bad shot, but that is not an easy shot, an easy ball to play. That's absolute nonsense. Sorry, what were you saying, Rob?
Sorry, spun 4 degrees that.
So Chowdhury lost his mum yesterday, didn't he?
Mm.
Like, fair play to him for getting out on the park, and obviously all our best wishes with him and everything. Must be awful, but to play like the next day, so he's got the black armband on there. Obviously we're all cheering him to do well, but some would, it'd be perfectly fine for him to just leave, and that's what they reported, that he was going to leave the camp, but he went, no, I'm going to play.
Yeah, remember that like people get a little bit confused with that sort of stuff. So there are some people who would prefer to go back to normal life straight away and do stuff. I know Darren Goff told me that. He said, because we were talking about the Virat Kohli thing, and he said, yeah, my grandfather died, and they offered me to go home, and I played the next day. And he said it was easier for me to play the next day than it would have been to go home. Like, everyone's very different about how
It's
they
a different
grieve and how
coping
they handle
mechanism,
things.
right?
Yeah.
Like, for Harry Brook, for example, I believe he pulled out of the IPL. He wanted
Grandmother,
to stay back.
wasn't it?
Yes,
Grandfather?
yes. He wanted to stay back home.
Yeah.
I think everyone has their own ways of dealing with it. I believe Siraj also didn't really end up going back in the COVID times, right? When he lost his father during the Border Gavaskar Trophy.
Yeah. The first important question of the day comes from Ketten, who says, why aren't they playing Robin Mins? I'm not even going to read the rest of it. Just-
That's not the why for this team. That is not the why.
No, I'm going to read the second part of it because that is my agenda, Jared. Namandir should be opening the batting.
with Robin Mins.
He is opening the batting.
We need it. Ooh, Namandir.
Well,
Today.
kind of.
Kinda, yeah.
I mean, looking at Mumbai's batting, Namandir is actually opening. He has been opening
Yes,
for a
you're
while
not
now.
wrong there.
Is he not?
Oh,
Is that-
Did that
Well, I
just
don't know.
hit him?
yeah, it's just, I think it might have hit him in the chops. Did you see Rishabh Pant kept getting hit in the face yesterday by the ball? It was really funny.
He got a good one in the face, didn't he?
One right on the end of the nose, which amused me, and then he got another one later.
Well, why that one was funny and we can laugh at it is because of how slow it hit him as well.
Yeah, like
It
1
wasn't
mile
like
an hour.
it kicked up or anything. It was
One of them.
Yeah. It's like the ball's coming for your face now.
I think, what is it? Like, if you play 4 dots in a row, it's like your 50% chance of a wicket.
Oh,
Oh.
Chowdhury goes through,
Aaron,
and
what a man!
Quinton de Kock is gone. Just drag that
It's job
back on,
done.
maybe.
Yep, that's a
Goodbye,
job,
bye,
man.
baby. Off you pop.
Yeah, I think I was just about to say, I think it's if you play 4 dots in a row, it's a 50% chance of a wicket on the 5th one, or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's amazing. Can you find actual stats on that for me at some point, because that can enormously help with gambling?
No, I did at some point. And that's why I remember it. I think it's if it's 3 dots.
What
I
he's
think it's
saying
like
is send it to him
33%.
so he knows, so he can then factor it into his model.
Right. It's a great
Okay.
shout, though.
I
So
just assumed you knew that, Rob.
we've had you calling a wicket right there. Jared called a wicket on the exact ball yesterday. I did it the day before. So Cheyenne, pull your finger out.
Seems like it's time. I'll do it at the back end when they're all going to slog and lose wickets anyway.
Guys, I'm just going to drop off for a bit. I'll be back in a little while, about half an hour.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Love to know what he does when he disappears. Could be absolutely anything, that man.
Could be proposing on the suicide bridge again.
Yeah, if you've done it once, why not do it again?
Oh, what else is there? Directing a porno?
Very good start from Chennai, who are now
Surya's in
not
early.
second favourites to win this game. 72% Chennai, by the way, lads,
Hmm.
from 45%, 46% at half time, which seemed a bit crackers.
Rob, what do you think is going wrong with Sky this season? Because last season he made loads of runs. We know for India he was a bit too slow last year, and then again this year he found some form, then had a bad World Cup, and now again he's not scoring runs in this IPL,
And he
right?
just hits a
To be fair, he
beautiful
started
four
off well
again.
today. That's the
That's a
shot
shot.
you would expect
a
from
pie,
an in
but-
from Sky. But yeah, what do you feel has been going wrong with him basically?
I think, honestly, I think it's a combination of a slight lack of form, possible plans from some of the teams that he's played for, in that he hasn't been going from ball one, which I think is his natural game. I think his natural game is to score quickly from the off. And recently for India, he's not been doing that, has he? He's been getting sort of 15 balls
Getting
of
stuck.
knocking it around for him, and then he tries to go, and that doesn't suit him at all.
Bit of the Puran thing, which you've been saying, right? Like the moment he tries to attack, he gets out.
He's nowhere near that. He's nowhere near that.
Not
level.
as bad, yeah, not as bad.
But,
But in
I also
theory.
think that Father Time might be catching up with him, because he's 35 years old, right? So that's an age where
Fair.
in T20, it's not traditionally an age where you think, oh, batsman's gone now, but T20 is fast and furious, and going from ball one is not an easy thing, right?
I mean, we
I
also
would like-
see
What you're
that a
saying-
lot with old batters anyway,
Super
right? Where
chat.
they'll go from being best in the world and drop off immediately. We see that with Sachin, don't we? Where
Warner
2011
also
World Cup.
something similar in T20s, I guess.
Yeah, Sachin goes from like the being India's best batter in 2011 World Cup to not making like a replacement level batter almost instantly,
true.
doesn't he? So sorry, to answer Sanchit Tiwari's question, doesn't every ball have a chance of 50% wicket? It's either out or not. No. So you're thinking of what you're saying is completely different, because with every ball you can have a dot, single, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicket wide on a ball, right? You have to stick. So the chance of a wicket is not 50%. What I'm saying is, if there's 4 dots, it's either going to be 50% chance it's a wicket or a 50% other. That's completely different odds.
Yeah, don't be gambling now, Sanchit. We need to have a chat about percentages before you start gambling. But yeah, it's if you think that, then normally every team would be all out inside 22 balls, wouldn't they? Is there a wicket here? What the hell has just happened?
I completely missed that. He's holding his nose.
Here is the second man to be clean bowled in this innings, going for a wild sweep across the line as I was bigging him up. And I was really looking forward to watching him bat.
Same. And Varun.
And
All
yeah,
of
good
our
night,
agendas
Irene.
are gone.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. That is a bold. Yeah, what happened there? He had the VVS Lakshman surprise Pikachu face there, Namandir.
That's a good
Or the
one.
Virat Kohli one.
No, that's more surprise. The best one is Ben Stokes. He's just like, what has just happened? I cannot possibly get out. I think Ponting also used to have a certain reaction, did he not?
I'm not sure, but familiar with Pontings. I need to do
I
some
feel
research
like he
on
had
it.
some sort of a reaction. 11 for 3, Mumbai Indians once again. An absolute disarray.
This is disarray, and it's Tilak time.
Yeah. To be fair, now he can play himself in. I think in this situation, there is very little chance that he goes hard.
So Akil Hussein's first ball nearly swung 4 degrees in this over. That's fun.
Whoa. Okay. What about the wicket ball?
Hasn't updated. I will let you know when it has.
That's crackers. So 11 for 3. Tilak's going to have to do it again, isn't he? He's going to have to
Yeah.
do what he did the other day.
Exactly. He has to do exactly that today. He cannot afford
Exactly.
to, take a lot of risks at the start because
So
if
the
he
wicket
gets out,
ball
then they're done.
spun 3 degrees.
3
in
degrees. Oh, wow.
roughly 5 to 6 meters. So really difficult ball to play, but
Nice.
yeah. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
So
It's
Ma-
pretty decent.
That's quite a lot, isn't it? So
Mhm.
Malawar was the sub, so that's done. So it's Santner at 8.
Santner
and
at 8.
then
Yeah.
I don't know whether Chris Bagat can bat, but I don't think he can.
He can bat a bit, I guess.
Okay,
They
can
were
he?
saying that he's not an all-rounder. That's what Jared was saying. He's not an all-rounder, but he averages 17 in professional cricket.
Okay,
Is
his
what he
first
was
class
saying.
got a high score of 39 not out in 10 innings, but he can't whack it. There's no evidence that he can whack it.
Mm.
Two
He's a
sixes.
first-class strike rate of 27. That is amazing. I love that.
Who is this, sorry?
Krish Bhagat. I'll read
Oh
out his
my
stats to
God.
you.
He's already
10
my
innings,
favorite one.
I'll tell you, bro. 10 innings, 2 not outs, 145 runs, highest score 39 not out, 538 balls faced, average of 18.12, and a strike rate of 26.95. Amazing. I love
Old
that.
school.
Very old school.
He's already my favorite.
Even in list
batsman
A
of all
cricket,
time.
he's faced 71 balls in 3 innings, guys, but at a strike rate of 73.2.
I need to
Amazing.
do this.
He's young, he's only 21. He's a Punjab player. Yeah, correct.
Hmm.
Nice.
Well, what a start this is from Akil.
Yeah, proper.
2 overs in the power play, 2 for 7. Getting rid of the kid and Namandir, who has spoiled
good.
all my massive build-up of him today by doing 0. Entry points are going to be interesting here, lads, aren't they? For these men.
Not as always true. I think the 3 of us are pretty much obsessed with entry points. Even Jared, I would say, but I think 3 of us keep going on about it a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe Saurabh too. I feel like he's also big on entry points, but he thinks slightly differently to us. I think little different. I want to say Varun, right?
No, I don't think he's as entry points obsessed as this.
Yeah, we are very much into that now. deep into that rabbit hole.
I think batting order is the thing that's obsessed me the most in cricket. I'm obsessed with lots of things in cricket, but I think batting orders is the one that has never left me because I've never understood why they did it. The drum I was always banging for T20s for years at the start was, why don't you always chase? Unless the pitch is definitely going to wear, why don't you always chase? I never understood that. It's like, well, you know how many you need to get when you chase. I don't understand it, right? And teams just never did it. It was just bat first. And then it was only about Varun, 2 or 3 years ago that they thought, well, the right answer here is that we must chase.
Is it just that recent? I have a
No, it's
feeling by
older than
default.
that. Like 10. I want to say 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't
I
think
feel the same.
No, because
I
in
think-
Owen Morgan's England, there was a period where every toss they
Okay.
won, they decided to bowl first.
Yeah, maybe it's him then. See, proper gambler, understanding what the odds are.
It's actually chasing has gotten so bad right now, the winning toss and chasing, that Jared and I were discussing at one point that surely at some point you idiots decide to bat first willingly, because it's not like it's 80% chasing and 20% batting first, right? It might be like 55-45.
So I think it's last 6 or 7 toss winners in the IPL have lost the match. So the decision making at the toss perhaps hasn't been great, but it's hard to know, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we can look at it like that. It might just be your team is bad. I mean, look at Lucknow.
Also sample size as well. It's not enough.
Yeah, and sample sizes, exactly. I mean,
I
for
think
example,
that-
Punjab haven't lost a toss this IPL, have they, Rob? And
No,
SRH
they-
haven't won a toss. They've
They
lost
got it.
every toss.
The definite bad decisions were Rahane bowling with rain,
versus Punjab. When there was
Rahane
rain.
batting with rain about,
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
absolutely mental. And they would have lost that game if it didn't then subsequently rain properly. And I also think he made a bad decision 2 games after that. Can't remember the game now, but only those ones have stayed in my head, that what Rahane's been up to at the toss.
Also, I think historically it made sense to chase because we were an anchor-led sport, right? T20 cricket. And it seems first always left runs on the table because these idiots kept making 50 or 45 batting first and kept patting themselves on the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just know what to do, right? Like, that's the easiest way to look at it. But it might not even work for all teams, all styles of play. Like, let's say you're a very batting first heavy team who just loves to, bat when there's no. Like, we have the Steve Smith versus Virat Kohli conversation, right? Where Smith is the guy who wants an open canvas, and Kohli is the guy who's going to be very mathematical about it. He's going to be like, yeah, I have to chase 160, 170. This is how I will break it down. This is how I will get it done in the 19th over, right? Or you can have the Dhoni method, as we always say, the Dhoni Bevan method, where you take it to the 20th and then.
There's the other
game.
argument is when you're playing a team of hitters who have a high ceiling on a good batting pitch, it makes sense to bat first than bowling first.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Like a Sunrisers thing, right? It's like,
that's exactly what I'm getting at.
If Sunrisers are on a road, they could get like 280, 290 and end your life. Right, you're better off batting first, getting like 250, 240.
Good shot, that one from Sky.
That's a really good shot.
Well done. Though, to be fair, you don't want to be losing every single toss, Varun. That's still true, right? Like, you still want to be chasing in certain games.
That's very true, yes.
Well, I'm amazed at their record, bro. Like, they're 4 wins and 3 losses, I want to say. Sunrisers right now? Are they not? 4 and 3.
So.
And they haven't won a single toss. They've lost every single toss.
Yeah, 4 and 3.
Yep. And Punjab are 5-0 and the no result.
Yeah, and miraculously, I think they won 3 of them on the back of bowling. I don't know how they've done that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that is also true. Exactly. Especially the CSK game, right, where they defended. That's definitely on the bowling, I would say.
Net run rate is going to be a thing, guys. This could actually be, if Chennai ice this could be a huge win for Chennai.
Oh yeah, certainly. They have to make sure then to not do the thing of, we've won the game already. Let's bowl some pies. I mean, that's also easier said than done. I mean, I feel like sometimes when the steam goes out of the game, the batters also know that we can just take more chances.
Yeah, would you keep Akil on here? Would you have kept Akil on? They haven't. They've gone Cambodge. I would have
because I don't think both of them like slow left summers.
Exactly. Yeah, I would have kept on.
Yeah, I would. Because Akil does all his best work with the ball in the power play. And he's going well. He's 2 for 7 in 12 balls. And he's got 1 off 5 Tilak to bowl at. I definitely would have kept him on. I was looking at Cambodge's numbers, which has been superb in this competition so far.
He's taken lots of wickets this IPL.
He's taken lots of wickets clean bowled, as well as his first ball is a bit of a throwdown, which has gone for a couple. He's got a staggeringly high percentage of his wickets bowled, and it seemed like a bit of a bold day, or certainly is this innings. There was a couple in the first innings, weren't there? Sarfraz and Dubey both got bowled by spinners. And now De Kock and Namandir both been bowled. So
that would make it just that's 4 bowls, but 3 from spinners. Correct? Or unless I'm missing something obvious right now.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Oh, this reminds me about overusage. Rob, how would you use Bumrah? Like, what overs would you give him ideally? Like, let's say for today, do you think they used him fine? Or
now that I've seen Bumrah bowling a couple of times in the first over, so I was listening to the telly, which I rarely do these days. I was listening to the telly earlier, and Danny Morrison was saying you should bowl Bumrah over number 1 if you've got him. Previously, I'd have said you don't need to, because over 1 they tend to not go for it. But now teams go for over 1. I agree. So he said you should bowl Bumrah, because what you don't want is they score 16 off the first over, and then you kind of have to bring Bumrah on as your catch-up bowler, rather than you bring Bumrah on as your attacking spearhead and go, right, we're going to get straight into you. Here's the hardest bowler to face in the whole wide world. Game on, right? I 100% agree. And when he said it, Danny Morrison, I just nodded in my head. I was like, yeah, this is what I think now. So I think bowling Bumrah as a massive slash over the cordon Or
Yeah. It's
Where the
also
hell-
Rob. Bolt has not been in form. Cheher has not been in form. They're both out of the
Yeah.
team as well
Correct.
now. So you
Correct.
might
So
as well just give
that's
the
the
new
other
ball to
thing, right?
Bumrah.
So they,
Yeah.
they had two on paper, historically, very good first over bowlers. You got Chahar with
Exactly.
Meg Swing and Bolt, who's the best
Yeah.
first over bowler ever.
Ever.
But
Yeah.
they're both old and shit right now, right? They might come back. They're both really good, so they might come back. But this tournament, they've looked old and they've bowled rubbish, particularly at the start. So if they're not in your team and Bumrah over 1, I agree. Whether he bowls over 3, then I'm not sure. Depends. Like everything else for Bumrah depends, and I don't think it should be that he bowls over 1, 3, 17, 19, and that's what you do. I think that should change every game. It's like, well, this guy, we really need to get him out now, and if we let Sanju bat, face 12 overs without Bumrah bowling any of them when he's batting really well, that's a really bad idea, right? Try and get him out earlier.
Correct.
And when he did come back on, what did he get, a wicket and went for 2 or something? Like he's that good a bowler. So I don't think that there should be a set menu for that guy. It's a la carte every time, and it's just like, yeah, let's go. But you need a good captain to do that, and I'm not sure how good Hardik is.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
So Rake Jake
I've
has a
been on
super chat
this-
for us. He's saying Chowdhury to Tilak might have been the most good-looking bowler to bat combo this tournament has ever seen. No homo. It would be up there.
You can homo if you want. That's an interesting one. I don't know. It's like people are going to have to put in the chat who that could be. I think we need Jared for this one. Who's the most good-looking bowler to bat combo? Like Tilak's probably going to be
Cummins
in
would be
it.
up there in terms of
Cummins,
looks.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Once he comes back,
Who?
he has to be there.
Pat Cummins.
Do you think?
Cummins to KL Rahul,
yeah.
maybe. Cummins to Tilak. Cummins to Kohli, maybe.
Cummins to Tilak is a decent shot.
Cambodge has had a shy back at the stumps here. So he's gone for Sky, and fair enough as well, because Sky was dancing. I think Sky probably got back. This is a good question. I think we need to give it some proper thought. So I'm going to look through my team list, and I'm going to get the right answer. So you two are going to have to talk amongst yourselves, because this is an important question. I mean, I'm not qualified to answer it, but I'm going to answer it anyway.
No, we need to do some research on this. This is a what do you call it, 3,000 word piece. This
is a piece for Jared. Yeah, that is
I'm gonna keep this.
Let's think of
start.
historical ones, bro. Wasim Akram and who?
Oh fuck, that's a good question.
So
man.
why do you always have to answer stuff, you two children, with really old-timey answers, right? The question is, who is the hottest bowler to batsman in this
said in this
IPL?
tourn- in this tournament.
It's
In
the
this
Jared
IPL.
influence, Rob. He has black and white coded us.
To be fair, he did say in this IPL,
quite
in this
hot, isn't he?
tournament so far.
So
No,
that's
I know,
Holy, like RCB have got some pretty good-looking fellas.
I see we have good-looking fellas.
Yeah, that is true.
Again, I'm not really qualified to make these judgments, but we've been asked a question, we're going to answer it.
Yeah, go
Pat
on.
Cummins,
Go
Shreyas
for it.
maybe as well. Is an outside shot.
Shreyas is
He's got Sims.
definitely
going on.
he's
got
very
Sims.
he's got that aura, I would say, bro. Oh, we forgot Gill. Gill is a good one, right? We completely forgot that.
Yeah, Gill is good-looking.
Gill versus Cummins might be up there.
I don't think Gill is better-looking than Tilak though. That's what it could be personal opinion.
Yeah, this is all very subjective, also. Anyway, no.
Yeah.
I think both of them are good looking anyway.
I think it's
I
less
think Devdutt
easy
is pretty
to have
good-looking.
good-looking bowlers.
Oh yeah, Devdutt is good looking. Yeah, for sure.
Devdutt is pretty good-looking.
He's tall as well, so I think that helps.
Yeah, that always helps. That helps Gill too, doesn't it? Even Tilak's Tilak's over 6 foot, isn't he? I want to say
Is he?
I don't know
Yeah,
how tall
he's
anyone is in
good.
cricket, really. I'm not good at that.
he's pretty tall. I know that.
Let's have a closer look, I guess, right now.
Tilak or my height. Oh, thank God for that. Oh, 5'9", my bad. Yeah.
They've
I
missed
didn't
out on a
feel
couple of 4 balls this over, I think.
Yeah.
This
This is what
is
losing
the,
wickets does to you, right?
both these bats are in the we're definitely going to play ourselves in mode and try and take it deep rather than
So negative spectrum is saying, no, Shayan, you can't both of them this one. Visualize which one you'd want to share your bed with. For those of you who don't know, Shayan is deeply uncomfortable with these sort of questions.
Oh, okay. Why?
No, I mean, I can have the good looking conversation, right? But I
Yeah.
mean,
Sharing a bed is where you draw the line. You don't have to do anything with them. You're just sharing a bed.
Yeah, there's the reason I
No
don't discuss
comments.
jokes with
Pass.
Shayan.
No comments.
Like, as somebody that spent many years of my youth going out drinking and having mates, crash at mine and stuff, I've shared a bed with man on many occasions. But you don't have to get up to any funny business, Shayan. You can just nice good night hug and go about your separate ends of the bed.
It's not gay as long as your socks are on.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
So Triple Stroke is saying Akil would have been an elite test spinner. I'm not sure, because with test spinners you need to bowl the same ball again and again. And Akil likes bowling 6 different balls in an over. So
This is some start. Excuse me for yawning. This is some start. This from Chennai. They've been right on the money.
Yeah.
So far, no answers. But these two have decided they're going to do the Klassen method of power play when you're coming in earlier than you want to, and that is just block everything. That's basically what they're doing here.
Faf du Plessis is a good shout for the good-looking batter.
He's not in this IPL. Behave yourself.
I think in the tournament they said, right? This
What, the
tournament
tournament
has ever
ever?
seen. This tournament has ever seen. So IPL all time then. Yeah.
Everyone fancies.
What
Faf,
about
don't
Dale
they?
Steyn?
Dale Steyn to Faf would be a fun one.
Yeah.
No, but is Faf good looking, or has he just got a great body? That's what I'm always confused
No,
about.
I think he is good looking.
I think he's quite good looking, but I think there's better people with better faces than him, if it makes sense.
That's
Pandey's
the
good looking
subjective bit,
dude,
right?
Pandey is good
Manish
looking.
Pandey's good looking boy.
Agreed.
Manish Pandey, yeah, that's a good one. I think we've spent a whole lot of time. Like, this could very well be a podcast on its own.
I mean, Hetman would be up there with the booty per square inch metric.
He has got some junk in the trunk, that boy. There's no question about that. Hetty Bumbalati.
Yep.
They win this 1 in 8, apparently.
Oof.
I don't mind. So I've been very pro Chennai with my betting today.
Yeah,
And I
Temba
don't-
obviously tops the booty per square inch convo, doesn't he?
Temba, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Hetty's got a shout.
Yeah, but I think Temba's got like for the he's not very tall, and he's the dump truck that Temba has is remarkable.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going back to the betting thing. I'm diving away from my bets now because I think 1 in 8 is fine. So I'm closing my Chennai performance. Well done, Chennai. I still hope they win because it would help all my other bets. This feels like quite low volatility cricket right now. But that if we do get the low volatility cricket right now, we should get really high volatility cricket later in the innings, which is what I'm all about. As Tilak blocks again.
To be fair, Amur, like when you're watching Temba, it's hard not to notice the booty.
Cheyenne amazingly quiet throughout these these topics.
I think he tuned out there.
he was thinking about Hetmeyer's booty. I think there might be a picture on your wall, like top right, where your eyes keep going, Cheyenne. Another block into the covers. I don't mind. I don't mind boring cricket, as long as what then follows is ultra exciting. Because quite often when you get this holding pattern nonsense, and they're just like block, we have to stay in the game. We've got to block. We've got to take the ones, and we got to like bore everyone. Quite often, what happens then, as soon as somebody plays the big shot, it's caught on the rope, and then they're dead. But with these two, you think like they can do this, can't they? They're both good
At
enough.
their
to
best,
live.
they can. I don't know if they
Well,
can do it.
Tilak
in their
reeled one,
current form.
one game ago.
Yeah, Tilak, I mean, he just played a great knock. I am not denying that. But with Sky, you kind of need it to happen from both ends, do you not? To chase this down.
For now, they do. Now they've just blocked 4 overs. They do. They need more than one person to do it for them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
So Coach Atharv is asking us, are the conditions bad or just 3 wickets effect? We had some couple of good balls which spun, and then QDK chops on. I don't think this is a mega road, if it makes sense, but
I think it's
Yeah,
a
but I don't think
bit
it's
of
as
like
bad
the
as
3
it
wickets for good bowling, but after
Yeah.
that, it's sort of conditional. Like, because of the 3 wickets, they're batting slow, which is fair. I mean, in a chase, I don't really have huge issues with that.
Oh,
but as Rob
he's
said,
hitting the nut.
when they
Oh,
try to
yeah.
hit, they'll get out. So, I mean, if that happens, then it's all for nothing. But I
Sky
think
has
it's the
had a
right way to approach
clear
it for the time being. Yeah.
and has been struck exactly on the box. And you do not want to be struck exactly on the box because it really hurts. And he will now take some time. And
this is a
fans of my
perfect.
nonsense theorizing will know that whenever anyone gets hit, oh no, he hasn't been hit in the box. That's hit him
Oh, just
right
adjacent.
in the like midriff sort of area, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was just about to back his unders, but now I won't. That's hit him sort of
Mhm.
flicked off the elbow and onto sort of the waistline. Like
I think
that
that's hit
kind of
him
area.
northwest of the cock.
Yeah. De Kock's out. He got out in the first 5 minutes. Yeah, I think he's safe. His future family is safe anyway.
Mm-hmm. So this is the. I always find Tilak a very fun batter because I don't know what he is. I think with I feel like with him, I think he needs situations to tell him what he has to do. He isn't always good at thinking for himself. Like I think he's got the Ben Stokes and like Dhoni thing about him, where he's like, okay, if it's the score is 20 for 3, you trust him, but if it's 70 for 1, he doesn't
Yeah.
know what to do.
Exactly.
Like I think he's very good at coming in at the depth for that very reason, where he's like, okay, I just have to hit from ball 1 now.
Correct.
But he's so good. He has done lots of different jobs, but I agree with you. I don't think he massively knows which one he's best at, or which one he should do at any given time. But when, same as ever, the old clarity of role thing, it requires a captain or coach to go, this is what we want from you today. But I think what he did last time was so extraordinary, because I thought that pitch was hard, and I still think that pitch was hard to score runs on.
Yeah.
And what was he, 19 off 22, and then like 80 off 25 or something? Just absolutely ridiculous hitting.
Yeah.
I mean,
82
they
of
can
23,
afford to
I
go
think.
at 6 and over for a bit, this team, but they can't afford to go at 2 and over.
Oh yeah, that is certainly true. They'll still need I want to say 60 runs at the 10 over mark. That would be a decent target to aim for.
Yeah, but
So
even
they're
then,
lead was
that
the
would be
last
like
one, right?
15 and over for 10 overs with an out of form Hardik, and Rutherford who needs like 10 balls, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
13
it's
balls into boundary. You've got to go for one now, surely.
Oof.
As he blocks again.
He's also bowling well, to be fair. I think like he's just hit that good
He's
length.
bowling the good length, yeah.
Exactly.
Cambodge has been different class this season because he's had to change his role because of injuries and, no Ellis really. And was it you, Varun, that said at the start of the season they're trying to turn him into a death bowler?
Yeah.
But I think he's been quality.
Yep.
But you're right.
That's the
Good
ball
length.
He's been
ball.
good.
Not much you can do with that ball. If you want to hit that ball to the boundary, you have to take quite a high
Exactly.
risk.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And you can't, like, it's not very easy to drive
Oh,
on
I
the off
see
either,
it.
Rob.
Is that the
LBW
nuts
shout,
again?
I'm going to have to see because he does not look happy here, Sky.
Oh,
I think that's just clattered him on the knee,
Yeah, exactly. It has, because I can see it twice. It's on the stream and on my TV as well.
He's just getting battered.
That's an excellent over from Kamboj. Wow.
Superb.
Really well done.
he's also
Varun,
got
how
the
many
ball
good
to clean
lengths
this over.
was Jedi Bowl in this spell?
I think it's
In this over,
just
sorry.
outside. I think it's bowling at the 8 to 9 meters, so just outside the range.
Fair. Makes sense.
Not far off Goodland, but yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't know what even is good length anymore in the IPO because I think it should be 7 to 9 meters because, like,
Okay.
6 to 7 meters is a bit like the 4 to 5 meters of fast bowling at this point.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It
Chowdhury's
feels like
falling
he's
out
gone
there.
at a couple of 8 to 9, and then one of them is slightly
Yeah.
more
So
than
the
that. Okay, no,
fifth
this is
ball
the fifth
was 7 to 8 meters.
Sorry, I was looking at
Has
the.
Mumbai won yet, guys?
Nearly.
Mhm.
Chowdhury's bowling out here.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, it's a good
First
shot.
ball has been.
Yeah. Now that
Surgically-
Jared, this was the question we were waiting for you to answer. So so Rake Jake is asking us, Chowdhury to Tilak might have been the most good-looking bowler to bat combo this tournament has ever seen. No homer. Your thoughts?
Who are the most attractive bowlers?
I think
Who
we
is
had
Kyle-
Pat Cummins.
Who is Kyle Jamieson bowled to?
Is Kyle Jameson more attractive than Pat Cummins?
I
Let's
don't.
see.
I don't know if
Beauty's in
he
the
is
eye of the
anymore
beholder,
now.
isn't it, mate?
He might have. Young Kyle Jamieson might have been.
Hmm.
You don't think he's fit anymore?
He doesn't look the same.
So you don't fancy him anymore? Because you were always quite hot on him, quite sweet on Kyle Jameson.
What? You weren't hot on Kyle Jamieson?
Not my type. No.
What's your type of man?
Why does every watch along end up with me being asked that question?
Well,
I'm not sure.
I already know that Cheyenne likes otters.
Like what?
Otters.
Cheyenne,
When
Cheyenne
you-
completely
whatever-
tapped out of the
When you're
conversation.
chatting to your mum before, say, Jared thinks I like otters. And then get her to Google what an otter is in gay culture.
You got to be careful when you're googling these things.
Yeah. I don't understand why they're going at 4.7 runs and over when they need 13.6. I think they've made a mistake.
Well,
There's another
they,
four.
they elected to go zero risk for every single ball, and just now, which as Chowdhury's bowling a fourth, is looking like not the best plan of all time.
Also,
Yeah,
I mean, since
Compose
I've sat
was-
down, all I've seen is Mumbai time fours, guys.
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah.
They've changed gears slightly.
So in the last over, Cumbers was bowling a lot of wobble balls that were actually seaming, which is impressive.
This
That's
looks
Oh,
easy.
this
I
was a
don't
good
understand why
shot.
you don't just hit a four every ball, guys.
well, that's what they are doing now. They've just decided that that's the way to do it.
Just saying, you guys have really screwed over the audience by just like not calling any fours.
I mean, there haven't been too many of them, I guess.
Well, I would
think all
hope
of them
not.
have been
If they're
since you've been here.
43 for 3.
3 since you
So-
game.
Noor hasn't bowled yet, right?
That is
Yeah,
correct.
it's not.
Okay, here's a challenge, gentlemen. I've just checked what an otter is, but as a cricket fan, I can't remember a slimy, hairy, handsome cricketer. Firstly, very unfair on Ricky Ponting. Cheyenne's quickly Googling otter, gay culture.
I'm not even typing.
You already know.
Am I the new Akshay? Are you guys going to keep ragging me?
It's not ragging you? That's
No, I
not
think you're
ragging
too normal
you.
to be Akshay.
I guess.
Were you raised as a girl?
No.
Have you decided to be engaged with someone and then refuse to use the term for engagement?
And fiance.
Whilst wearing a wedding ring.
When you're not yet married.
So he's engaged, refuses to call her his fiance, and wears a
Yeah, I
wedding
heard
ring.
that one.
A lot going on
I
there.
heard that one.
It's a lot to unpack.
Also, I'm pretty sure he was going to direct a porno at one stage.
He said he
No,
wanted.
that's
He didn't say
I
he
thought
wanted.
Glenn Maxwell as well. I thought Maxwell and Ponting might have been two of the most otter-esque people. I actually don't really know what makes an otter, so I'm not the best. Is it someone who looks perpetually moist? Who's the most
Sorry, a
moist
gay or
cricketer, Varun?
bisexual man who is lean, slim, or athletic in build, but also quite hairy.
Who's the hairiest cricketer?
Yeah, Ponting's a good shout for
Ponting's
that.
Yeah,
arms
Maxi's-
are really hairy, aren't they?
Maxi's a good
and,
shout.
and him and Maxi, they've both got
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hairy arms. Trying to think who else. I can't think of too many others.
Feels like Robin Smith would fit that bill quite well.
So someone said Daryl Mitchell, and I was thinking him, but he's not. He's too big to be an otter. You got to be
Yeah.
slight.
I'm not sure he's hairy enough.
He's quite hairy, Daryl Mitchell, isn't he?
Robin Smith.
I
That's
don't.
some
Again,
hairy old
isn't Robin Smith got big shoulders? I assume
Yeah.
as an otter, part of the advantage of being an
Oh,
otter
Ganguly's a good shot.
Ooh, almost in it. Chop on here.
I think it might be a choppy-on kind of pitch, you know.
Yeah, I see it. And this is timeout.
Choppy on pitch. Yeah, this is just Rob talking himself into betting on bowls again.
Well,
and
if I'd have bet it
losing
all day
his
today, I'd be miles in front, wouldn't I? We've had 4 already out
Yeah.
of
But you won't have another
9.
one once you do.
4 out of 9. These aren't the guys that get bowled, really. I just want let's get the tail in.
Also,
I'm
I don't
wrong.
know enough about this culture to say if this is right or not, but I do want to.
Oh my god!
I
need
am
to check this.
taking a screenshot of this and sending it to Reese.
What the hell is that?
I am not googling these things on the work monitor computer. In
What's
fact,
the-
maybe I am.
Have you ever got caught with anything at work, googling something you shouldn't?
So my favorite one, I don't mind saying this. My favorite one was when I worked very briefly for the UK's biggest bookmaker at the start of lockdown. And if you think big green machine, you're not going to be far wrong. And I didn't last 5 minutes because that is the staff call their head office the gulag, and that's about right. They're so officious, it's ridiculous. And as I'm sure you can appreciate, that is not for me. But on my first day, I got in trouble for lots of different things, and I really wasn't trying to. Like, I wasn't being a knobhead. I was just like, trying to find out how the computer worked and stuff, which is always going to take me ages. And I got in trouble for not swiping my key card on enough doors when I was walking around from my desk. Yep. You have to have a card, and you must swipe it on every single door so they know your exact movement at all times.
Oh god.
Then I saw somebody I hadn't seen for 10 years. And I walked over to his desk and shook his hand and said, "Hi mate, how's it going?" I got in trouble for that because under no circumstances should you go to a different department. And then I got there's like trigger words that if you use certain trigger words on the internal work messenger, then HR like come down on you. And I think in their top 5 trigger words, I used all 5 in the first message I sent. And and they didn't like that. I was like, I don't think this place is for me. Fair play if you can hack that sort of work environment. But imagine that level of big brothering when you're trying to graft.
I got one where I had a management was looking at my computer screen while I was working, which was part of the job. And I would write things, right? And it was generally things that I needed to remember, like from actually, because I was writing novels and screenplays and stuff. Or because it would take me about 40 minutes to drive into work. Like I'd have plenty of free time. And this is before you could just make a voice note to yourself or anything. So when I got to computer, I put them all, got to work, I would put them all down on my computer so I could remember them and everything. And I had one that was, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of, some days you want to be pulled limb from limb. And the manager and she couldn't understand that, like, and I was like, but I'm a writer. Like if you come in and look at my computer every day, you'll see a different message. If you talk to other supervisors, they will tell you, like, there's always stuff there. Sometimes they will come up, the supervisors, when they're not supervising, when I'll check what I've written in the box. Right, because it became such a big thing. But this woman wouldn't handle it. And she's like, "No, you just hate your job here, and that's why you've written that." And I was like, "I do hate my job here, but that's not why I wrote it."
That was the other thing I got in trouble for on my first day. I got chased out of the building by a security guard, and he said, "We've been told that you've got." A
Oh
piece
my
of
God.
That's a big.
Ahmed."
Oh,
no.
that should have been 5 wide.
Yeah,
It's not. It's going to be 2 wide as Noor Ahmed misses the pitch, basically.
Bloody hell.
I've seen him do this before for his first ball. It's not the first time
Wow.
I've seen him do that off the first delivery.
I mean,
Interesting,
that was like me bowling. That was really
Is that
bad.
due?
That's
I was
the
just about
question,
to
isn't
ask.
it? That's
I
what
think
we
it's
gotta look
due.
for now.
He
Must
went
be.
straight to the towel after that. Due watch.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I got in trouble. So the security guy chased me out and said, "We heard you've got company property on you," and I said, "No, I haven't." He said, "I'm afraid you have. We've seen you on the camera." I was like, "What have I got?" He said, "You've got a piece of paper on you," and he said, "You're not allowed to take anything out of the office." And I said, "Look, it's my first day, and I made notes on how to like turn the computer on and stuff, and I promise I will not remember that tomorrow. So I need the bit of paper that tells me." He said, "No, you can leave it in the office and you can come back to it tomorrow. You're not allowed to take anything." I was like, Jesus. Okay, then. Maybe that's the way of like, I've never had a real job, like a proper one. Maybe that is what people have to do in their real jobs.
There are some. I don't think you could take a piece of paper out of what's it called? Snow leopard, lizard,
Star lizard.
star lizard.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Like,
Oh my god, getting into star
Yeah.
lizard. Jeez, that was ridiculous.
I mean, I've got mates that have worked there for many years, and they don't really talk about it. So they must, whatever the repercussions are
Yeah.
for disclosing what goes on, in that place, must be quite bad. Like someone must have done it and got, their head on a spike or whatever.
Neil says, how does smoking affect batters? It improves batting, pace bowling. It makes you swing the ball more, and footballers, it makes you score more goals.
Okay, good to know.
I mean, I would assume it eventually has something to do with your lungs, which is not particularly good.
I think there's scientific research has been taken that proves that smoking isn't particularly good for your lungs. I'm sure I've heard that before. I'm no doctor.
Now we're getting the important messages, Cheyenne.
It's because we were talking
No.
about who's the hottest cricketers for 15 minutes.
I'm not upset. I mean, I don't have anything to add. I just like forced myself to speak. I can't do that, right?
You don't know who the hottest cricketers are.
I gave like 100 names. What more am I supposed to do?
You didn't, you great big liar.
I did.
I've just thought about it though, and I've been thinking about it non-stop for the last 10 minutes. Dean Elgar seems like an otter.
Good otter. Good otter.
I don't think Quinton de Kock's non-otter like.
He's more weasel or stoat. He's in that same family, but much more like sneaky and creepy, I reckon. You can tell by his eyes.
This is a good message for Cheyenne. Is Cheyenne prudish, or does he know his hottest cricketer's takes are too spicy for YouTube?
No comments. Pass.
He's a Peter Siddle man, and he always has been. So there's a line that is attributed to me about Peter Siddle, which I'm pretty sure I never said, which is Peter Siddle looks like the sort of man who would run through a brick wall for his country, and like the sort of man who already has.
It's a good line.
Yeah, and I'm really sure I didn't write it, but so many people, I've like had people come up to me at cricket grounds and go, that Peter Siddle line. I was like, I don't know it was me. Beautiful straight drive here for 4.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
I
I mean,
might
it's a
be able
very
to
harsh
find-
line on Peter Siddle, isn't it? That his face looks like he's run through a brick wall.
There was one line that you wrote, Jared, and I have had a go at you for some of your editing, which has been utterly appalling when you just put scorecards in your books that have the wrong numbers in and stuff. But you have written the single line in all of literature that made me laugh the most. I laughed for like 5 minutes when I read it. I'll try and find it now.
Yeah, some of the editing on those early books. I won't mention the publisher, but it's a bit up and down. It was actually weird. We went through the recent book because they wanted a reprint, and it shocked me how few errors were in it because I've never had a book where that's happened before.
It's very you, though, isn't it?
Well, at least now, it's actually easier now when I deal with a publisher because I can tell them I'm dyslexic at the time. And so they might need to check. Also, I'm pretty sure one of the books, Rob, wasn't actually, I don't think they sent the right copy off.
Oh, nice. Like Peep Show when they do Business Secrets of the Pharaohs or whatever it's called.
I wasn't a Peep Show guy. Sorry.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Someone's just said Abhishek Sharma. Are we still talking about otters?
I can see
Overton.
that, Yeah, good one. Well, how do you
Finally.
all that? He's playing this game.
Hits the pitch hard, first ball, and it's 4. This pitch looks pretty good now, guys. I know there might be a little bit of dew out there, but geez, it's sliding onto the back good.
They've gotten a lot of 4s.
Yeah. Since I want to say the 8th over, right?
Yeah, the Mukesh over.
Since the moment I sat down, I think is
Yeah,
the official
exactly.
timing.
Exactly.
I sat down and they were at about 3 runs and over, and I've just seen
Yeah.
boundary after boundary since then.
That is true.
Oh, by the way, Jared, about Tilak, I was wondering if he's the sort of batter that is better when he has a situation and he doesn't know what to do when he has to think for himself.
What's his second innings splits?
Is a lot better. I think in the international cricket, at least, I think it's averaging like 70 or something chasing.
Makes sense then.
Yeah. Is he got the Ben Stokes and Dhoni or Bevan thing of he needs context?
He might. I mean, you'd have to look at all T20 cricket, wouldn't you, to get a good idea, rather than just one format or another.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'll try and look at List A cricket as well, see if there's a pattern there as well. It should go over as launched over cover, 1 bounce 4.
So in
don't want any more
T20Is, he's at 39 and 153 in the first innings and 57 and 135 in the second. I think that makes complete
So in the
sense.
IPL, it's similar in both innings, so that's odd.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
What about for Hyderabad? 1 second.
List A cricket, he's better in the first innings than he is the second innings by 17 runs.
Oh, wow.
And for Hyderabad, it's very similar actually. So it's 48 and 155 in the first innings, but 48 and 138 in the second innings. So his strike rate goes down, which I think could be targets and everything.
Yeah.
But the point being that it's not actually a whole lot different in other cricket. Just in List A, it's gone up in the first innings, and in T20 internationals, it's gone up in the second innings.
I found my favourite line from all of Jarek Kimmer's writings. It's really good. You're talking about a guy. You were at a cricket match in England, and there was a guy who was explaining cricket to an American or a Canadian.
Oh
right?
my
and
God.
he was really annoying you. And Jared wrote, one of these was a cricket conversation so painful, I wanted to pull the plastic chair out of the concrete, find out where the children of the people infecting my ears lived, and smash them to death.
Oh, my God.
When I read that, I was on the floor. That is what I want to read when I'm reading books.
You saw my face though when you mentioned that guy. I still remember how bad that guy was. I remember John Norman got really upset because in the book and even afterwards, I said that the Oval cricket crowd is the dumbest cricket crowd. And of course, it's his local ground and he loves Surrey. And I was like, look, I'm not saying you and your family are dumb. I'm just saying everyone else.
Yeah.
Because it's basically, if you go to a test match at the Oval, it's shocking. And you'd know this, Rob, how many people there are on corporates. It doesn't happen.
Like half.
Yeah, it doesn't happen at Lords or anywhere else. So you get these ridiculous conversations. I remember where I was sitting for that, by the way. That's how much I remember that conversation. And then later in that test, there was a guy in front of me who was again explaining cricket to someone else, again, another corporate. And he was saying to her, Graham Swan's changed ends twice. He can only change ends 2 more times, and then he's not allowed to bowl again after that.
Wow.
And I went,
I love that.
and I went, no, that's not right, mate. That's not right.
I've never heard that before.
And he said, no, it is. That's actually one of the rules of cricket. And I went, well, they're laws. And he went, but that is one of them. And I went, it's not. And he went, well, we'll have to agree to disagree. And I went, it's the only time I've ever done this in my life. I said, guys, I write for Wisden. Like, I can tell you it is not. I don't know how you might have misunderstood something at one stage. I'm not having a go at you, but it's really important that we end this conversation with you knowing that this is not a law of cricket. And he went, okay then, and just sort of shrugged his shoulders and turned around.
It's funny.
Yeah.
What would you say, Jared, is the smartest cricket crowd then from the test matches you've been to?
Ooh, it's a good question. Ireland, Malahide.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Not just for tests and for one days, because everyone who's there is an actual cricket fan.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
That's-
really noticeable when you're in the ground how much they know and follow cricket.
They knew loads about Irish domestic when I was there, and I knew nothing. Because I lived in Ireland for a couple of years and obviously went to Stormont a few times and Malahide. Belfast is a very fun place to watch cricket.
I've never been to
Chepauk,
Stormont.
I've heard, is up there.
What? Sorry?
Chepauk, Chennai.
Oh, yeah.
They used to say it about Eden Gardens, right?
Yeah, I guess until the semi-final happened, maybe.
But I mean, traditionally, that was a ground that we call that. They used to say it about Adelaide Oval, and literally, I've been to Adelaide Oval 15, 20 times in my life, and everyone is pissed out in the members. I don't know how knowledgeable they are.
Oh, this is a good question. I'll take this one. Prudvi1207 says, would you rather have a batsman with true strike rate of +2 against pace and spin, or someone who has +6 against one and -1 against the other? Also, can you see T20 batting hyper specializing like baseball? Oh, it's a good question. I actually think it depends on the team structure, right? Like that's the most important thing. If you have a team where you already have all these different roles of players, you might as well go with someone who is more balanced. But say KKR, for example, they really desperately need a spin hitter. So they would rather take someone who's a bit weak against pace, but really someone that can up their spin hitting. Is it not?
Yeah, I think that's
And what about the baseball bit, Jared? Any thoughts on that?
It's hard to do it without substitutions, right? So I think it's all, with baseball. There's this is it over cover again for 4.
That was a very good shot. Wow.
I actually think it's very hard to do it in cricket because every pitch situation is different, right? And every game situation is different, whereas baseball's not quite like that. So it's a little bit different. But if you had substitutions, you would definitely have things like that in cricket. I mean, you could argue it already, right? Like, Badoni is not there to hit sixes, is he? Right?
Yeah.
Sachin Baby's job was literally to run hard for the dude at the other end. This is limped down the long on.
Collected it well there. Was that Rutu?
Yeah.
I think
I want to say
so.
it was Rutu. Yeah. Good work.
Lizelle Lee and Rakeem Cornwall are not exactly David Warner, are they? Right? Like, so we already have a lot of specialization within cricket.
I think I'd take 6 and 1, -1, because +2, -1 isn't that much lower burst than minus plus or plus 2.
I think you have to get the essence of what he's
Yeah.
saying.
I
He's
understand what he
obviously-
means. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Agreed.
Prudvi's an otter, so he gets it.
Nah, I always love my extremes.
You're an extreme man. Everyone says that about you.
Of course.
So these two, really, really good, amazing bats, are batting as if they're going to knock these runs off, but they need 130 or 54.
How much have they made in the last, I want to say 4 overs? That's the thing I'm interested in, because it does feel like the tempo has gone
They were
up.
30 after 7 overs, right?
It's 49 and
scored.
5, isn't it? So they've gone for
scored
about 10 runs in the
48.
last. Yeah.
48
They've
in the
made-
last.
Yep, exactly. 48 in the last 5 without losing, in the last 4 without losing a wicket.
And
That's
they've done that without taking maybe
Huge
that
risks.
one where Sky stepped out a bit is a risk, but they haven't
the
really
Tilak
taken
one, maybe the one that goes for a 4 in the last over. The one he
They,
hits on the
they are
outside.
chasing
Slight
this like
risk.
they think they will get it easily.
Yeah.
They did this versus RCB too, right?
If you asked Sky what percentage
Higher target,
chance he
no.
had of winning this game, I think he would say 50.
Yeah. And it's 14.
Yeah. And Akil is bowling again. Akil
Yeah,
should have bowled
very interesting time to get him back on. Yeah.
all of his overs in the power play. Even though that's not technically possible, he should have done.
Who's the
Give me some
only
more names of
Who's the only
players.
international cricketer to bowl 2 overs in a row, guys?
Oh, that's a good question. Somebody just not realise.
It was no, he did it on purpose, and the umpire didn't realize.
What?
Was it a? It must have been like before lunch and after lunch in a test match.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh,
There was around a
wow.
break. I can't remember if it was a rain
I
break
like
or an actual break, but yeah,
Feels like the sort of thing Warren would do.
it's a Warren-like person, but it is pre-World War II.
Is it a spinner?
Oh,
Is
I
it a
don't
spinner?
know that. If it's
Jared
Well,
is a
no
spinner.
idea.
I don't know if you'd call him a spinner. I think he was a slow medium
Sid
bowler.
Vance? Sid Vance?
No,
No, not him. Okay.
it's that kind of era, maybe slightly later than Sid Barnes, but they would have crossed over, these two guys.
Clary Grimmett?
No, Clary Grimmett wasn't funny enough to do stuff like that.
Okay. I'll give you that.
great name, Clary Grimmett, though.
It's a
That
guy
old-
who's not
That's a good name, yes.
Yeah, it's a guy who's not specifically known for just bowling. He's more of an all-rounder.
Oh.
And comment said
Aubrey
Aubrey
Faulkner?
Aubrey Faulkner, no, again, Aubrey Faulkner would have felt so uncomfortable. It wasn't W.G. Grace either. But I would say it's a guy who's very similar to kind of a combination between Aubrey Faulkner and W.G. Grace of another country.
Okay.
What is you're just saying random words at this point, Jared?
Exactly. I'm confused now.
It was another guy who was known for his body size. In fact, his nickname mentions his body size in it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And a very important person in another cricket culture. Some people may say he was the godfather of Australians being arseholes in cricket. And I say that because I've written
Warwick Armstrong.
Warwick Armstrong.
Yes.
What's his nickname? Sean, do you know?
That I can't remember, but I know he was a huge dude. That I know.
Another beautiful shot over the covers.
I don't know his
quite
nickname. I
real.
will look
Oh
it up.
wow. That's
Yeah,
only
he was called the Big Ship in the days when you're allowed to
Oh.
apparently just openly body shame people. But he did all sorts of crazy things. Like I'm pretty sure he got bored during a game and went off, got a newspaper, and came back out and read it like in front of the batter to show him that that he was being boring. And the best one, Rob, he changed the cricket laws forever. I think it was Frank Woolley, the young Kent all-rounder, or it might have been Les Ames. It was someone who was making their debut. And Warwick Armstrong was going to bowl the first ball to this guy. And he bowled, I think it's something like 17 minutes of warm-ups on the pitch next to the play. Like he just kept warming up like it was taking him forever to get ready. And this young kid's like, is he going to bowl to me? Like, doesn't he have to actually deliver a ball to me? And Warwick Armstrong just kept doing it as long as he could.
I like it. Do you know the thing that I was genuinely world class at? I may have mentioned this before. Genuinely world class at in sport is time wasting. I think I was an all-time
Not
great
catching.
at time wasting. Because I was the goalkeeper in football, right? And you're in a privileged position to time waste because in
Yeah.
99% of all football matches I played, they didn't have ball boys, right? So if they shoot and they miss and it goes behind the goal,
Oh,
Wicket.
he's gone.
Oh, he's got him.
Tilak is gone. Tilak
Another
is
chop
gone.
on.
told you it's a chop on day.
Did you back it?
No. Oh no, hang on. No. Tiny. It's the fourth method of dismissal. Yeah, I put that bet on about 100 hours ago. Oh, nice.
Hey.
Hey,
We actually, this is the first time in history that I've been on air and a bold bet has actually won.
nice.
Oh, by the way, Mick Douglas has said Alex Moore for New Zealand also bowled 2 overs in a row. I wasn't aware of him. I thought
Very
Warwick
good.
Armstrong was the only one who had.
Very good.
Interesting. Same, I would imagine, before a break, after a break. Like a big break, of course, lunch or tea.
It
Or
have-
even end of
It'd have
day,
to be
maybe.
something happen, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'm interested to look that up.
I like the Achilles
On
celebration
otters,
there as well.
on otters and bears, is there a cricket merit to having an otter-bear bowling duo? Stain and Merv Hughes to scare the batter versus an all-bear combo of Tino Best and Merv Hughes. Well, Tino Best is not a bear, my man. Tino
Who's a
Best
bear?
Hey?
Is Dennis Lilly a bear?
No. Rob would be a bear.
Oh, right, of course.
Thank you.
So Merv Hughes, definitely a bear. Warwick Armstrong, if he had a beard, would be a bear. I think you might need a beard to be a bear. I'm not sure.
You need to be hairy, I'd imagine. For sure.
Oh, very hairy, but very
Yeah.
big. Like, big dude. Is that Tino Best?
Yeah, signed.
Mm.
I really like Tino.
He's already on the wall, though. He once won me a load of money with the bat. That's why he got on the wall.
What? When he made the 90 odd?
Nope. It wasn't that day. Although that is one of my favourite ever innings, and I really wanted him to get 100. No, it was some meaningless T20 in England that no one cared about, but whoever was trading it for Bet365 thought that Tino Best was completely incapable of hitting boundaries. So it was back when I used to bet on delivery prices. So you bet on the next ball, basically. Maybe the most boring year of my whole life. But that day, they had over 3.5 for every ball at 14-1. And I think Tino hit like 5 boundaries out of 6 or something. And I was just going whack, whack, whack. Yeah, that was lots of fun. Back in the days, we used to be able to actually get proper money on these ridiculous prices.
I just have a look. Alex Moore's was a tea break.
Yeah, I was actually seeing the
Strong.
same thing.
And no one noticed. Whereas I think with Warwick Armstrong, well, I suspect with Warwick Armstrong, he was doing it on purpose. Just to see if he could. A bit WG Grace-like. Harding's
Also,
in
this
and
Alex Moore
Harding's
guy was a
out.
leggy.
And he's
Good
dropped.
night, Irene.
Hardik Pandya's bad tournament continues. Went for the big slog sweep off Noor Ahmed, got an edge, and was caught at short third. And they're no longer a 14% chance to win this.
There is one man that can do it for them. I mean, it'd be great if they had Will Jacks, but they have got Rutherford. Like,
This is a Rutherford kind of chase, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a crazy one. You know, he probably needs to get 50 off 13 or something.
That's not his game. I can tell you that is not his game.
But
He's the guy that will.
Yeah, okay.
It's not his game.
No,
He's
no.
on
The
the
way
one
he
step
does it
of
is he makes 88 off 28.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And he's 10. He's like what 10 off 8 or 10 off 7, and then he goes nuts.
Yeah. That he can do. Yes, I can still see the.
But yeah, it's not easy. I don't get this one. Rohit says holograms and laser in cricket like new fencing rule. Does anyone know what that means?
Yeah, so the new in fencing now, and so for the next Olympics, we're going to have this technology. So because fencing I'm not a fan of fencing as a sport. I think it's just for like rich people to do, to muck about with. Not as bad as the stupid horse one, jumpy horse.
Yeah. Abhinav, who's making our app, who works with us at Combox, was one of the India's best fencers, by the way. Rob.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes,
And he could
that was
also
really
be
cool stuff.
an otter to your bear.
Oh, nice. Well, I'll tell him how much I don't like fencing then. But anyway,
While he stabs you in the belly over and over again.
bloody. Oh, hello.
Oh my God. And Rutherford's
Rutherford.
gone.
Rutherford's come in and Rutherford's gone out again.
That's why Rutherford doesn't try and hit first ball,
I
Cheyenne.
told you he's not a first ball. He's not a first ball guy. I know it. I've seen his game. I've seen him play. I've seen his stats and everything. He is a finishing anchor. I will tell you that, Jared.
I'll say one thing though, Cheyenne. Got to respect a man who gets caught at deep cover first ball.
I do respect
That
it.
is true. Yes. I will do.
Guys had to work so hard for an hour to get them this platform, if you can call it that. And then the next two have just, and so did Tilak as well. They've gone, right, guys,
Yeah.
we've given you a sniff here. And then Hardik's gone, okay, sure, out. Rutherford, okay, out. Funny stuff. Cricket's a really silly game.
Take that, Churchill.
So for the fencing, the fencing is a difficult watch because you never really know whether they've touched them or whether they've scored the point or whatever, right? So now what they're doing is they're putting a graphic which makes there's like a color, so it looks like a sparkler on fireworks night. You know what I mean? So they're putting a color on the end of the sword, a graphic, so that when you see it, you know when they did
that makes them
bat swing, that they put the color thing on. So they're doing that for fencing to make it more fun.
That makes a lot of sense. They did it with ice hockey back in the day where they had to put a tail on the puck because casual fans, especially before we got HD and everything, the puck moved so quickly no one could keep their eye on it unless you knew about ice hockey.
You could not watch ice hockey on TV. You couldn't before HD.
It was terrible,
but then
right?
HD came along and you're like, wow, I can see the puck. Because I remember I used to go and watch ice hockey a fair bit. And going to watch ice hockey is awesome. It's a brilliant spectator sport.
Oh, not a hat trick
because
then.
beating the crap
Not
out
a
of
hat
each other
trick.
half the game as well. But watching it on telly before HD was completely impossible. So if they do, they have done it before in cricket. They certainly did it with the bat swing, didn't they? With Suyavanshi's bat swing, they draw these squiggly lines in it.
They've done that. Yep.
IPL, all they do is make that massive boom noise when someone hits a six, and they show the replay, don't they? The comedy sound effects.
Do you know it's really funny. For years, I just assumed. Not
Oh,
that
what
I-
a ball.
Oh, that's
Wow.
beautiful bowling. Not the IPL one, but you know the one that goes boom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that was like, because I never put in my head that they would be putting a sound effect on that. I just thought that's when you slowed it down, that's the noise it made. Right? And it just never occurred to me that why would you use a sound effect for that, right? Like, it's literally the ball hits the wood. We know what sound it makes. So I just assumed that's what it was. And then one day I was sitting with someone and they were explaining it to me. And I was looking at them like they were like explaining something, like they were making something up. And I thought they were pranking me.
1 minute here, everybody.
Okay.
None of us
Take
have noticed
your
that
time.
Shardul Thakur is playing in this game as a specialist number 8 batsman.
Oh,
He's not
wow.
a back sub.
I had no.
He
What?
didn't bowl any
How did I
balls.
miss this?
He didn't
cannot
bowl any
believe-
balls. Shardul
You cannot-
Thakur is playing for Mumbai Indians as a specialist number 8 batsman. That is what we are seeing in front of our eyes. And he has come in when
What?
they need 123 runs off 44 balls.
I am so confused.
Well, I was digging out when I saw that Chennai had basically had either Kambodge or Noor as their number 8 batting first.
Uh-huh.
You're like, what the hell are you doing? But this team are chasing. They didn't let Shardul bowl a single ball, which is I hard agree with. But what the hell is this?
So they've got two other all-rounders on their list, Raj Abawa and Mayank Roat, right? They both have low career strike rates.
No, but Jared, he's not been subbed in to do this.
That's what I'm like. How has
He's
this
in the
happened? I'm a
team.
bit confused.
He was in
No.
the team in the first innings. Yes, the kid was
Was
the
he?
sub. Malawar was
Was
the
he in the
sub.
team?
Yes,
No.
Malawar was the sub, the batting sub. He subbed in.
Okay.
He subbed in.
Oh, okay.
for-
Wait a minute.
Subbed in
Crick
for
Info.
who?
No, right at the moment. No, I think something else has happened, Rob.
What's happening?
Exactly.
Because Crick Info has 13 players listed. Is
I am
this?
so. Yes.
So
Yes,
are
yes.
you
Is he a
telling me
sub
that-
for Mitch Santner?
Who has?
Because he was injured in the first innings, remember?
Who was?
Jared, we were having
Okay, they are saying that Santner has got a concussion, even though he hit his shoulder, and he's gone off. And Shardul's come in for Santner. That's what's happened.
Yeah, because Shardul was not in the 11. That's what even I was thinking.
I thought
So-
that,
so-
but I knew that Malawar was the sub. So what? He's a concussion sub.
No,
is he?
he
Yeah.
must come in for the other guy, no? Probably for
Come
Zanfar, is my guess.
Yeah, he's come on as the concussion sub.
Yeah.
Just double,
Who?
triple checked it.
Shardul, no?
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's silly, but
Must
not
have.
as silly as I thought.
Oh, it's still silly.
I mean, who they would have said no, like for like. So for Santner, I think Shardul is a decent like for like for batting, because if they would have gone with an all-rounder, they would be like, no, you can't use this guy, if you know what I mean.
It's a stupid.
Well, they could bring in the other two all-rounders still.
No, but then they would say no that okay, actually, yeah, it's
Yeah, they could
Santner.
bring in any of the all-rounders. They've still got... I still maintain, Rob, that they had three all-rounders available
Then maybe
to
they
them,
trust
and they still went
Shardul's
with
batting the
Shardul.
most of the lot. Very interesting. Yeah.
I don't understand. I'm.
Rob is so confused, Jared. This has blown his mind.
Bet on that, bitch.
Well, I'm doing the county championship all day at work tomorrow, and the sub thing is doing my Swede in. Like, it's really hard to get things right from a, what do you call it, like infrastructure point of view when you've got people subbing in and out all the time. Everyone hates impact sub because it destroys everything. Some of the bookies can't cope with it at all, so they just say, if your guy's the impact sub and you've backed him top bat, tough, we're not having it. And it's like, well, Travis Head did it for like 2 whole years. Right, he was just the impact sub, and he was favourite for top bat for most of that time. So they can't handle it. But I'm really annoyed that the county championship. It's something like half the games, isn't it? Maybe it's gone
It's
to
a
1 in 3
huge
now.
amount. But, Shine, did I do a whole piece on the fact that you can't have injury substitutes in cricket?
Yeah, I have a feeling, or if you've not done a piece, at least you've talked about it.
I've talked about it a lot. Whether I've done a piece or not, I can't remember. The thought,
Even I can't fully remember. It feels like you might have, I want to say.
it's one of those things where it's like, you know this, Rob, how much I've talked about how it was the stupidest system ever, because there's a reason why no sport has ever done this before.
Yeah.
There's a reason why no other sport has injury substitutions, and it's because they know how easy it is to fix and to game. And then cricket had to have known that.
It's a full joke, is what it is. But
I like.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
And
and another wicket.
he's gone.
And
He's
that's
gone.
the ball game.
Yep. Good
Not that
bowling
it
from
wasn't
Akil
a
Hussain,
ball game
bowling
before.
stump line. Off spinner Rohit Sharma should have been subbed. Yeah. That would have been entertaining.
But there's been some ridiculous ones. I don't know if you've been following it, Shayan, but there was one game.
I have. You remember the England India T20, where who?
No, I'm talking about in county cricket. In county cricket, so Fergus O'Neill is a right-arm fast bowler, and he was
Right.
subbed out, and Ollie Stone was available, and they went, no, he's too fast. But he's a right-arm fast bowler. How many? What? So you have to have someone who bowls at 82 miles an hour, who's tall like Fergus O'Neill around. Like it's
What? That is
like
ridiculous.
it hasn't worked in either direction, has it, Rob?
No. And what they're tending to do, apparently, I asked somebody today, like, what's actually been happening? And he said, well, what happens is when one of their good bowlers gets tired, they swap him for a fresh one. And it's like, oh, he's really injured. He'll be okay to play in the next game, I would imagine, but he's really injured right now. I might back this team at 1 to 300. That feels like a good return on my money.
Okay, so this is a good one. Content Cricket says they should have sent in Will Jacks. Right? Now, can you make the case that Will Jacks has actually played as a specialist bowler for England and therefore is a like-for-like substitution with Mitch Sattler?
Well,
That's in the same role.
Bloody silly, isn't it?
Number 7, number 8 for England recently.
Yep. I'm just saying. If I was running a cricket team, guys, that is exactly what I would have tried to do.
The thing is, right, it's part of sport is having your players in a better condition than the other team, right? No matter what sport you play that involves the body, conditioning is part of it. So if you've got somebody that's cramping all the time and he's on 80 not out, tough shit, right? Go and you can't have half an hour to have pickle juice and 9 massages. If you can't play, go off the pitch, and if you can play with cramp, slog out, right? Fine. It's part of conditioning because there are other guys who are in better condition that can withstand, 50 balls or 100 balls, whatever it is.
Correct.
And also, if you've got a bowler who is a lethal weapon and can bowl really, really fast and has broken somebody's arm, that's to your plus column, right? You've managed to hit their bowler, you've hit their bowler or their batsman on the elbow, and he can't bat or bowl. Fine, their team are down to 10 then. It's not a game where you're just allowed to sub. Like football's gone a bit shit since COVID. I mean, football's shit anyway, but it used to be no subs back in the day, which was silly because you can legitimately get injured in football and it's fair that you should be replaced. Then they went to 2 subs, which seemed completely fair. And then they went to 3 because they're like, well, what if your keeper gets injured? And everyone's like, okay, 3. But now, how many is it now? Because of COVID, and they just kept it. It's like 6, isn't it? Or 5. And you just get teams that have got better squads, swapping 5 players at the end and running the other team off the park who haven't got a good squad. That's bollocks. But in cricket, is part of sport is being in good condition, right? And says a big fat man from the comfort of his armchair. But it is. So stop making it not a thing, people in charge, you idiots.
I agree, Rob. We should bring in substitutions.
Stumping. Akil has 5.
His foot might have just been off the ground there.
Wicketkeeper extremely sure that he's out.
Yeah, he definitely lifted his foot.
Oh no, I don't think he is.
No, he's back in. No, he's in.
Yeah, he's in. I've just
He
seen
might
it
have
again.
lifted it later.
Jared,
Well,
I wanted you to guess this.
Who's that?
Guess Krish.
Yeah, go.
Yes, sorry, come on.
No, go.
No, I was just saying, do you want to guess Krish Bhagat's first class strike rate with the bat? If you haven't
26.
looked it up already.
26.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I had looked
You
it
were
up.
talking about his professional average earlier.
Yeah.
That
you
was
hear it though,
fascinating
Rob?
in the first innings. I really want to.
That's awesome.
He also
isn't
knows
it?
about it. We were talking about it.
Oh, okay.
How many runs has he got now? Has he got 1 yet?
He got 1, didn't he? Today.
1.
There's a guy who plays for Victoria, Ash. I've forgotten his last name. Who plays for Victoria? Who I think his strike rate in professional cricket, in first class cricket, is 28.
Okay.
And he's a batter.
What? Really? Ashley Chandra Singh?
Yeah,
Is
Chandra
he?
Singh. That's him. I'm just looking him up
Yep,
now.
yeah, 21 average.
Oh my God,
26
it's gone
strike rate.
down. It's
Whoa.
26, Rob.
Whoa.
And like, I'll get messages. He's got a beautiful technique, this kid, right? And I'll get messages from people going, "What do you think of him?" And I was like, "He can't score in first-class cricket. What do you think he's going to do in a Test match? It's going to go down to 4."
Yeah, he's 24, by the way. Just to add some more context to that, he's not very young, but he's also not in his peak just yet.
No, and he's only played 13 games, but I've seen him bat, Sean. I think, what is it at the moment? 26.
Yeah, 26.
I think that's high.
Is
I
it going to
haven't
go
watched him
down?
bat. It feels a lot slower. It feels a lot slower watching him live, guys.
Where does he bat? Where does he bat in the order?
Mostly open, I think. Might have batted first drop a little bit, but
Let me see. I have his last few games ahead here in front of me.
yeah.
Let's have a quick look. So he's got 5 and 2, 25, 52, 11, 0, 0, 44. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
Okay.
opens. Dano says, Akila San
Victoria.
hiding his face to laugh at Mumbai Indians.
Yeah,
Nice
he's
celebration.
opening once at least.
Yeah.
Is that not a common celebration for him? I don't know actually. I'm just guessing. It feels like. So he's been an opener. Yeah, Jared, he has been opening. Wow. How did I never realize this player existed?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's not the only one, by the way.
Jared,
I
this
don't-
is a
actually-
piece now.
Which is,
Okay. Sorry, who?
field- Just let me 1 second. Let me check something.
Yeah.
Where are we? 25.
Rob, this is going to
26.
do their net run rate a huge boost today's game.
Well, it looks to
just
me
talking about
like their net run rating right now, doesn't it? It looks like they've just trying to plod on at 5 and over till the end.
Yeah, that they have to. I mean, Mumbai have to do that, but I'm saying for CSK it's going to be huge. Where are they going to end up? Like they might end up 5th or 6th. Who knows?
Well, it's I've been saying it since the start of the tournament. That 4th spot is hugely up for grabs. Now 3rd might be as well,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
4th spot is hugely up for grabs,
True,
and
true.
it will probably come
Agreed.
down to net run rate. So you do need to start
Yeah, it
thinking
will.
about this now.
So this is some of the guys just this year in Sheffield Shield cricket. Marcus Harris, so Test player,
Yep.
strike rate 35.
Is that true?
Yeah, Sam Whiteman, strike rate 37. Where are we? I think there's another guy too. Oh, Jimmy Pearson, 38. He's a
Jimmy
I picked-
Pearson.
now you've seen him, right?
I've seen him play like 50 times. He can whack it.
Exactly. Mitch Perry, 33. And was it last year? Let's see if I can bring up last year's as well. Last year's is funny too, I think. It's just the pitches are ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's not why Ash is scoring at his rate.
Yes. No, Jared. If
We
if
can be
Ash
as
is
friendly as
playing
we
on-
want to him. He's just doing it because he does it.
No, let's say if he's playing on a mega road, how much is he going to strike? At still the same?
He could get up to a high
High 30s, 40s.
29.
Oh, 29. Okay. Okay, I think we've had enough. Let's.
Where are we? I'm trying to see if there was. Maybe it was the year before. Yeah, McSweeney was 39, which was one of the big questions I had with him.
No, that's how he was playing in Test cricket also, though.
Yeah,
Was he not?
Bancroft.
Maybe even slower.
Bancroft, another Test player, 35.
Yeah.
Like,
Whoa.
there's some incredible.
Okay, maybe
strike
26
rate.
is not that bad, Jared. Then.
Hey,
Maybe 26 isn't that bad then, Jared.
Okay.
If these guys, like Aussie players, national team players are at 30s, then maybe 26 for a 24-year-old dude isn't the worst thing in the world.
I think there's another one as well. I mean, 26 is bad too. So
No, I am not saying it is. Like, you get what I'm saying. Maybe it's not that bad if the other guys are at 30s.
I thought there was someone else that he was opening the battle with in Victoria who was almost the same. And I think there was.
Okay. Let me look.
Here's one for Rob.
Jonathan Merlo?
It might be Merlot. Let me just look at his. Yeah,
One second.
Jonathan Merlot. So they were both batting in the top order. I can't remember if he was all the way at the top, Rob.
Oh,
And his strike rate, Rob, was 31.
yes. And he's played for Melbourne Renegades and the Melbourne
Yeah,
Stars.
Rob knows who
actually.
he
Wow.
is. The
Okay.
Merlot. Merlot
What's his
played for the
BBA?
Stars when I was the analyst, Cheyenne.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
He averaged 7 at a strike rate of 91.
Yeah, Big Bash
Yeah.
is one of my tournaments, Cheyenne. But Big Bash, I've probably watched at least 90% of all Big Bash games ever. At least.
Whoa.
Something to do at Christmas, isn't it?
Andy says, bad pitch. How have Mumbai crumbled to this lineup?
I think some good bowling early on from CSK for sure. But I don't think they have a very high ceiling. I have been saying this over and over again.
Ooh.
I will say it once again today. When they've lost so many early wickets, I think Sky and Tilak really didn't have much of a choice but to, rebuild for a bit. And then they both got out at exactly the wrong time. This is exactly what Rob was also saying, that is going to happen most probably. That
I mean,
they will
literally
bat slow and
didn't,
within themselves.
I mean,
And then when they have to hit, they'll get out.
Form is playing a huge part, right?
Yeah, form for sure.
I told you what was going to happen at half time, just so you know. When you asked me, I told you.
You didn't actually expect them to be 94 for 7, though, did you?
No, I said they would be 92 for 7, but which they probably were. That's a bad ball from Gurjapneet.
Oh, Gurjapneet. How much has he bowled today? It's his first over. Wow, yes.
His
That's
first
what I
ball
was
was
thinking. They've not even used one of their bowlers.
Lovely. I want Cambodge
They've
to get
not
a
even-
wicket. That would help my day if Cambodge gets a wicket. Is he going to bowl again? What's he done so far? 2 overs, none for 8.
And Cambodge was bowling top off to Sky, was he not? Proper test match lengths and lines.
He looked really
They
good.
showed that
I've
graphic.
been
It's really
mega
good.
impressed with Cambodge this comp. The two guys, I mean, they're both top of the bloody purple cap, aren't they? That's up and over
6?
the keeper.
4? No.
No.
It's none of those
No.
things. It's 2. Overton
I
wants to play again, doesn't he?
I think knowing Overton's history, right? I just think the man's got to stop diving for everything. He's like a Glenn Phillips, except without the body.
Yeah. Cambodge
I mean,
and Prince Yadav are the two that I really like this season.
Cambodge
Yeah,
and sorry?
Prince Yadav.
Prince Yadav.
Yeah, so for sure. He's been very good across phases, that too.
I quite like the
he's
look
a
of him
genuine
last
threat every phase.
They had no bowlers last year at all. And so
And
Prince
they only
Yadav
have
got a
bowlers
go,
now.
and then they binned him off.
Yeah. His numbers last year are okay. I was looking at them the other day going, because I remember him bowling a couple of games and thinking to myself, he's not bad. And then he just disappeared and I completely forgot about him.
Yeah, that's the LSG way. It's like they accidentally found a good bowler because all their bowlers are injured, and then they dropped him.
Their
And now
entire
they can't
planet.
bat. They're a very confusing team. Very confusing team, to be honest.
Yeah, but at least they got a good number 8.
Yes, that is very true. I mean, he scored 7 of 3.
Oh, what a shot. Smacked
That
it.
6 was beautiful.
Yeah.
Tiagi's 6 was very funny as well. He hit a
Oh yeah,
brilliant shot.
that was so comical because the next over Green doesn't even farm the strike.
That's
Like he just
right.
hands the strike back over to Tyagi. I'm like, come on, you don't do that. You don't
Yeah.
do that. I was on the live with Robbie, I remember, and that was some like real tomfoolery happening in that game because
Cameron
Green was just
Green.
not coming on strike, and then when he did, he just gave the strike back to
He
Tyagi.
batted
who
the
got out.
entirety of the last 5 overs. He got out off the last ball, and he scored 5 runs.
Yeah,
Cameron Green.
that's
When
what I'm
he
saying.
went
No, he only
7
batted in the last 2 overs. For 3 overs, he was not even on strike in that game. So,
Good ball.
Jared, what do you make of Gurjapneet so far? They've used him mostly in the middle overs, I think. So he's an interesting option. I don't think he's like a new ball option for them in this team.
I
They
think
already
that's-
have new ball bowlers.
I think that's part of the problem, isn't it? In that he needs the ball in the middle, and that's when Jamie Overton needs the ball as well.
Yeah.
So for this team, maybe not great, but decent pace, left arm, seems tall,
Yeah.
high release,
Correct.
but doesn't have a
Good in first class cricket as well, Jared, by the way.
Yeah.
33 wickets in 9 games, average of 22.
I haven't seen much of a slow
An economy of
ball,
2.8.
and I haven't seen much lateral movement, so it looks pretty straight up and down. Rob, you got a question here?
Hello. How much time before you got really good at pricing every market correctly? Also, was it based on instinct or all data stats modeling? So when I started,
I'll tell you when he does.
I'll tell you if I ever do. Stop bowling people that aren't called Cambodge, Chennai. Stop thinking about the cricket and start thinking about my bets. So when I started, we didn't have things like databases. We didn't have anywhere to look up what the price should be anywhere. So I learned completely on the fly, and not from the guys that were doing cricket where I was weren't very good at it. So I didn't really learn from them. It was like you had to put prices up, and then sharp punters filled you in, and you had to learn, right? As simple as that. Because I was like losing money on whatever lines I put up, they would smash overs or unders. I was like, okay, well, I was too low or too high. And then the bit where I actually got good, and I thought I was good before I got good, and looking back, I absolutely wasn't, because my opinions were way too strong. the ability to change your opinion is huge in betting, particularly, but trading as well. It's like, well, I've done all my work and I think this, this, and this, and then the pitch turns up and it's completely opposite to what you thought. You better change your mind. You're going to lose all your money if you just stick to this is definitely overs, and then you see the pitch like this where it's not actually been that good. Anyway, betting, it's like, well, now it becomes really important because I have, to put food on the table and all that sort of thing. So you better get it right. But basically, honestly, it was trial and error over a long, long, long time. So I had loads, thousands and thousands of bets, worked out where my edges were and hammered them. And also, just as importantly, worked out when I was shit and stopped doing that and got better at it. So it's work and work and work. Now it's much easier to bet, as in to find good bets, because you can look at stuff. The stuff we read out here. This guy's percentage of whatever is this, and this guy does this in his first 10 balls. It's a fact. I don't have to guess that David Miller's strike rate is 128 off his first 10 balls. I can go and look it up, right? But it's getting the right stats and all the rest of it. That stuff now is really easy, but you're not allowed to bet anymore, which is why I've got a job or multiple jobs. Because you're not allowed to, if you showed any, whatever the word is, any signs at all that you were looking at data to come up with your bets, then they have no interest in taking your bets off you whatsoever. So if you sit there and go, oh, well, I'm going to back, what was it earlier? Bumrah's bowling to Akil and Sanju, right? And I just looked it up for the guys that were trading it for us. And Bumrah's bowled percentage is about 30%. So of all the wickets that Bumrah takes, 3 out of 10 of them are bowled. Sanju at the death is about 30% bowled, and so is Akil, right? So if the traders are putting out prices that say he's 15% bowled, that's a really good bet for me, right? But if you did do that with the bookies, they'll kill your account. But essentially, I am not a modeling guy. I'm not clever enough. I don't have a good enough brain. But I know how to gamble because I've been doing it ever since I can remember. So I'm one of the gambling types, but the modeling types are all betting on Betfair or the exchanges, and they're betting in the millions as we see a wicket
Krish.
for Everton. Krish is gone.
What is the strike rate?
Not very fun. 7 off 15.
Yeah. Well, it's better than first class.
Yes.
You wanted an Overton wicket badly, didn't you, Rob?
No, I want a Cambodge wicket.
Content says, don't underestimate Shammy the batter. See Lords 2021.
He's
See
right,
Adelaide.
Jared, he's right.
See Adelaide.
No, Jared, he's right. Don't argue now. He's right.
See Adelaide. Didn't he break his fucking arm batting? Come on now.
Don't most people that you think are complete comedy do their mega good one against England? Agarkar was...
Every fan will think that happens against their team. I will say that.
Every fan will think that. At Lords, Agarkar.
Is it not, Jared?
7 ducks in a row against Australia.
Pakistan fans will say the same. Indian fans will say the same. You just think about whatever country. Everybody will remember.
But who's the tail ender? Who are all the tail enders who've made great runs against India, though, Cheyenne?
Multiple. I mean, can I just start?
Yeah, go.
It's so... Mitch Stark in 2013?
Mitch Stark
in India?
But Mitch Stark...
I mean, not a tail ender, but he made almost 100.
So he doesn't count. So you're already out with your first one.
Next.
Second one?
Next.
Ashton Agar, then that doesn't count, no? Even Ashton Agar could bat a bit. Could he not?
I'm okay with Ashton Agar, but I think he embarrassed England a lot more than he embarrassed India, didn't he?
Bolt has made runs against India, I'll tell you that. He has smashed he scored a quick 30 odd or something like that. Yeah, that is true.
I mean, to be fair, Mohammad Shami has 2 Test 50s and they're both against England. Tino Best almost made 100 batting at number 11. Ashton Agar almost made 100 making 11. And this is all in this generation, Cheyenne. That's a lot of big scores from number 11s, isn't it?
Last 15 years, what batters do you want? Number 10s and 11s or 9s?
Yeah, it has to be genuine.
Bumrah scored the most
10s.
ever off and over
I'll give you that one.
in a test match against Stuart Broad, if you don't mind. He was quite good as well.
Yeah,
I will give you that one.
I think they would have a few.
Come on, Cambodge. Take the catch, whoever this is. Thank you. Shardle goes. It's 9 down.
Also, maybe they had to send him in. I don't really understand what
Jimmy made 81 against India.
That's a good one.
In that mega road, you remember?
That was in the same game, though, that Sharma made a 50 against England, by the way. So that does negate that a little bit. That was the best.
Rabada
that
against
was-
Pakistan recently, but Rabada is one of the prettiest tailenders to watch ever. Like he has the best cover drive
He
ever
should
in
be
the
a
game.
number
Better
9,
than
shouldn't he?
better than Brian Lara, better than Kohli or whoever you want to talk about. He's the best cover driver ever. Is he not? I'm looking at. There's another one against India actually. Ajanta Mendes back in 2010. I have no memory of this.
I would give
wasn't
you
watching
that
cricket back then.
because that
I
that
do. I remember that.
that'd have to be on any list.
I
He
wasn't
couldn't
watching
bat.
back then,
I don't
so I
remember
can't
him being able
remember
to bat at all.
I was obsessed with Ajantha Mendes. I absolutely.
India. Dane Pete has, but he's more of an all-rounder, is he not? I would assume he came down because of night watch. That would be my
Mendes
guess.
has got a first-class 100, by the way. Ajantha
Does
Mendes.
he?
Yeah.
I didn't think he could bat.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, he can bat. He's got
Oh, actually, no, he could bat. Yeah, so I'm not sure I'd count that. Dane Pete can hold a bat, but I'm happy with him being on that list.
I'm going to check this by opposition team now. I am deep into this rabbit hole.
While he's looking that up, what was Mumbai's chase plan, Rob? Same against RCB.
It's very difficult to answer that question when you look at the personnel, because I thought so last game I thought the team that Mumbai picked was ridiculous, and then they won like quite easily, but I still maintain I still think it was I get that they went 2 spinners because of the pitch. I wasn't that bit, but when you see Malawar opening the batting, it was a bit of a left field shout, wasn't it? They could have done lots of things. And then Krish Bhagat's in the team and Ashwani Kumar's in the team. You're like, what are they doing? Are they just gambling?
Ashwani has been good, to be fair. He won them the last game, and I think today also he looked much better.
He's
Bhagat
got
might be a
photos
bit too
of
much
them.
inexperienced.
But you don't associate Mumbai with these names that I've just read out. And then today,
Do they,
when-
Rob? Do they not get those good guys every season? They're known for scouting.
but
Like
but
that's
everyone
how they've
said
got the.
Will
big
Jackson's
names.
going to play today, right? Everyone said Will Jacks is back. How are they going to shuffle it? That was the big
Yeah,
chat.
I think maybe he just arrived. Could be that reason. No, maybe they just.
But when
removed
they
him
said
instantly.
we're going to play the same team today, I was like, I don't understand why they're playing the same team today, and they've got utterly murdered, and that does not do their season very much good now, does it? Because where are they going to be after this?
Yeah.
Do they swap places? Probably not. The net run rate swing won't be enough. But winning
have to
2
have a
out of
look at that,
7,
but-
no good, is it?
Guys, back to the important discussion that we were having. So the more I'm looking at this since Jan 2010. I mean, I'm looking at the time in which I've watched most of my cricket. So numbers 10 and 11 by opposition team. So there's 550s against England, 4 against India, 4 against Pakistan, 4 against West Indies. These
I
are
think
the
what year
top
is that?
ones.
2010.
2010.
I think if you've got 5 for England, and 2 of those are 90s, aren't they?
There's a 98. Yes, the Ashton Agar one.
Yeah, and Tino made a 90.
And Tino Best. Yeah, correct.
You had so I think that does to be fair to Rob in this case, I think that does ramp England up. Because it's
But
basically
Jared,
because
they also
Jimmy
play
and
more
Broad were
tests,
shit
no?
at bowling to tail, and they never had a wrist spinner, right?
That is true. I will give you that. Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is they also play more tests, so you remember more compared to the
Yeah,
funny
but
ones.
I think there's only been 2 scores of 90 from number 11 in the history of the game, and they've both come to England in a similar era, right? That's not just because they play extra test matches. That has to be that your team is not good at getting rid of the
No,
tail.
I'm not denying that. Yeah, that's more than fair. But what I'm basically saying is that whenever it's about these, the lower order is making runs, or this guy has done that,
I
we often
agree
remember
with
that
that.
more from the point of view. Of
I
our
would
teams.
agree with that more
Is it not?
in the terms of everyone thinks their bowlers don't get out the tail. That's a common
Yeah.
thing. But I think that's different than
10
we've
and
had
11.
some of the greatest performances ever from number 10 and
Fair,
11
fair.
against us.
I
Yeah.
will give you that. Now I'm interested in looking in this historically. What happened?
Sartik says Shamar Joseph chose Australia for his crimes. That's not the best use of words for Shamar Joseph.
Moving on.
Quickly moving on. Shamar Joseph watching the watch-along. Hey! Don't know why I turned into a Simpsons character then either, Rob.
You did a bit. The face did. I wish I'd have screen grabbed it.
If only we were recording this. And
Let's look at number
broadcasting it,
11s.
not just hanging around with each other.
So in the history of Test match cricket, The number 11s that have scored the most 50s against a given team is England. 5. Yeah, that is ever in the history of
And
Test
four,
matches.
and all 5 of them since 2010.
Was it?
Is that what
No.
you said before? No, they weren't all.
No, I said 4. I want to say before this. Did I not? And that was including 10s.
Oh, that was including number 10s.
number
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just doing number 11s here.
So,
It's
but
5
just
for
on
England
that,
historically.
it is crazy that Trent Bridge. Everyone always talks about him at Lords, but that Trent Bridge Test match is fucking hilarious for the fact that 2 number 11s made 50s in the same Test match. Like, I wrote like a 2,000-word article on the history of 10th wicket partnerships based on that game because there was fucking nothing else to write about.
Indeed.
No, the best one of tail end nonsense was quite recently. West Indies for the first time ever in any Test match last year, I think 9, 10, 11 were top run scorers 1, 2, and 3 in the innings.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that had ever happened in a Test, I think. And then in the next Test, it happened again. So that's like a billion.
Was it
to
the
one.
26 all out series?
I have a feeling it was 2025, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
remember
26 all
first
out.
one. Yeah, I remember it happening, but I don't remember any details about it.
yeah, it was 2 in a row. It's just absolutely amazing. I'm not good enough at Google to find it. Still a cricket match going on here somehow.
Yeah. Long tuned out from that. That's why I'm looking up these 50s and whatnot.
Ajanta
Jared,
Mendes
I'm going to look at ODIs now.
7 in a game against Bangladesh in a Test match.
It has happened in an ODI as well, guys, against England and New Zealand. I wonder who it is, though. Do you want to take a guess? Which number 11 has scored a 50 against England in a one-day cricket match?
Mohammed Amir do it against New Zealand?
Yes, you are right.
Boom!
God, I remember
Mohammed
that
Amir
game.
against England, Naseem Shah against New Zealand.
Oh, yeah. I
I'm
know I
Amir,
saw the
yeah.
Amir one, or remember it.
Amir and somebody
58
got
of 28.
really close to pulling off an amazing ODI chase against New Zealand once. Who was that?
There's a Shoaib Akhtar one as well. Cape Town 2003 in the World Cup, I would imagine, versus England. 43 of 16. Any memories of that?
Jimmy Anderson got loads against India, didn't he? What year was that? 12 years ago or
Jimmy
something?
Anderson.
You talking
In an
about it in
ODI?
one day or a test?
Test. He got about 80, didn't he?
Yeah, that's
against
right.
India?
That's what I just was talking about that game. We did it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. This is why I prefer otters to bears. Dean Elgar would have fucking listened. He wouldn't have.
Who's faced the most balls at number 11 now? That's my next agenda.
The most balls at number 11.
Srinath.
Oh, in
I'm
one day
saying
is.
in an innings. Yeah.
Oh,
a
in an
one-day
innings. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
in a one day innings. Yeah. 58 balls, 30 runs. And he could bat a bit. No, Jared, he
bad
could slog a
knock.
bit. Yeah, he could slog a bit. I know. I know that for certain. Test. Let's see who has faced the most balls in an innings. Jared, and I had another cool one going on recently where, can you think of cricketers who have taken the most wickets and scored the most runs in that match, at least for their teams, if not the whole game?
That's the end of the game, by the way.
Hey, I thought both of them had done it.
Maybe. I like for men's cricket, I'm not sure. You know what? The funny thing is, it has happened in the very first women's test ever. It's Myrtle McLagan who has the most runs and the most wickets in the same match.
Rob!
Yes.
What a great place to end that is. Myrtle
that-
McLagan.
Is she the Bannerman of women's cricket?
Probably. And you know who else recently, I think, equaled
Betty
it or at
Snowball.
least
Was
done
it
it?
Betty Snowball?
No. Recently, Annabelle Sutherland, I believe, has also taken the most wickets and scored the most runs in a single match, the game against India. But I think she might be equal on wickets. Might be better figures, but more runs for her.
I mean, Vinu Mankad would be someone who might be
Oh,
up
yeah,
for that.
Vinu Mankad is a good one.
Yeah. That's it. That is the end of this game. We will not be talking any more about Otters or Myrtle McLagan. or Mohammad Shami's batting, or whatever else that we had to do to get through this one. Thank you very much. Remember, combox.tv, you can sign up. We do have some events coming up in India very soon. I can tease those. So if you do want to come and get tickets for those, Rob's not invited. Cheyenne maybe, but if you do want to come and have a look at those, if you want to get priority tickets, I'm not saying we're going to pay. You have to pay. They might be free events, but either way, if you want to make sure you get to those events, combox.tv, sign up there, and you'll be the first to know about all of those sorts of things. I'm Jared. He's Rob. He's Cheyenne. We'll be back for another watch along, and in a few minutes' time, whoever's down on the spreadsheet will be doing the podcast.
Combox. The game lives on.